Ocean-crossing realm cultivator, who has opened the 8 meridians, is practically invincible below the divine court realm. No matter how powerful the Azure Dragon sect's Anyang branch is, it's impossible for them to have a divine court realm expert guarding it. The powerful stellar energy seemed to want to move mountains and drain seas, crushing and surging forward. Buildings everywhere were cracking and shaking, about to collapse, and the small fries below were all sent flying backward. Liu Zhengfeng was also in the ocean-crossing realm. He raised his hands to block this terrifying attack, but the strong winds pushed him back repeatedly. Bang! He crashed into a pillar. The pillar shattered into pieces. So strong! Liu Zhengfeng tried to suppress the feeling of wanting to spit out a mouthful of blood. Wait a minute. He opened his eyes wide, looking at Zhao Yanhe slowly descending to the ground. Zhao Yanhe stood indifferently, as if nothing had happened. Wait for what? Liu Zhengfeng clasped his hands and bowed. I didn't expect that this young lady would be an ocean-crossing realm expert who has opened the 8 meridians. Forgive me for having eyes but not seeing Mount Tai. Please have mercy, and let's talk things over. Zhao Yanhe hopped in front of him, her eyes wide as she looked at him, then said, I have something I want to entrust to you. Please speak, young lady. Help me investigate the Linhu Gang. Linhu Gang. Liu Zhengfeng was stunned. He had never heard of this name. Zhao Yanhe continued, raising her hand and haughtily assigning the task. The Shu family was kidnapped. They are the mastermind. I'll give you 3 days to find their whereabouts for me. As soon as he heard that this matter was related to the Shu family, Liu Zhengfeng's expression became serious. The Linhu Gang dares to kidnap the Shu family. This matter the Azure Dragon sect can't handle. Zhao Yanhe clenched her fist and said sternly, Say that again, Grandma. I will definitely find the location of the Linhu Gang. Within 3 days? That's good to hear. Zhao Yanhe turned around and took a few steps. Suddenly looking towards the small fries who had fallen chaotically on the ground, she said, You were the one who shot an arrow at me just now. The man was scared out of his wits and waved his hand. No. Zhao Yanhe stood with her hands on her hips and affirmed. It was you. Zhao Yanhe's figure flashed, turning into an afterimage. In the blink of an eye, she appeared next to the guy, lightly lifting her foot to stomp the marble floor right next to his face. Crack! A perfect footprint appeared. The little lackey was so scared he wet his pants. Her kick really scared the soul out of him. He was trembling all over. Is this a little girl? More like a little devil. Zhao Yanhe made a face. Blee, you coward. She walked away while shouting to Liu Zhengfeng, Remember what I said? If you don't listen, I'll wipe out the entire Azure Dragon Society. The entire Azure Dragon Society branch in the courtyard fell silent. Liu Zhengfeng stared intently at her retreating figure. When did such a young and skilled expert appear in Anyang City? He glanced at his brothers lying scattered on the ground, feeling even more puzzled. If it was someone from another sect causing trouble, they could have just killed them. But this girl only injured them, and then gave them a task. It's truly incomprehensible. The subordinate whose butt was stomped on earlier whimpered while clutching it. Ouch, it hurts. Are you okay? I'm fine, the Limp Tiger Gang. Does Anyang City have such a powerful force? The more he thought about it, the stranger it seemed. He couldn't figure it out no matter how hard he racked his brain. At the same time, at the Shu residence, Lu Zhao was feeding the chickens and pigs when he received a system notification. Ding! Completed the task of mobilizing the Azure Dragon Society. Reward, 200 merit points. The Shu residence still looked the same as before. When Ji Tiandao first came to Anyang City, he wanted to take Xiao Yan'er as a disciple, but her parents objected. However, later on, it's unclear what happened, but her parents actively sent Xiao Yan'er up the mountain. Lu Zhao casually asked Wang Fugi, Have the Zhu family encountered any rivals in recent years? Wang Fugi, standing nearby, respectfully lowered his head and replied, We haven't incurred any grudges, Lu Zhao continued to ask. Not even 5 years ago. 5 years ago, Wang Fugi gradually recalled, as if remembering something. Are you referring to the Murong family? Continue. 5 years ago, the Murong family and the Shu family were like water and fire. At that time, the two families' industries covered all 3 southern prefectures of Great Yan. The master's dedication to the path of a merchant also made him a wealthy magnate. Later on, the Shu family and the Murong family became sworn enemies. Cultivators in the Great Yan world shouldn't care about worldly affairs, but there are always some people who do things against their conscience for personal gain. Because of this, the master and madam were assassinated many times, and it was the Murong family who did it. We know it was the Murong family who did it, but there's no clear evidence, and the government can't do anything. Lu Zhao understood that the Shu family wanted to protect Xiao Yan'er, so they sent her up the mountain to become a disciple. Could this kidnapping incident also be the work of the Murong family? Wang Fugui hesitated slightly. I wouldn't dare to speculate. Being able to kidnap the entire Shu family, their cultivation wouldn't be lower than the 4-meridian Ocean of Nirvana realm. Does the Murong family have cultivators? On the surface? No. But I don't know if they have any behind the scenes. Lu Zhao nodded. Just then, Xiao Yan'er stepped on the roof and glided down, jumping to the ground. Lu Zhao's tone carried a hint of reproach. Why didn't you use the front door? Why climb the roof, Grandpa? Going through the front door requires knocking and waiting for it to be opened, which isn't as convenient as climbing the roof. Don't do that again in the future, yes, Xiao Yan'er replied mischievously. Teaching Xiao Yan'er rewarded 100 merit points. Lu Zhao asked, How's the matter I asked you to do going? Xiao Yan'er excitedly said, They're very obedient, and said they will definitely find out where the Limp Tiger Gang is. Oh, you didn't hit them, did you? The mischievous girl clasped her hands together and replied, I didn't hit them. That branch leader was extremely friendly. He said, "Grandma, I will definitely find out the location of the Limp Tiger Gang within 3 days." "Grandpa, don't look at me like that. I swear everything I said is true." He said it word for word. Lu Zhu knew she must have hit someone. He didn't intend to blame her, he just wanted to see if she would tell the truth. He'll slowly teach her. 3 feet of ice doesn't form in a single day of cold. 3 days passed in the blink of an eye. Lu Zhao strolled around, waiting for the Azure Dragon Society's investigation results. Wang Fugi was cleaning when he carefully asked, "Old mister, the young lady went to the Azure Dragon Society alone. Aren't you worried about her safety?" Lu Zhao glanced at him and replied, "If I were you, I'd be more worried about the safety of the Azure Dragon Society's members." Wang Fugui looked blank. He wasn't a cultivator, and even if he knew cultivators were divided into rich and poor with different cultivation levels, he couldn't tell who was more powerful than who. "I've heard some news these past few days. The Azure Dragon Society's members are hunting down information about the Limp Tiger Gang, causing a stir throughout the city." Lu Zhao smiled without replying. It was normal for Wang Fugi to worry. After all, the Azure Dragon Society's backer was the Nether sect, and the sect leader was Wu Zhenghai, the second-ranked expert on the Black Roll. Just that title alone was enough to make people terrified upon hearing it. But, ding, killed a wicked person. Reward, 10 merit points. 5 such notifications in a row. Lu Zhao was speechless. It seemed that Xiao Yanxier's temperament still hadn't calmed down. The merit point increase notifications finally stopped after about half an hour. Lu Zhao looked at the personal information interface. Name, Lu Zhao. Race, human. Cultivation, nascent origin realm Qi, refining to transform into spirit. Merit points, 1254. Dharmic body. 3 flowers gather on crown, remaining lifespan, 4,205 days. Items. Peak experience card, 2 Heaven Davaro techniques, 3 fatal block charms, passive skill, white tiger art, 3 volumes of heavenly book. The merit points were over 1,000, deducting the merit points received from teaching his disciple and completing tasks. Xiao Yanhe had killed at least 50 wicked people. Lu Zhao didn't expect Xiao Yanhe to be able to handle matters properly as soon as she entered the world. She was still young and couldn't distinguish between what was appropriate. But in the past few days, he also learned from Wang Fugi that the Azure Dragon Society often did evil deeds, oppressing the common people. The victims were all angry but dared not speak out. Behind them was the Nether sect, so the government didn't dare to do anything. Thus, they had become a major scourge in Anyang City. Killing them was no loss. They weren't worth pitying. "Fugi, go to the Murong family and inquire about news. See if they've been up to anything lately." "I'll go right away." "Wait a moment. Does the old mister have any instructions?" "Take this token with you. No one will dare to stop you. Go." "Yes." Although the Heaven Dao techniques he obtained through the system had all disappeared, the things he plundered from others back in the day were still intact. The royal family's token was one of them. He left the other things that weren't convenient to carry with him in the Dark Sky Pavilion. In the afternoon, as Lu Zhao closed his eyes to rest, while lying on the chair, Xiao Yanhe jumped down from the roof again, arriving in front of Lu Zhao. She smiled and said, "Master." Lu Zhu frowned. "Kneel, thump." Xiao Yanhe immediately knelt down, the smile on her face instantly vanishing without a trace. "Disciple knows her mistakes. Disciple shouldn't have killed people. I'm not blaming you for that." "Huh." Xiao Yanxie blinked in confusion. Lu Zhao pointed to the door. "I've already said this is a house. You must use the front door. Do you take my words as a passing breeze?" "Master, I know I was wrong. I was just so excited to come back I totally forgot. I promise I won't do it again." Xiao Yanhe kept bowing her head and promising. "Same old story every time she messes up. Doesn't learn a thing." Lu Zhao just pointed at a stone pillar nearby and lay down on it. "Huh?" Xiao Yanhe's eyes went wide again. "Your free and unrestrained nature is a good thing. But you can't be completely without any rules. Your parents aren't here, so I'll teach you." Poor Xiao Yanhe reluctantly laid down on the stone pillar. Lu Zhao knew he couldn't go soft on her, so he raised a hand and sent a weak gust of gang qi towards her butt. Thwack. He doesn't hurt. This little rascal activated her gang qi shield. Lu Zhao stroked his beard and thought, "This little brat dares to play games with me," Lu Zhao said with a hint of anger. "Disperse your gang qi shield." Xiao Yannier kept begging for mercy. "Master, spare me. I won't do it again. I'll disperse it." Xiao Yannier didn't dare to say another word. She had to remove the gang qi and brace herself. With the gang qi shield gone, Xiao Yannier was now completely just a regular person. Being free-spirited is fine, but you can't be completely without any rules. It's one thing on the mountain, but going to Anyang City and using such heavy hands, aren't you afraid someone will see and tell those evil bastards, "I must punish you so you remember it for a long time"? Thwack, master, that hurts. Hurts. Thwack, master, that hurts. This time, it really did hurt her. Even though Lu Zhao was only at the Qi condensation realm, the gang Qi he controlled was more than enough to beat a normal person. Thwack, thwack, thwack. 3 strikes in a row. This time he was really hitting hard. In his memory, only Zhao Yanhe was the one Ji Tiandao never hit. From the eldest to the 8th disciple, all of them had been beaten black and blue by Ji Tiandao, some even seriously injured. but Ji Tiandao would always use medicine to save them, and so, Dad Jin Bang got spanked since he was a little boy. Xiao Yanhair felt extremely wronged, she almost cried. In front of others, she was a fearsome little devil. But in front of Lu Zhao, she was just a child who hadn't grown up yet. A little kid with no parents by her side, whose feelings for her senior brothers and sisters were limited, unable to replace parental love. The only person she could rely on was her master, and now the master she respected the most was hitting her. How could she not feel wronged? She felt wronged to death. Lu Zhao folded his hands behind his back. Stand up. The girl wiped her tears. Master, it hurts so much. It's good that it hurts. As your master, I've told you this before. You've forgotten all the principles I taught you. In the future, you must remember my words. Yes, I know, Xiao Yanhair mumbled. Lu Zhao then gave her a candy. Eat this candy, and the pain will go away after eating it, okay? She immediately put the candy in her mouth, munching on it greedily. Sincerely teaching disciple Xiao Yanhair, rewarded 300 merit points. Lu Zhao always paid attention to her loyalty. While he was hitting Xiao Yanhair, her loyalty didn't decrease at all, which showed that when loyalty reached over 80%, as long as he didn't do anything that disappointed his disciples, their loyalty wouldn't be damaged. Xiao Yanhair was still easy to teach. The other 8 were a real headache. This path of teaching is truly a heavy burden. Xiao Yanhair had already felt wronged, and she got up and whispered. The Azure Dragon Society said there's no such thing as the Lin Hu Gang. It's all just a disguise by a bunch of cultivators. Intentional disguise? Yes, they even hired people from Yi province to put on a show. They wanted to kill me. I got angry and couldn't help but hit them. Lu Zhao pressed. Hitting is killing? Xiao Yanhair quickly corrected herself. They hired experts. If I didn't resist, I'm afraid I wouldn't have a life to come back and see you again. Lu Zhao scolded softly. Cut the crap. Unless a divine tribunal realm expert shows up who dares bully you, Xiao Yanhair didn't dare say anything else. Lu Zhao calculated the time. Wang Fugui should have returned by now, but there's still no sign of him. After thinking for a moment, Lu Ju said, Wang Fugui went out and hasn't returned. You come with me? Yes. Lu Juju turned and left. Looking at her master's back, Xiao Yanhair could see the words traitor very clearly. Master, you have words written on your back. Hurry up and erase them. Then the two left the mansion, heading towards the Murong family. At the Moon Reflection Palace, the 5th disciple, Zhao Yue, seemed anxious and uneasy. Pacing back and forth, Ye Tianxin smiled gently, stepping out from behind a screen. Senior sister doesn't need to worry so much. Since things have come to this, regretting won't do any good. We can only go all the way. Tianxin junior sister doesn't understand. If it were a month ago, I wouldn't be worried at all. That old geezer's temper is always hot-headed. He's always done things for his own benefit. But lately, his style of doing things has changed. Changed how? Zhao Yu recalled the scene when the old man beat back the top 10 experts. I can't explain it clearly. I just vaguely feel that his methods have become gentler, and his temper doesn't seem as volatile as before. Ye Tianxin chuckled. You're really scared of him reaching the ultimate realm. You've survived so many years of torture. You've only been away from him for a while, and you're already this scared? Zhao Yu thought of the many years of living in suffering and sighed. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Will he take the bait if I order people to kidnap the Xu family? With that immortal old guy's personality? It'll be hard for him to take the bait. But little junior sister is simple-minded and only left home 5 years ago. If she knows about this, she'll definitely return to Anyang. Then we'll just capture little junior sister. That old geezer will have to leave Golden Court Mountain one day. Without the protection of the 3rd senior brother, 4th senior brother, and the barrier, I'll have countless methods to exhaust all his trump cards. How can you exhaust them? The righteous sects of the world have many evil overlords, and the number of people he's harmed is countless, Ye Tianxin said. As long as I spread the news, what do you think the sects of the world will do? Especially the Heaven Sword sect, whose sect leader, Luo Changfeng, died at the hands of that old geezer, Zhao Yu asked. What if they're all afraid of him? Zhao Yue had personally witnessed the scene of the top 10 experts and over 10,000 cultivators fleeing in disarray. A scene that was hard to forget. I fear that under this heaven, only Ji Tiandao can cause thousands of cultivators to run at the mere mention of his name. I've already informed the 10 great sects about the old man's secret medicine, and the 9 great experts aren't fools either. When they figure it out, they'll come back sooner or later. Just as she said this, a female subordinate entered. Palace Master, Anyang, sent a letter reporting that the Azure Dragon Society has been destroyed, and the royal family's Forbidden Guards token appeared in Anyang City. Ye Tianxin frowned. The Azure Dragon Society was destroyed? Who was the one who did it? It's unclear. But from the traces of the fight left at the scene, the opponent was an 8-meridian ocean-navigating cultivator. Zhao Yu said from the side. Could it be Zhao Yanhair? Ye Tianxin analyzed. Little junior sister is a divine tribunal realm expert. With her personality, she's very likely to wipe out the Azure Dragon Society, but she wouldn't hide her cultivation. Zhao Yu spoke. What if that old guy left Golden Court Mountain with her? Ye Tianxin shook her head. The possibility isn't high, but for safety's sake, I'll immediately send people to investigate the Xu family. Someone, here, take this portrait to the Xu family in Anyang City, and report immediately if you find these 2 people. Yes, Ye Tianxin casually waved her hand, and 2 portraits hanging on the screen flew away in unison. One was a portrait of Ji Tiandao, with white hair, frail and old, and the other was of Zhao Yanhair, wearing a green dress, looking lively and adorable. After assigning the task, Ye Tianxin added, also, the Imperial Guard's token, Zhao Yue curiously asked. This token can mobilize the Imperial Guards who are under the control of the Emperor of Great Yan. It has a special dragon pattern engraved on it. How could it appear in Anyang? This isn't important. Although the Imperial Guards would act upon seeing the token, it's not easy to mobilize them. The appearance of the token can only mean 2 things. Either someone forged it to show off, or the emperor is traveling incognito. In recent years, the Great Yan dynasty has been plagued by continuous wars, and the emperor is unlikely to put himself in danger and travel south in disguise. That makes sense. A smile blossomed on Ye Tianxin's lips. Don't worry, senior sister. Everything is under my control. At the same time, Lu Zhao and Xiao Yanhe were approaching the Murong family residence. The two masters and disciples were munching away. Xiao Yanhe, you're being too flamboyant. I'm afraid you've attracted attention. From now on, you must do as I say. Yes, master. Yanke, what if the mastermind behind the abduction of the Xu family is your senior brothers and sisters? What would you do? Lu Zhu felt that even if it wasn't those evil disciples who did it, they were likely involved. It's not my senior brothers and sisters. They're so good to me. How could they have the heart to kidnap my parents? Lu Zhu shook his head, still too naive. Enter. Lu Zhao stepped onto the stairs in front of the Murong family's residence. Go. Yes, master. Let me go. Knock on the door, Lu Zhao suddenly ordered. Kick it down. Xiao Yanhe was dumbfounded. Inside, the Murong family members were practicing martial arts. Bam! The main gate was kicked open by her, dust filled the air, and the one teaching martial arts inside was sent flying, spewing blood. As the dust settled, Xiao Yanke and Lu Zhao slowly appeared. She's still in the stance of kicking the door. The guards of the Murong family immediately appeared. Seeing an old man and a young girl swaggering into the residence, they angrily shouted, "How dare you kick down the door of the Murong family? Seize them!" Lu Zhao glanced over the crowd and casually waved his hand. Xiao Yanhe, ask again. Retreat, Lu Zhao coldly ordered. Beat them up, I like this. Xiao Yanhe's mood had been low and unhappy. After being punished by her master, she had been wanting to find a place to vent her anger. Now it's all good. Her figure was as fast as lightning. Bam, bam, bam. The family's guards didn't even have time to see her shadow before being kicked flying backwards. With no ability to resist, she flashed a mischievous smile, finishing the job in the blink of an eye. Lu Zhao watched with his own eyes, thinking, this little girl is like a wolf entering a flock of sheep, kicking one person with each kick. Xiao Yanhe was extremely satisfied. She dusted off her hands and said, Grandpa, they're too weak. Lu Zhao didn't know what to say. A dignified divine tribunal realm powerhouse, bullying a bunch of body-tempering stage guards. What's there to brag about? These people were beaten miserably. Their faces were bruised and swollen, lying scattered on the ground, unable to move, and their cries of pain echoed endlessly. This commotion finally attracted the attention of the Murong family, and not long after, the head of the Murong family, Murong Hai, led several cultivators and quickly ran over. Seeing the scene before him, he glared and said, "Who are you people?" Lu Zhao said indifferently, "Is Wang Fugi here?" "I've already handed Wang Fugi, who forged the Imperial Guard's token, over to the authorities." Lu Zhao frowned slightly. Who dared to speak to him in this tone back on Golden Court Mountain? Yanxir, make him listen. Yanxir understands. Xiao Yanhe giggled happily, cracking her knuckles and saying, "You better listen up." A few of the Murong cultivators waved their weapons, yelling like wild animals. Where'd this little brat come from? Before they could even finish their sentence, they were sweating bullets. Xiao Yanhe repeated herself, "You guys better talk nicely and lie down." Xiao Yanhe vanished in a flash, leaving after images in the air, and gusts of wind slammed into the Murong Hai's group. Thump. Everyone fell. Murong Hai face-planted into the dirt, looking awful as he stared at Xiao Yanhe, a powerful 8-meridian Sea of Qi realm expert. The cultivators of the Murong estate were nothing more than ordinary people in front of her. The others were all clutching their chests, unable to move. "Oh, you seem to be able to take a hit." Xiao Yanhe was super curious and wanted to throw another punch. No. Murong Hai waved his hands frantically, begging for mercy. "Release the person. Quickly release the person. Wang Fugi is fine, he's fine." Before long, Wang Fugi was led over, face bruised and swollen with huge bumps on his head. Xiao Yanhe was not happy at all. As the saying goes, beat a dog, look at the owner. GG. Lu Zhao understood and replied, "Up to you." He. Xiao Yanhe rubbed her fists together, a devious smile spreading across her face, and shouted, "Who hit Fugui?" Silence! Not a single person dared to answer her. Who the hell would admit to that? Xiao Yanhe had just shown off her incredible strength. The Murong estate's cultivators were like ordinary people in front of her. Xiao Yanxir pointed at Murong Hai and said, "It was you." Murong Hai was scared shitless and waved his hands. "No, it wasn't me. Wang Fugi is just a servant. How could the head of the family lower himself to hit him?" "It was you!" Xiao Yanhe darted in front of Murong Hai, her fist carrying gusts of wind as she punched him. Lu Zhao turned his head away, and after a few screams, he turned back to see Murong Hai's face bruised and battered. Murong Hai sobbed, "We don't have any grudges. Did you have to do this? Did you have to do this?" Lu Zhao said calmly, "Do you know anything about the Shu family's kidnapping?" The scene went silent. "Don't be so quick to answer," Lu Zhao added slowly, turning to look at Xiao Yanhe. "If I think you're lying, Xiao Yanhe will break your legs." "Yes, Grandpa." Being able to beat someone up made Xiao Yanhe super excited. Murong Hai looked even more distressed. Think about it. Think about this. How am I supposed to answer?" The others couldn't help but shrink back half a step. Murong Hai nodded and said, "I know who did it. I only know that there are very powerful cultivators backing them. Although the Murong family and the Shu family have a long-standing feud, they couldn't have kidnapped hundreds of people from the Shu residence overnight." Murong Hai sobbed. "Powerful cultivators." Musharong Hai's eyes glanced at Wang Fugi, guessing that this old man in front of him must have a good relationship with the Shu family, so he said, "Old sir, please listen to my advice. Don't provoke these people." Lu Zhao pressed him. "You know them." Murong Hai shook his head. Not really, but I know these cultivators are connected to Golden Court Mountain. Old sir, have you heard of Golden Court Mountain? Not really. Tell me about it. Not even heard of Golden Court Mountain? Judging by this old man's aura and bearing, he seemed to be a reclusive person, living isolated from the world. Golden Court Mountain is the home of an old devil ancestor. He has 9 disciples, each of whom is a devil famous throughout the world. The cultivators who kidnap the people of the Exu residence are very likely related to some of the devils on Golden Court Mountain. They kill people without batting an eye. Their crimes are heinous. I think, old sir, you look kind and gentle. You should definitely not provoke them. Hearing such flattering words, Xiao Yanhe really couldn't hold back anymore and burst out laughing. Seeing that her master was still being solemn and serious, she quickly suppressed her laughter. But fearing he would blame her, she turned away, covered her mouth, and couldn't help it. She simply laughed out loud, covering her mouth and then holding her stomach. Pay no attention to her, continue, Lu Zhao said calmly. Mu Ronghai's face was full of embarrassment and doubt. How could she laugh when we're talking about such a serious topic? Mu Ronghai was interrupted by Xiao Yanhe and didn't know how to continue, so he choked up and went back to his usual tone, saying, "This Lin Hugang is a sect that didn't exist before they kidnapped the Shu family. They came to investigate the terrain in A Yang, a group of more than 300 people. How do you know? If the other party disguised themselves as a sect, they clearly didn't want others to know. But how could the Murong family know this information so easily? It was very contradictory. Mu Ronghai was slightly startled and looked embarrassed. Lu Zhao shouted, "Tell the truth! I dare not hide anything." The kidnapped hostages. "There are also people from my Murong family," Xiao Yanhe said angrily. "Shameless!" Lu Zhao held her back and said, "Very good, your answer wasn't bad. I beg old sir to spare me. I promise you that I will never be hostile to the Shu family again." Lu Zhao slowly turned around. "One last question. Can you track the hostages' location?" Mu Ronghai's face changed immediately when he heard this. The meaning of this sir in front of him was clearly to provoke those people. This. Xiao Yanhe immediately clasped her hands and glared at him. "Humph? Yes, I can." Mu Ronghai lowered his head and had to answer honestly. This kind of low-level tracking method is called cultivation imprint. Great cultivators don't bother using it. If the Linhu gang has the support of a powerful cultivator, there's no way they wouldn't see through this trick. In other words, the other party deliberately revealed the information. If bandits kidnap hostages for money, what does the Linhu gang want this trap for? "Let's go back," Lu Zhao said calmly. Xiao Yanhe jumped to Lu Zhao's side. "Grandpa, let me support you." Lu Zhao took 2 steps and suddenly stopped, pointing at Mu Ronghai. "Take him with us, and don't forget to retrieve the royal token." Mu Ronghai was dumbfounded. He wanted to kneel down and beg for forgiveness, but Lu Zhao had already turned away resolutely, seemingly not giving him a chance to refuse. Would he dare to resist? Wang Fugui pulled Mu Ronghai away. "Here's the royal token, keep it safe." Xiao Yanche held the token and admired it. "This dragon pattern is really beautiful." Wang Fugui kept urging Mu Ronghai to hurry up. Lu Zhao smiled. "This is a special dragon pattern, only found on royal tokens. It's used to distinguish between real and fake. Keep it safe, and don't show it off too much." Thump! Mu Ronghai's legs went weak, and he collapsed to the ground. His forehead was covered in sweat, and his hands were shaking. "Was that token really real?" Wang Fugui yelled. "Duh!" Xiao Yanhe turned her head in confusion, and told Mu Ronghai to get up and walk quickly. "You're sitting on a pile of shit." After walking halfway, Lu Zhao suddenly stopped and said, "Yanser, send a flying letter to your senior brother. Tell him that if any cultivators with unknown identities approach Golden Court Mountain, kill them, without question. Understood?" Zhao Yanser couldn't help but shudder. At this moment, she felt a murderous aura emanating from her master. Ever since repelling the 10 great experts, there had always been a very strange aura about her master. "Tomorrow morning, take Mu Ronghai, and we'll find a way to rescue your family." Xiao Yanhe clasped her hands and said, "Thank you, Grandpa Master." At the Zhu Manor, night fell, and Lu Zhao, as usual, habitually opened the system interface to check his merit points. Performing a stellar draw, consuming 50 merit points, he obtained reversal cards, quantity 3. Reversal cards are worthless. Lu Zhu immediately felt like he had been scammed by the system before. He spent 500 merit points to buy a reversal card in the store, and now he gets 3 in one go for 50 points. Isn't that a ripoff? Performing a stellar draw, consuming 50 merit points, he obtained fatal blow blockers, quantity 5. Performing a stellar draw, consuming 50 merit points. Thank you for participating. Lucky points +1. Performing a stellar draw, consuming 50 merit points. Thank you for participating. Lucky points +1. Lu Zhao shook his head. Oh no, here comes that "thank you for participating" feeling again. He restrained himself. "I can't keep drawing. If I draw 10 times and still don't get a reversal card, it's a total loss." Using them, Lu Zhao used up all 3 reversal cards. He looked down at the system interface. His remaining lifespan was 5,309 days. 3 cards increased it by 1,000 days. Lu Zhu clearly remembered that the first reversal card increased it by 31 days. The subsequent ones increased it by 300 days. And now it's 333 days per card. Interesting. He felt that his body's muscles were much better. Although his cultivation level was still low, the foundation of this body was still there. While he was wondering, Lu Zhao felt like his eyesight seemed better than before. The light outside the window shone in like ripples on the sea. He rubbed his eyes, and everything returned to normal. Could this be the extraordinary power of the 3 heavenly tomes? How can I use this power? The system once reminded him that the cultivation method of the 3 heavenly tomes is completely different from other cultivation methods. In other words, Ji Tiandao's previous experiences and insights were worthless. He could only explore on his own. Lu Zhujiao opened the Heavenly Tome interface and continued reading. The next morning, Lu Zhuao, Xiao Yanhe, Murong Hai, and Wang Fugi gathered in the courtyard. Grandpa, you look younger again. Nonsense, this little girl's vocabulary is so poor she only knows how to flatter me with that sentence. Lu Zhao put his hands behind his back and said, Murong Hai, lead the way. Yes. Murong Hai cupped his fist. Faint streams of energy wrapped around his arm, then suddenly danced and disappeared into the world. 10 miles north from here, they can be snatched back. Gathering only 10 miles away, these cultivators clearly aren't afraid of anyone coming to rescue them. 10 miles. If it's really related to those evildoers, it seems a bit risky to take Yanner there. Should I gamble or just ignore it? Grandpa, what are you thinking about? Nothing? Let's go. Yes. Wang Fugui didn't have any cultivation, so he stayed at the Zhu Manor to watch over things. Lu Zhao, Xiao Yan'er, and Murong Hai headed north, 10 miles north of Anyang City, at Qingyang Mountain Stronghold. This must be it. Murong Hai pointed to the mountain range in front and said, The 3 stood at the foot of the mountain, looking up at Qingyang Mountain. This is Qingyang Mountain Stronghold. The mark can't be wrong. The cultivators of the Lin Hu gang must all be stationed here. Lu Zhao stroked his beard and said, Yanker, go save them. Yes, Xiao Yan'er smiled mischievously. She took step by step towards Qingyang Mountain Stronghold. Murong Hai exclaimed in fear, 8 Meridian Sea of Avatar's realm. To have achieved so much at such a young age, truly rare. Every step leaves footprints. Just then, a group of cultivators from Qingyang Mountain emerged from the forest. They flew on their swords, moving in unison, as if they had been waiting for them. Swish, swish. In the blink of an eye, more than a dozen cultivators blocked Lu Zhao's group. We've been waiting for you for a long time. More than a dozen cultivators stood in the air, looking down from above. Murong Hai, seeing the situation was not good, took a step back, his eyes wide as saucers, and stammered, See, Senior, they are all 8 Meridian Sea of Avatar's realm experts. This. I already said this was a trap. Now look what happened. Lu Zhao nodded, only saying, Murong Hai wanted to cry. You're still murmuring at a time like this. His Murong family was just a normal merchant family. Although they were like fish in water in business, in the eyes of cultivators, they were nothing more than ants. Those were 2 completely different worlds. Besides fear, what else could he do? He was only at the 5 Aperture Profound Connection realm. This kind of realm didn't even have the right to stand straight in front of the Sea of Avatar's realm, Murong Hai suggested. Senior, let's run. Xiao Yan'er was also a 8 Meridian Sea of Avatar's realm expert. If they let her block these cultivators alone, they might have a chance to escape, but Lu Zhao remained indifferent, as if he didn't hear Murong Hai's words. All his attention was focused on the formation in front of him. Crazy! He must be crazy! Xiao Yan'er wasn't afraid at all, and even enthusiastically looked around. She put one hand on her hip and counted with the other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's still counting at a time like this. The cultivators frowned, and the leader said angrily, We never kill nameless people. State your names. Xiao Yan'er finished counting and smiled. 10 Sea of Avatar's realm cultivators. The leader was stunned. This little girl didn't even bother to pay attention to his words. The cultivator next to him whispered, That senior said, no matter who it is, kill without mercy. The leader nodded slightly. He looked down and said, Taking money from others, working for them. I see that you are young and already have a good cultivation base. It's a pity that you are involved with the Shu family time and time again. He waved his hand, and the 10 cultivators behind him rushed forward, surrounding Xiao Yan'er. Lu Zhao's old voice came, Who ordered you to do this? The leader glanced at Lu Zhao and Murong Hai. Who are you, old man? He couldn't help but shake his head, one at the Qi condensation realm, one at the profound connection realm. Lu Zhao also shook his head. The principles and rules in this world ultimately depend on fists to determine who's right, Yan'er. Lu Zhao gestured to Xiao Yan'er. Xiao Yan'er understood, smiled, unfolded her stance, and lightly tapped her toes. Boom! The ground was stomped into a huge pit, and Murong Hai was completely stunned. He perfectly displayed the appearance of someone who had never seen the world. The 10 Qi condensation realm cultivators were all shocked. This aura, something's not right. Kill her! The leader ordered, but Xiao Yan'er's silver bell-like laughter echoed throughout Qingyang Mountain. Whoosh! Xiao Yan'er disappeared from her spot. 7 stars. Cloud-chasing steps. This was one of the most quintessential movement techniques that Ji Tiandao gave her. Able to walk on air, turning into illusions as fast as lightning. Her figure only left after images in the air, making people dizzy. As if she was everywhere. Boom! One by one, the Qi condensation realm cultivators were kicked to the ground by her, not just falling, but slammed into the earth, her eyes chilling. Bam! The group of cultivators was quickly finished off by the little girl Xiao Yan'er. Murong Hai was dumbfounded. Are 8 Meridian Qi condensation realm cultivators all this strong? Successfully killed an evildoer, gained 10 merit points. Successfully killed an evildoer, gained 10 merit points. In just a few breaths, Xiao Yan'er had kicked 10 cultivators into the ground. Those lying on the ground had brains splattered everywhere, blood all over their faces, and had all lost their lives. Only the leading cultivator was left, his face blank, as if scared out of his mind. Xiao Yan'er's figure appeared in front of him. She waved her hand as if the dead people below had nothing to do with her. Need me to help you? No, I'll go down myself, thump. The leader extinguished the primal chi in his whole body and fell to the ground. At least that way he could save his life. After landing, the strong smell of blood stimulated his nerves. Who am I? Where am I? What was I supposed to do? He remembered he accepted a rewarded task. To kidnap the family, kill the rescuers. Mu Ronghai finally came to his senses. Swallowed hard, feeling like he was dreaming. Lu Zhao slowly walked over. Not bad, H. Hi, Grandpa. You've finally come to save me. Xiao Yanhe deliberately left one person alive and killed all the rest, which Lu Zhao found a bit unexpected. Lu Zhao's gaze turned to the survivor, and he said calmly, "Who's the mastermind?" The survivor struggled to look up at the old man in front of him. "Don't know. The Zai family's hostage is not here. Someone took them away." "Who? Don't know. Did you ever see his appearance?" "No. Never saw him." "This guy won't talk." Xiao Yanhe got angry after hearing a few sentences, and said, "Liar. Still dare to talk back. Tired of living." Lu Zhao also frowned. The leader lying prone on the ground didn't dare to breathe loudly. His fingertips dug into the ground, constantly trembling. Lu Zhao said calmly, "Kill him." "Ah, no. Can't you ask a couple more questions?" I'll tell you. Don't kill me. Lu Zhao didn't even bother to look at him, just walked up Qingyang Mountain with his hands behind his back. Xiao Yanche smiled playfully. "Why didn't you say so earlier? After all, he's a Qi condensation realm expert. Not even a scratch on him." How embarrassing would it be if he answered truthfully, after just a couple of casual questions? The entire Z family is on Xingyang Mountain. The Z family's patriarch was taken away by the employer. I really don't know the employer's identity." The leader hastily revealed the important information. Lu Zhao didn't turn his head. He was thinking about how to find these cunning bastards. The peak trial card only had 2 left. He couldn't use them up. Before going to find them, Xiao Yanjiao said, "Grandpa is so amazing he scared him into spilling everything." Lu Zhao shook his head and said, "I didn't scare him. Grandpa, this place is a trap. The one behind the scenes deliberately wanted to leave information. Even if he didn't say it, someone would find a way to let us know. What's the point of keeping him? If there's any value in him, it's just providing merit points." The leader immediately shrank back, his face pale, his complexion ashen. At Moon Reflection Palace, a dozen female cultivators flew across the mountain range one after another and landed in sequence. The cultivation place was as beautiful as a fairyland. The female cultivators were as beautiful as celestial beings. Who would have thought that this was the location of the female devil, Ye Tiangxin? The palace master of Moon Reflection Palace also had the title of Jade-Faced Shura, Palace Master. A letter reports that someone has come from the Z family, one old and one young. Hearing this news, Ye Tiangxin and Zhao Yue stood up at the same time. "Have you confirmed the identities of those 2 people? They look somewhat similar to the portraits, but we haven't dared to confirm." "Similar?" Ye Tiangxin smiled and said, "With that old fogey's personality, would he even know how to disguise himself? As far as I know, 3rd senior brother has been injured, Zheng Yidao has sent experts to Jinding Mountain, and moreover, after the death of Luo Changfeng, the sect leader of Heavenly Sword Sect, there still hasn't been a successor. The previous sect leader, Luo Jingkong, has always been staring, looking for an opportunity for revenge." Yi Tiangxin continued, 4th senior brother alone won't be able to stop the nascent soul realm experts." Zhao Yue understood her meaning. This was the best opportunity to exhaust Ji Tiandao's trump cards. "Then what if these 2 people aren't fake?" Yi Tiangxin chuckled. "Wouldn't that be perfect for them to fall into our trap?" Reporting Palace Master. A letter reports that the Linhu Gang's cultivators on Xingyang Mountain have all been annihilated. The Z family members, except for Old Master Z, have all been rescued. Yay. Tiangxin didn't seem surprised at all. Her eyes lit up. Able to kill the Linhu Gang's group of Qi condensation realm cultivators must be little junior sister. There aren't many Divine Court realm experts. The Divine Court realm experts of the 10 great sects have no reason to go rescue a small and insignificant Zai family. Only little Yan Meyer has the motive. "Send a letter to the evil king. The plan doesn't change. Prepare to set off." "Yes." Zhao Yu chuckled softly. Old 8 dares to call himself the evil king with his cultivation? Hasn't he seen you before? Among the 9 disciples, Old 8's cultivation is only slightly stronger than Little Yanner's. But Little Yanner entered the sect last, and has only been cultivating for 5 years. With just a little more time, Little Yanner will definitely surpass him. Hearing that a simpleton like Old 8 could also call himself the evil king, Zhao Yu naturally found it funny. Ye Tiangxin added, "It's not that Old 8 is too weak, but that old geezer is too strong. Outsiders only know that old devil through the great achievements he's made. Only these disciples truly understand what it's like to be around him." At the same time, Lu Zhao, whose name was mentioned, let out a sneeze. Hachu. The entire Shu family, after being saved, knelt down to thank Lu Zhao. Many thanks for the old senior's life-saving grace. Lu Zhao also smoothly gained merit points from the sincere kneeling of over 100 people. Xiao Yanhe and her mother, Shu Chengxi, excitedly reunited, but unfortunately, there wasn't time for catching up. Lu Zhao told Xiao Yanhe to take the clansmen back home safely. They still had to continue rescuing people. Xiao Yanhe's father was still in the hands of some powerful cultivator. After the brief battle at Xingyang Mountain, Mu Ronghai once again recognized this little Yansir girl. Mu Ronghai praised from the bottom of his heart. "Old senior, your granddaughter is the youngest cultivator I know, reaching the 8 Meridian Sea of Wonders realm. In less than 3 years, she'll definitely enter the Divine Court realm." Lu Zhuzhao said nothing, just walked with his hands behind his back. Xiao Yanfer smoothed her hair, then pointed at Mu Ronghai and said, "TCH, I remember very clearly, you were scared to death just now." Mu Ronghai looked embarrassed. "What? You still dare to not accept it? If it weren't for saving your life to be more useful, this lady would have kicked you to death, you believe it? To be honest, Murong-hai really couldn't understand the thinking of this little girl with her unpredictable mood swings. Saying nice things made her angry. It was better to say nothing at all. See? Murong-hai couldn't help but speed up to catch up with Lu Zhao. The old senior is much more amiable. After walking for a while, Murong-hai couldn't help but say, "Old senior, although the Shu family has been rescued, if someone continues to capture them at this time, wouldn't all the effort be wasted?" Before Lu Zhao could answer, Xiao Yanhair angrily said, "Idiot. My grandpa has the Imperial Guard token, and I've already given it to them." Murong-hai almost choked to death from Xiao Yanhair's words. Lu Zhao calmly said, "It's all right." He paused for a moment, then cupped his hands and said, "The target of these cultivators probably isn't the Shu family." Murong-hai nodded. "That makes sense. If it's for money, they can just ask for it. They don't ask for money, nor do they kill people, they just want something else. Then why do they have to do this?" At this moment, Xiao Yanhair pointed towards the horizon and said, "Carrier pigeon, whoosh!" Xiao Yanhair leaped into the air, catching the golden carrier pigeon. It was a reply from the fourth senior brother. This time Lu Zhao didn't tell her to read it, but waved his hand. Xiao Yanhair gave the letter to Lu Zhao. After reading the letter, Lu Zhao frowned slightly. "Grandpa, what does the letter say?" "Some small matters." Lu Zhao casually waved his hand, and the letter turned into fine powder, scattering with the wind. Murong-hai naturally didn't dare to ask too much, just stood silently to the side. Lu Zhao looked at the beautiful mountains and rivers, stroked his beard, and said, "Send a flying letter to Old Fourth, telling him to wait for this teacher's return." "Yes." Xiao Yanhair didn't know what the letter said, but since her master looked so calm and composed, it probably wasn't anything important. Murong-hai secretly speculated based on the way these two grandparents addressed each other. Is this some kind of sect? The world of Great Yan is vast, and it's normal for there to be some reclusive experts, Murong-hai suggested. "Old senior, there's no mark on the Shu family's patriarch, so we can't continue tracking them. How about we go back?" Lu Zhao glanced at him, then asked, "Murong-hai, can you recognize the Imperial token?" Murong-hai replied, "The token is a personal item of the Great Yan Emperor, capable of mobilizing 100,000 Imperial Guards. The 8 commanders each guard 8 districts of the capital. And it's said that there are also 4 Divine Core Realm experts guarding the 4 directions, turning the capital into the strongest defense. The 8 commanders work directly under the Great Yan Emperor. And the only one who can mobilize them besides the Emperor is this token. Distinguishing the real from the fake is very simple. Just look at the special dragon pattern on the token." Lu Zhao nodded. His words were all true. Back then, Ji Tiandao only sneaked into the palace to steal the token after hearing about the special points of this token. Times change. No matter how foolish the Imperial family is, they can't let the token be lost. Even if it's impossible to mobilize the Imperial Guards, the symbolic meaning of this token is still intact. "You recognize the token, yet you still had the courage to kidnap Wang Fugui." Murong-hai choked and replied, "I can only blame myself for being blind, not paying attention to the dragon pattern." For a moment, Lu Zhao didn't ask any further. Xiao Yanhair pointed ahead and said, "Grandpa, it should be here." Lu Zhao hummed. The 3 of them walked around the lake to a clearing, surrounded by mountains on all sides, with no one living within 1,000 miles. Lu Zhao carefully observed the surroundings, then used a deep voice to spread the sound in all directions. It was still quiet and silent. The trees in the mountains only had the sound of birds singing, and no other sound. For some reason, Murong-hai felt very uncomfortable. His back felt cold, and a very bad feeling suddenly arose in his heart. He took a step back. Swish! Birds flew out of the forest in all directions, scrambling to escape. A black figure flew out of the mountains, towards them, with a person under his arm. But he was still as light as a feather, slowly descending. Murong-hai retreated again, saying, "The aura is so strong, Divine Court Realm." A strange, sinister laugh echoed from the mountains, reverberating in the air. "KK, not good. It could be a devil from Golden Cauldron Mountain. Run!" Murong-hai turned around and ran. "Wanna run? Too late." The voice of the black figure was deep and hoarse, sending shivers down one's spine. Murong-hai hadn't run far before being stopped by an invisible energy. He was extremely panicked. "Old senior, save me." Lu Zhao stood with his hands behind his back, not moving at all. Based on the fluctuating aura, it could be seen that the newcomer was stronger than the 8 Meridian Sea of Wonders realm, probably a Divine Court Realm expert, but it still wasn't enough for him to use a peak state card. The person had long black hair covering his face, so it was impossible to see his face clearly. Being able to survive a battle at Qingyang Mountain shows that your group has some strength, but unfortunately, it's still far from enough. Profound Connection Realm, 2 apertures, body tempering 8th layer. His eyes swept over Murong-hai and Lu Zhao, finally stopping on Xiao Yanhair. 8 Meridian Sea of Wonders realm, TCH. It seems this deal is quite fair. Xiao Yanhair's eyes lit up, smiling. This one should be able to take a beating better. The person laughed again. Xiao Yanhair was about to rush up, when Lu Zhao raised his hand to stop her. Lessen the work whenever possible. Lu Zhao stroked his beard and said, "Release the hostage and leave, and I will spare your life." Murong-hai trembled in his heart. The old senior looks amiable, but why is he talking so boastfully? Doesn't he only have one granddaughter who is in the 8 Meridian Sea of Wonders realm? The black figure pointed at Lu Zhao. "Old geezer, do you know who you're talking to?" Lu Zhao's tone remained as calm as ever. Since when did someone who learned a little bit of the fur of the 3 Yin spirit way dare to look down on everyone? The shadow was startled, his gaze shifting from Xiao Yanhair to Lu Zhao. His intuition told him that this old man wasn't just at the 8th stage of body tempering, but had used some method to conceal his aura. Just one glance, and he saw through his sect's techniques. This was no simple matter. Who are you? Using the reverse breathing method, allowing the primal energy of heaven and earth to pass through the Laogong points on both hands, gathering at the dantian. This cultivation method makes it easy to develop the powerful palms. But the drawback is bone-chilling cold. Every month, you have to endure at least 10 days of pain worse than death. Lu Xiao paused for a moment, then said, "To add, you only have a maximum of 3 months left to live." The shadow was aghast. There are many self-cultivators in the world, and each person has their own secrets, especially the weaknesses of the techniques they cultivate. For 20 years, I've painstakingly cultivated the 3-yin body, becoming a divine court realm expert respected by all. As much as you gain, that's how much you pay. The price the 3-yin body brings is a freezing cold body. But how did this old geezer in front of me know? He flicked his black hair aside, his eyes widening like saucers. Looking at Lu Zhu's indifferent expression, his voice became sinister. "I'll ask one more time, just who in the hell are you?" Lu Xiao searched through his memories in his mind, continuing, "In the past you betrayed your sect, only learning the 3-yin spirit, and didn't learn the yang spirit art in tandem. Extreme cold without the regulation of supreme yang? It's a miracle you've lived this long," the shadow asked suspiciously. "Yang spirit art? What? Don't you know the yang spirit art?" The shadow suddenly laughed wildly. "Ha ha ha!" The laughter shook the mountains and forests. "Old man, you're good. You dare to spout nonsense to deceive me." The shadow suddenly lunged forward like a crazed beast. A bone-chilling wind emanated from his entire body, a fist smashing towards Lu Zhu's face. His burst of speed slightly startled Lu Zhu. Bang! The massive waves caused by the powerful wind were suddenly blocked. The shadow surprisingly let out a look of astonishment on his face. The tea house became quiet again. The shadow focused on the one who blocked his thunderous strike. Not this seemingly weak old man, but the little girl who was always smiling. Xiao Yanhair simply raised her hand to block his fist, playfully saying, "If you want to hit my grandpa, you have to ask me first." A sharp wind emanated from Xiao Yanhair's entire body, pushing back the shadow. Bang! The shadow was immediately sent flying. Isn't she just in 8 meridians of the Brahman Sea realm? Even Mu Soronghai, who was sitting limply on the ground, was dumbfounded. Seeing this scene, he felt his entire worldview collapsing. Why is she so powerful? Pretending to be a pig to eat the tiger, she really knows how to act. She no longer concealed her aura. A genuine divine court realm expert in reality. Even if Xiao Yan'er didn't make a move, he wouldn't have been able to harm Lu Xiao anyway. He had 7 uses of critical block left. However, it was even better that Xiao Yan'er made a move, so Lu Xiao didn't have to use his trump card. "You're a divine court realm expert at this age, how is that possible?" The shadow's voice sounded surprised. Xiao Yan'er rubbed her fist. Looking eager to fight, she turned her head and said, "Grandpa, I want to fight him. Whatever you want." Getting her master's permission, Xiao Yanjie smiled even more happily. She beckoned to the shadow. "It's been a long time since I've met such a strong opponent. You have to hold on for a while." This scene is so damn weird. A little girl provoking a huge monster. Xiao Yanhair moved like the wind, her toes lightly touching the grass like a dragonfly skimming the water, kicking towards the shadow. The two began to fight fiercely. The shadow instinctively raised his hands to block, a series of kicks hitting his arms hard. The powerful force of the primal chi sent him staggering backwards. He could only defend. This kind of powerful force is astonishing. The shadow was immediately kicked away by Xiao Yan'er, rocks and stones shattering. The girl relentlessly charged forward. Bang, bang, bang. The shadow was beaten black and blue by the girl. Mu Xiaoronghai was speechless. "This is what you call being naughty." Seeing that Mu Xiaoronghai had been scared out of his wits, Lu Xiao calmly said, "This girl has always been this naughty. This is clearly a demon who just escaped from their restraints." The shadow didn't know whether to laugh or cry. He really wanted to stand up, but he discovered that his legs were like jelly. Unable to move, Lu Xiao stepped forward to check Master Murong. Luckily, he just fainted and wasn't injured. Muronghai couldn't believe his eyes and said, Old senior, you have such a strong granddaughter. There's no need to act like this." He thought to himself, "There's no need to pretend to be weak. People's hearts are treacherous. You can't be too careful," Lu Zhu said. Muronghai calmed his excited mood. "Old senior sees the world so clearly. No wonder you always had the confidence to save the Murong estate. I still underestimated you, old senior." The two chatted casually. Anyway, Xiao Yan'er and that shadow were still fighting intensely, evenly matched. Outsiders looking in would think that the two were still neck and neck. But in reality, Xiao Yan'er was always suppressing the opponent. Anyone with eyes could see that she was doing it on purpose, clearly wanting to fight for a longer time. Perhaps it was because she had been on the mountain for too long. She had been holding back until she was bored. Her movements were restricted, and she couldn't let loose. Now that she had a worthy opponent who could spar freely, how could she let it go? The sounds of primal chi clashing rang out endlessly. Muronghai's heart trembled deeply at the sight. It was truly hard to imagine such powerful primal chi coming from a young girl who looked so delicate. Old senior. Muronghai cupped his hands and asked Lu Xiao, "Can I ask you something? About you also hiding your cultivation level, is that true?" Muronghai had thought about this long ago. To be able to suppress such a little devil, how could it simply rely on the charm of his personality and family ties? Only a ghost would believe that. Lu Xiao glanced at him, neither admitting nor denying it. The more Lu Zhao was like this, the more Mu Zhonghai thought that he was right. Even his granddaughter was a divine court realm expert. So the old senior in front of him was at least a divine court realm expert. Mu Zhonghai hurriedly cupped his hands and said, "Well, Mr. is truly a hidden master." "Nah, not really a master or anything." Lu Zhao waved his hand dismissively. Mu Zhonghai was deeply moved, thinking, "That little brat is so unpredictable and hot-tempered. Who knew her grandpa would be so generous and humble? Please forgive my nosiness, old mister." "Oh," Lu Zhao glanced at Xiao Yanhe, who was busy pummeling someone in the distance, and said, "That child has astonishing talent, a cultivation base with high achievements, and limitless potential. It's just a pity she doesn't quite get how to treat others." He knew Xiao Yanhe's personality best. Teaching her properly wasn't something you could do in just a couple of days. "You're right. I've been thinking about how to teach this little rascal some manners lately. Old mister is truly wise. That child is really blessed. I know Xiao Yanhe's stubbornness and character best. Teaching her to be good isn't something that can be done in a day or two." Boom, bang, crash. The violent wind, carrying energy, slammed into the Black Shadow's face, covering him in dust and causing him to cough incessantly. The Black Shadow finally collapsed onto the ground, unable to move. Xiao Yanhe smiled sweetly and said, "Keep going." The Black Shadow raised both hands, feebly waving them, and uttered with difficulty, "Don't hit, no more hitting." Xiao Yanhe felt bored, while the Black Shadow lay there, hacking and coughing. Lu Zhao finally stood up, a smile appearing on his face. "Looks like they've had their fill." "That's great, congratulations, old mister. The Shu family has been saved. This trip is finally over." Lu Zhao shook his head again, looking at the Black Shadow lying on the ground. "The matter isn't over yet. On the contrary, it's just begun." He walked closer and suddenly said, "Pan Zhong, tell me." The Black Shadow on the ground trembled all over. "You? How do you know my name?" Back to the main point. Lu Zhao slowly walked forward, saying as he went, "You could have lived for another 3 months, but you wanted to die, so I'll grant you your wish." "You?" Pan Zhong's heart trembled. He flipped backward, sending all the dust on his body flying into his face. Whoosh! His body swayed, almost losing his balance. "I didn't expect this brat to have such a profound cultivation base, but it's not enough to kill me." Pan Zhong cautiously eyed Xiao Yanhe. After several hundred rounds of being a punching bag for her, he really wanted to just run away. Lu Zhao said, "The 3 yin styles need to be paired with the 6 yang art to be truly effective. You only learned the 3 yin styles and couldn't bring out its essence." Xiao Yanhe glared at him. 6 yang art? I've never heard of it. What's so strange about some broken 6 yang art technique? My grandpa has countless cultivation methods." Pan Zhong asked curiously. "Countless?" Just then, sounds of air being torn apart could be heard, the sounds of flying swords and airborne travel, with a powerful aura and a large number of cultivators. "Little junior sister, long time no see." In the distant sky, a crimson flying chariot hovered, followed by over 100 cultivators flying like a tide. "They're here," Lu Zhao said, looking at the crimson flying chariot. Xiao Yanhe, who had been carefree and playful, exclaimed in shock, "It's senior sister's flying chariot." Then, a little scared, she stood next to her master, clutching his arm tightly. Lu Zhao waved his hand. "Don't be afraid. Protect your father." Yes, Xiao Yanhe thought about it and realized he was right. With her master here, what was there to be afraid of? She helped Old Man Shu up, but unfortunately he was still unconscious and couldn't see this magnificent scene. As for Pan Zhong, he was both surprised and puzzled. Not knowing what to think, Mu Zhonghai felt like he was dreaming. An illusion. It had to be an illusion. He pinched himself hard. Ouch! That hurts like hell. How can there be so many cultivators? A cultivator at the 8 Meridians Phantasm Sea Realm was considered a powerhouse, because reaching the Phantasm Sea Realm allowed one to stand in the air, and opening the 8 Meridians allowed one to fly. How could so many experts be flying through the air like locusts? Is the Phantasm Sea Realm not worth anything anymore? He was terrified. Moreover, those who could control flying swords were at least cultivators who had opened the 8 Meridians, and there were quite a few Divine Court Realm experts among them. And then there was the flying chariots. Flying chariots were symbols of status. Usually only a powerful faction had the right to ride one. Even before the 10 great experts besieged Golden Court Mountain, only the 10 great experts were allowed to sit in flying chariots. So who on earth was the person sitting in this crimson flying chariot? In the blink of an eye, the experts gathered in the sky, forming a semicircular encirclement. The crimson flying chariot hovered in the middle of the formation. Lu Zhao, Mu Zhonghai, Xiao Yanhe, and Pan Zhong all looked towards the flying chariot. A delicate voice rang out. "As always, I can only hear her voice, but not see her. Little junior sister is getting more and more beautiful." The familiar tone made Xiao Yanhe swallow hard and run behind Lu Zhao. Pan Zhong was even more confused. Little junior sister, who could make this powerful and unruly little brat afraid. He seemed to recognize the owner of the crimson flying chariot, swallowed a mouthful of saliva, and his fingers trembled slightly. Xiao Yanhe harumphed. "HMPH, traitor. I don't want to be your little junior sister." Ha ha ha. Laughter came from the flying chariot. Little junior sister is still as innocent and adorable as ever. At this moment, a Divine Court Realm cultivator flew over on his sword, cupped his fist, and said to the person in the flying chariot, "Palace Master Ye, you said that the old devil relied on secret medicines to survive the last tribulation, so you sent a secret message to inform us that the Grand Master Devil would appear here, but now there's only a little devil here." "What do you mean? Only a little devil?" Lu Xiao couldn't help but wonder. Did I only get 10 years younger? My hair got darker, and my skin got less wrinkled, but my facial features haven't changed that much. Is it really that hard to recognize this old man? The cultivator sitting in the flying chariot laughed. Open your eyes and look carefully. HMPH, boom boom. The flying chariot moved forward a step. The screen was lifted, all the cultivators turned to look, and everyone held their breath. A woman in white slowly descended from the sky like a fairy maiden. Master, you've fallen for their trap. Her aura was as gentle as water, but it contained killing intent. Even though she was still a ways off, Lu Zhujiao recognized Ye Tianxin. The hate meter from that traitorous disciple, Ye Tianxin, was steadily climbing. That sixth disciple of his, now the palace master of the Yanyu Palace, famous far and wide. A place, they say, only has female cultivators, all talented, and all with a deep hatred for unfaithful men. No one knows why. Lu Zhao rummaged through his memories but couldn't find an answer. What a waste. But there weren't many female cultivators around her that he could clearly see. She didn't want to use her own people. They were all people she wanted to use. How calculate? The other cultivators were also landing, keeping their distance from Ye Tianxin. Lu Zhao stood with his hands behind his back, his eyes on Ye Tianxin. Her air and appearance reminded Lu Zhao of a line of poetry, growing from mud, yet untouched by its mire. Lu Zhao wasn't in a hurry to make a move, because he felt things weren't as simple as they seemed. They weren't just setting a trap to catch him. These evil disciples weren't that stupid. Oldest, second, fifth, seventh, and eighth hadn't shown their faces yet. Once he used a peak performance card, he only had half an hour. He had to make the most of that peak performance card, catch all those evil disciples. Everyone's eyes were glued to Ye Tianxin. Ye Tianxin slowly walked forward, and the group of cultivators made way for her. After walking a few steps, she stopped. She didn't go any further, but just smiled at Lu Juju, softly calling out, Shifu. Everything went quiet, not a sound. The cultivators broke out in cold sweats. All eyes turned to Lu Zhao, a 60 or 70-year-old geezer. There were looks of surprise, shock, doubt, and disbelief. This was the legendary demonic patriarch, the one with mountains of sins, famous throughout the land? This was the old devil who swept across the 80,000 alien race cultivators of Rongbei? Is this a mistake? Hard to believe. He's a bit different from his portrait. But Ye Tianxin confirmed it herself. Ye Tianxin was the old devil's sixth disciple. If she said it was him, then it was him. Murong Hai looked at the kindly old man beside him, then burst out laughing. This is the world-renowned demonic patriarch, haha. Just kill me now, you are all scammers, scamming me. Lu Zhao stood with his hands behind his back, looked at Ye Tianxin, and calmly said, You've called me Shifu once, so I'll give you one more chance to return to Golden Court Mountain. A seat among the 9 disciples is still open for you. Lu Zhao's answer caused a stir among all the cultivators present, which meant he admitted he was the old devil patriarch. Ye Tianxin laughed and said, Shifu, I call you Shifu out of respect. But whether I can return to Golden Court Mountain or not, you have to ask them first. The cultivators around glared at Lu Zhao. Well, old devil, you were lucky to win the battle at Golden Court Mountain last time, but it won't be so easy this time. Secret elixirs are just regular elixirs after all. All secret elixirs that can increase cultivation in a short period of time will have side effects, so everyone don't worry. No wonder the old devil didn't care about consuming his original essence last time, old devil. Today is your day of death, surrender yourself. The cultivators were filled with indignation, and one by one they spoke out to criticize Lu Zhao. Lu Zhao acted as if he didn't see or hear anything. He only looked at the smiling Ye Tianxin and asked, How can you be sure that I will definitely show up here? Ye Tianxin clapped her hands with a smile, and immediately someone presented a portrait. It's hard to believe that the invincible old devil patriarch of the past now knows how to disguise himself and hide his whereabouts. Lu Zhao didn't answer. Ye Tianxin continued. Shifu, what if I told you I guessed? Would you believe me? Lu Zhao stroked his beard. Seemed like out of habit, his mentality also became experienced. He glanced at the people in front of him, and still didn't see Zhao Yu and the others. Lu Zhao couldn't help but shake his head. Using a peak performance card just to catch one evil disciple didn't seem like a good deal, but facing this situation, did he have a way out? It seemed not. Ye Tianxin heard Lu Zhao say with a calm voice, like a teacher calling a student's name, I taught you the Azure Sea Tide generating skill, and gave you the passion pill, hoping that you would have enough power to protect yourself in this dangerous cultivation world, not for you to betray your teacher and rebel against me. Ye Tianxin laughed heartily. Her laughter sent chills down everyone's spine. The old devil who rampaged for many years actually taught such a disciple. Truly a satisfying thing. Like teacher, like student. Old man, do you think you are still the same as before? Ye Tianxin made a gesture and continued. You are old, and you are no longer Ji Tiandao who could command the winds and rains. This place is your grave, designed by my own hand. The atmosphere around the forest suddenly vibrated. Those cultivators with deep cultivation seemed to feel that the surroundings were changing, and this place was not simple. Xiao Yanhe couldn't stand it anymore and scolded. How dare you scold my master? Be careful, you'll be struck by lightning. Unfortunately, her scolding wasn't fierce enough. Lu Zhao waved his hand, signaling Xiao Yanhe not to interfere. He said, Who revealed my whereabouts to you? 7th or 5th or that useless 8th? Ye Tianxin said. No need for them to take action. She paused for a moment and continued. I don't mind telling you the truth either. The abduction of the Xu family was designed by me. The purpose was to get little junior sister and you, old man, to bite the bait. Fan Zhang suddenly realized. He said in surprise. The one who issued this mission was you? So what if the old devil doesn't show up? Fan Zhang wondered why she was so sure that the old devil would show up here. Ye Tianxin smiled, but her tone was still cold. You ask too many questions, you just need to complete your work and receive your reward. Fan Zhang felt a killing intent. Lu Zhao's expression was still as calm as usual. He opened his mouth and said, well, my hands are already stained with the blood of countless living beings, so I don't mind adding another group. Whoosh! Everyone facing him took a step back, as if facing a formidable enemy. Old man, do you still want to waste your strength resisting? Yi Tianxin looked directly at Lu Zhao. Devil Essence Secret Medicine. Each use can cause the original energy to explode in a short period of time. The side effect is that the cultivation will be reduced by half within 10 days, and you can't use the Devil Essence Secret Medicine again. She mentioned the name of this secret medicine. Lu Zhao seemed to have some memory of it, he recalled. This is a secret medicine painstakingly refined by the Medicine King, but later, because its effect was too overbearing and cruel, it was boycotted by the righteous factions in the world, and finally gradually disappeared. But he really didn't expect them to think of this secret medicine. A cultivator said loudly. If you said someone else has Devil Essence Secret Medicine, I definitely wouldn't believe it, but if it's this old devil, I believe it. Several others chimed in, yes, yes, yes. Ye Tianxin smiled again. I have some very bad news. And I have to tell the old man. Her tone seemed to rejoice in other people's misfortune. All around here, a formation has been set up that weakens the original energy on a large scale, so even if you still have secret medicines and want to desperately use them, it will be in vain. Okay, I'll stop here. Shifu, this is the last time I'll call you Shifu. After you die, I will have someone take care of your funeral, and take care of Golden Court Mountain. Oh, by the way, the experts of the Righteous One sect should have arrived at Golden Court Mountain. Third senior brother is injured, and fourth senior brother must have surrendered. After speaking, Ye Tianxin gently stepped back. She didn't seem to want to take action herself, because she still had respect for Jin Tiandao from the bottom of her heart, so she was unwilling to be the first to make a move. And again, she didn't think that the old man only had one trump card, the Devil Essence Secret Medicine. It was better to let others rush forward and act as cannon fodder, which was also the reason why she didn't mobilize the people from the Yanyu Palace. In the formation, Xiao Yanhe explored the surroundings. She felt the energy fluctuating around, and felt extremely worried. Shifu, what should we do now? A group of cultivators in front were slowly approaching. Lu Ju's voice was still as confident as before. Don't be afraid. Yi Tianxin was suspicious in her heart. There was one thing that senior sister Zhao Yu said was right. This old man's behavior seemed to be no longer the same as before. No longer angry, no longer crazy, and no longer scolding others. Old Master Wang Fugyu ran out of the forest, panting and choked up, calling out, Fugi, why are you here? Xiao Yanhe asked, puzzled. Madam is worried about your safety. Wang Fugui saw that Old Master Shu was lying unconscious, and called out again, choking with sobs. Old Master, what's wrong with you? Seeing that Old Master Shu was still unconscious, he kowtowed to Lu Zhao. Old Mister, please save Old Master Shu, I beg you. Whoosh! Wang Fugi's figure suddenly shot towards Lu Zhao like an arrow. In his hand, he held a gleaming dagger. A powerhouse at the Divine Court realm, no less. Everything happened in the blink of an eye. Even the cultivators besieging Lu Zhao didn't expect it. Everyone stared wide-eyed at the scene. Xiao Yanjie was terrified and cried out, Master, too close! There was almost no way to dodge this attack. Even a nascent Soul Realm expert would be injured trying to tank this without any preparation. Gotcha. Wang Fugi's eyes lit up with anticipation. Bang! The dagger plunged into Lu Zhao's back. Huh. The dagger couldn't pierce him even a tiny bit. What the heck was going on? A million thoughts raced through Wang Fugi's mind. This was a Earth-grade treasure, coated with a potent poison. Added to that, the full force of my Divine Court Realm strike. Why didn't it feel like it penetrated him at all? As a top-notch assassin, I calculate every move meticulously. One strike, one kill. Like an elite archer who knows the arrow will hit its mark the moment it's released, without any need to reconfirm. He slowly raised his head. The dagger was blocked by some kind of invisible force. Lu Zhao's voice rang out at the same time. Why would this seat need to resort to poison to kill you lot? Boom! A wave of power like a bursting dantian suddenly erupted from Lu Zhao. The powerful energy instantly formed a vortex, blasting Wang Fugui away. Pieffed. Fresh blood sprayed out. Waves of energy continued to emanate from Lu Zhao. Crap. He was pretending to be a demonic old fart. Ah. The one who was fooled wasn't the old devil, but us. Ye Tianxin, you're so calculative. You really got us good. Rumble, rumble, rumble. All the vast ocean realm cultivators collapsed to the ground, unable to resist. Yi Tianxin's eyes widened, her heart shaken. Why is the formation ineffective if he's faking it? Why can the old geezer still use poison? Where is the problem? Lu Zhao stood with his hands clasped behind his back, taking a deep breath. If only I could feel this good all the time. This peak state felt so good. It was like my whole body had become young again. Like a person who had been sleeping soundly had awakened. Like a long-suppressed flood had finally burst forth. My aura, cultivation, and energy had all reached their peak. Ye Tianxin, you went to great lengths to plant a Divine Court Realm expert disguised as my manor's steward. How could I not be aware? Shock filled Ye Tianxin's eyes. She retreated uncontrollably. Ye Tianxin continued to step back, a sense of fear slowly consuming her. How many years had it been? She seemed to have lost the feeling of fear, but today, that feeling had returned. It made her completely forget all the plans she had meticulously laid out. Lu Zhao didn't even bother to look at anyone below the vast ocean realm. Those divine court realm experts struggling to resist were only a matter of time. Even the 10 great nascent soul realm experts had to run away when they saw him, so what could these divine court realm juniors do? From beginning to end, Lu Zhao's gaze was fixed on Ye Tianxin. He gently raised his hand. An irresistible force grabbed Wang Fugi and flew him towards Lu Zhao, as if he were telekinetically controlling an object. Wang Fugi's whole body was paralyzed. Lu Zhao's old hand gripped his neck tightly. Everyone knows the royal family's token. How could Murong Hai not know you? You must have deliberately obstructed things. Lu Zhao lifted Wang Fugi by the neck. His feet left the ground, his breathing gradually stopped, and his face turned red as a beet. This guy had indeed been contacted by Ye Tianxin to stay at the manor as an assassin. When he first met Lu Zhao and Zhao Yanhe, he wasn't sure if these two were the demonic old fart and founder of Golden Court Mountain, but when he took out the token, he confirmed everything and then, according to Ye Tianxin's plan, ensured everything went smoothly. He had also wanted to assassinate Lu Zhao at night, but he always felt that this old man wasn't the demonic old fart of Golden Court Mountain, and he was also wary of messing up Ye Tianxin's plan, so he didn't make a move. Wang Fugui croaked, You can't kill me. Every divine court realm expert has some kind of faction backing them, but does that even matter anymore? Or rather, is there any force under this heaven that the Golden Court Mountain's great demonic old fart would be afraid of? No, Crunch. Lu Zhao's expression was indifferent. He closed his 5 fingers, and the so-called divine court realm expert immediately tilted his head. His eyes rolled back, and his neck snapped. Ding. System notification. Killed a villainous divine court realm expert, gaining 200 merit points. The reward seems pretty generous. Seeing this scene, Ye Tianxin couldn't help but walk faster. A crimson flying chariot descended from the sky. Ye Tianxin calmed her trembling heart and waved her sleeve, saying, He won't last much longer. Don't be afraid, everyone. But she herself lightly leaped onto the flying chariot. Then the flying chariot turned and ran away. Lu Zhao swept his gaze around. There were about 15 divine court realm experts left, and over 100 vast ocean realm cultivators. Lu Zhao called out. Pan Zhong flinched violently. Pan Zhong, defect, I'll give you a chance. Pan Zhong was scared out of his wits, his whole body trembling. Senior, I was coerced by others. I absolutely didn't want to be your enemy. Please, Senior, spare my life. Pan Zhong knew that in front of a super expert like this, once he caught his eye, there was no chance of escape. Begging for forgiveness was perhaps the only glimmer of hope for survival, although he knew that the person in front of him was a demon who killed people without blinking an eye. Vast ocean realm cultivators, don't leave a single one alive. I will reward you with the Lu Yang skill, Lu Zhao said calmly. Live or die, the choice is yours. Lu Zhao slowly raised his hand. Baizine descended from the sky, bringing with it points of light that seemed to want to cleanse the world. A legendary grade mount. Pan Zhong was terrified. Rumor has it that this old demon, the founder of Golden Court Mountain, has rampaged for nearly 1,000 years. He has countless treasures, techniques, and weapons in his hands. Today, seeing it with my own eyes, it is indeed true, Yanhe. Take your father back to Qingyang Mountain and wait for your teacher to return. Disciple obeys. Xiao Yanhe was delivered by the old master to Bai Zhe. Bai Zhe let out a loud cry and stepped on the auspicious cloud, disappearing before everyone's eyes. Pan Zhong immediately made a decision. He knelt down on the ground, clasping his hands and saying, I am willing to serve the senior. Ding. Received a subordinate. Reward 100 merit points. Pan Zhong. Divine Court Realm. Loyalty 5%. Cultivation method. 3 yin styles. Very good. Lu Zhao tapped his toes on the ground. His whole body flew straight into the sky. His aura as strong as if he were moving mountains and reclaiming seas. The remaining Divine Court Realm experts all looked up in astonishment. Ye Tianxin ran away. Run quickly. Retreat. Ye Tianxin, you are disgusting. I am not reconciled. I am not reconciled. In just a few breaths, they saw her crimson flying chariot in the distant sky. The Divine Court Realm experts all used their Dharma bodies to try to resist the pressure brought by Lu Zhao. It's a pity that the highest Dharma body of the Divine Court Realm is only the 10 directions Xiangkun, unable to display the 100 tribulations moving illumination. How could they resist Lu Zhao's powerful outburst of primordial chi? 100 tribulations moving illumination Dharma body. A majestic Dharma body, 10 zang tall and 2 zang wide, appeared within a 10-mile radius. Birds and beasts felt the powerful oppressive force and fled in all directions. Lu Zhao used his sword, and streams of swordlight appeared powerfully. Pan Zhong was completely convinced by Lu Zhao's absolute strength, and how could he not seize the opportunity? Old demonic head. No, Senior's cultivation is so high he doesn't need to deceive me. Pan Zhong felt a surge of strong confidence. The world laughs at me for entering the demonic path. Then I'll show you how I enter the demonic path. With a maniacal smile, Pan Zhong's eyes became sharp. 3 yin styles. Unleash your primordial chi and kill them all for me. He was originally a Divine Court Realm expert. Dealing with those nascent Divinity Realm guys who had been knocked to the ground by Lu Zhao's ki was no different from a hawk catching chicks. In an instant, miserable cries rang out everywhere. The nascent Divinity Realm cultivators widened their eyes, their fear penetrating to the marrow of their bones. They couldn't understand why the Divine Court Realm expert who was previously stopping the old demonic head was now attacking them. Fresh blood splattered. Limbs flew everywhere, and the thick smell of blood stimulated their nerves. Panzong was killing the Divine Court Realm experts in the sky, who were constantly fleeing, and they no longer had the strength to care about their companions below. All that remained in their minds was the single thought of survival. Let's run! Tai sword formation, heavenly ring with flaws. That's Ji Laomo's move. A cultivator recognized Lu Zhao's technique. Scatter, scatter quickly. Shouts rang out all around. That's the move that cuts straight down on everyone. Don't surround him in one place. How similar this scene was to the encirclement of Golden Court Mountain before, Lu Zhao wielded his sword. Each stream of sword light suddenly turned black, and rolling black clouds exuded an oppressive aura. Sword demons faded enemy. Red liquid splattered, and the space was submerged in crimson. This was a move from the returning Origins sword art, the ultimate move that made the demonic head, Yu Shangrong, of Golden Court Mountain famous throughout the world. Unfortunately, by the time they understood, it was too late. The speed was too fast, and the black sword move shot towards them like a storm of arrows. Even a Yuan Shen realm master would have difficulty surviving under this ultimate move. There were no screams, no strength to resist, and no way to retreat. The black storm of swords pierced through their chests like tens of thousands of arrows. Lu Zhao perfectly demonstrated the saying. Before absolute strength, any conspiracy becomes pathetically powerless. Ding. Killed 15 Divine Court Realm experts, obtained 3,000 merit points. Lu Zhao's expression was calm. He didn't bother to look down, his eyes gazing forward. He even retracted the huge Dharma body and used the great divine power of thousand-mile tracking. Murong Hai jumped in fright again. Another ultimate move. Panzong beside him also looked up and grunted and Lu Zhao chased after Ye Tiangxin's sedan chair. Ye Tiangxin was no ordinary cultivator. She was the palace master of Yanyu Palace, the leader of a powerful faction. To have achieved her current status, how could she possibly not have already planned an escape route for herself? Why is this old guy even stronger than he was in his peak days? 100 thoughts tangled in her mind, impossible to unravel. Ye Tiangxin's eyebrows furrowed. She mobilized all of her primordial chi to drive the flying chariot away. When the flying chariot was flying at full speed, it was difficult for anyone to catch up, unless they used the great divine power technique. A strong wind swept past her ears, dispersing the protective gang queen, so that she could control the flying chariot to fly at full speed, and worry filled her heart. She turned her head to look behind her. There wasn't a single figure in the vast blue sky. It seemed that the old guy had just used the 100 Tribulations moving illumination Dharma body. The corners of Ye Tiangxin's mouth curved into a smile. I still have plenty of time. The crimson flying chariot headed towards the ground below. Fell big. Just as she was about to dive down, she heard a sound of air being torn. This is the resonant sound when extremely strong energy appears. Who is it? Ye Tiangxin turned around. The flying chariot disappeared, and a protective gang ki immediately wrapped around her entire body like seawater. Lu Zhu formed a hand seal. Evil disciple, master, master. Ye Tiangxin's eyes widened in disbelief. Lu Zhu's 100 Tribulations moving illumination Dharma body appeared before Ye Tiangxin's eyes, 10 zang tall and 2 zang wide. The golden lotus beneath had bloomed 8 leaves. No, 9 leaves. 9-leaf golden lotus. Demonic Buddha handprint. An overwhelming despair surged in Ye Tiangxin's heart, under the pressure of the Dharma body. Lu Zhao formed a handprint, creating a cage of light that enveloped Ye Tiangxin. Just how much strength has this old guy been hiding? He's stronger than any expert I've ever met. When he doesn't attack, but when he does, they're all the strongest ultimate moves. Passionate ring. Ye Tiangxin refused to concede and used a heaven-grade weapon. A crescent-shaped weapon appeared, sparkling like the stars. One of the biggest supports for Ye Tiangxin to be able to sit in her current position was this heaven-grade weapon she had seized, the passionate ring. Lu Zhao said calmly, if I can reward you with a weapon, then I can also take it back. The demonic Buddha handprint suddenly changed direction, grabbing the target not Ye Tiangxin as if it had been calculated in advance. Taike! Ye Tiangxin screamed, her heart and lungs tearing apart. No way. The amorous ring, my butt. It's actually a 360-degree ring of razor-sharp blades. This thing, the amorous ring, it's got 2 rings, and anything that touches it is gonna get sliced up. Once a cultivator pumps some prime Q into it, the power is just insane. The amorous ring doesn't stand for love, but resentment. No matter what, she can't lose it. Ye Tiangxin watched helplessly as the amorous ring that had been with her for 10 whole years was bound by Lu Zhu's powerful demonic palm seal, losing its light. Boom! She wants to stop him from taking back the weapon. Once she loses the amorous ring, even if she escapes now, her strength will drop like a rock. The power of the Azure Sea title song surged out like a tsunami, heading straight for Lu Zhao. Too bad for her, the guy she's facing was once her master, the one who knows the Azure Sea title song better than she does. Break. Lu Zhao's whole body exploded with even stronger tidal power, pushing back against Ye Tiangxin. Compared to his power, Ye Tiangxin's Azure Sea title song is just a little stream, totally insignificant. Faced with Lu Zhao using his ultimate divine power, despair welled up in Ye Tiangxin's heart. This old geezer isn't giving her even a sliver of hope. In a blink, she's swallowed by the huge wave. Boom! The massive force slammed into Ye Tiangxin's chest. She cried out in pain, her blood and ki reversing. Piaft! Falling straight down, Lu Zhu glared at Ye Tiangxin, while also observing the 6 directions and listening to all around. He wants to make sure whether other evildoers are nearby, The avatar gives him strong perception ability, but nobody else. This is so strange. According to his previous guess, Ye Tianxin alone probably wouldn't have the guts to pull this stunt. 1,000-mile tracking. Lu Zhao's figure flashed, and, in the blink of an eye, he was on the ground. Ye Tianxin's whole body ached like crazy, her brain blank, the pain indescribable. The moment she was slammed to the ground by Azure Sea title song, she knew she'd lost. Okay, she lost, but why did the old geezer use the 1,000-mile tracking, showing off with her? Lu Zhao slowly raised his hand, prime Q energy surging, wrapping around Ye Tianxin tightly, binding her. Ye Tianxin was gradually pulled in front of Lu Zhao. The unique energy lifted her body up, captured a rogue, 6th disciple Ye Tianxin, reward 1,000 merit points. Their eyes met. The distance between them was only 2 meters. Ye Tianxin's eyes were filled with fear and shock. Even when she was still studying at Golden Court Mountain, she had never felt such fear. The distance was so close, her heart was beating wildly, and her breathing was getting more and more rapid. Lu Zhao's expression remained calm as usual. The feeling brought by the peak state made his heart as still as water. With strength comes power, and with power comes momentum. Lu Zhao opened his mouth indifferently. Ye Tianxin. Those 3 words were like a direct hit to her heart. Betraying your master and destroying your ancestors, one of the 5 sins. Old geezer, what are you going to do? I will take back everything I bestowed upon you before. Heh! Ye Tianxin's whole body trembled, her eyes widened, and her face, which had been flushed and beautiful, turned pale. She wanted to beg for forgiveness, but she found that the old devil in front of her had raised his hand, and it seemed that there was no room for negotiation. The old hand raised up, and a majestic prime Q force flicked it gently. The powerful prime Qi immediately shot out, poofed, flying straight, extremely accurately, towards Ye Tianxin's Dantian Qi Si. Ye Tianxin was stunned, and at this moment, she heard the shattering sound of the Dantian Qi Si that she had worked so hard to cultivate for so many years. The sound of glass breaking shattered into small pieces, like a balloon exploding, and all the prime Q inside immediately dissipated. The feeling this gave her was that she had now become an ordinary person, and her cultivation had been completely lost. For a cultivator, there is nothing more cruel than having one's cultivation destroyed. Ye Tianxin was not afraid to enter Golden Court Mountain in order to become stronger. After so many twists and turns, and paying so much effort, she had achieved her current status and achievements, enjoying the prostration and respect of others. And now, all of this had been destroyed, along with her Dantian Qi Si, turned into smoke. She was so completely stunned that she forgot the pain, forgot to think. After a short moment of paralysis, the intense pain erupted in her body, making her want to die. In just a moment, her head was covered in sweat. Ye Tianxin sadly laughed, struggling to raise her head. The fear in her heart had completely disappeared at this moment. She was half crying, half laughing. Old geezer, just kill me. Haha. Lu Zhao noticed that Ye Tianxin's hatred value had increased to 60%, and he was suspicious in his heart. Even though Jitian Dao's character was violent, did all kinds of bad things, and beat and scolded his disciples at every turn, he had never done anything that caused people to develop such a huge hatred. Why did Ye Tianxin hate Jitian Dao so much? However, these things are no longer meaningful. Lu Zhao did everything to protect himself. Confused, stupid, and unchangeable, Lu Zhao raised his hand and formed a gang wind, slapping it hard on her face. 5 bright red finger marks appeared on her pale face. Want to kill or behead? Want to cut the meat or scrape the bones? Whatever you want to do to me is fine. Ye Tianxin gave another sad smile, looking towards the ground. Poor 4th senior brother, poor 3rd senior brother. They could have avoided this disaster, so what now? Ye Tianxin said with a sad smile. It's all because of you. It's you who killed them. From now on, there will be no more Golden Court Mountain in the world. She wanted to provoke Lu Xiao with these words. Unfortunately, Lu Zhu was still the same as before, expressionless. Lu Zhu looked at the board. The remaining time of the peak state card is only 5 minutes. Even if he used 1,000-mile tracking now, it would be too late. However, the system did not issue a notice that something had happened to the 3rd and 4th disciples. It was clear that they were not in danger of losing their lives at the moment. 4th senior brother is not stupid, so why would he risk his life? Lu Zhao opened his mouth and said, Stupid. Ye Tianxin was slightly startled. You're scolding me? The old devil never scolded others this way before. Looking at Lu Zhu's confident appearance, Ye Tianxin swallowed a mouthful of saliva secretly. She once again remembered what her senior sister had said. Master is no longer the same as before. But she never expected that he would become even more unfathomable than before. Lu Zhao spoke. As long as I am alive for 1 day, no one will dare to step on the head of Golden Court Mountain. Lu Zhao wanted to grab Ye Tianxin's shoulder with one hand. Ye Tianxin exclaimed in horror, closing her eyes in fear. No death. When she opened her eyes again, the two were flying in the air. Beautiful rivers and mountains, continuous mountain ranges slid behind them. A transparent prime Qa formed a barrier to surround the two, blocking the violent wind outside. Swoosh, the divine power, 1,000-mile tracking. How could this be? Why can the old geezer cast divine powers non-stop? Doesn't he need to mobilize prime Q? How can he do that? This is not the effect of using demonic essence secret medicine, and it is definitely not any other kind of secret medicine in the world. Even though her cultivation has been lost now, the accumulated experience tells her that there is no trace of prime Q concentrated on Lu Zhu's body, which is completely different from the state of the body when using secret medicine, which shows that all prime Q comes from himself. Although the lifespan of cultivators is always much longer than that of ordinary people, for several decades, or within 100 years before death, The cultivation of cultivators tends to decline, starting from the body refinement realm. The body is the key point for cultivators to break through to the profound realm, the condensation realm, the Brahman sea realm, and the 8 meridians. None of these realms is unrelated to the body. Once the body becomes old and weak, the meridians, Dantian, and Qi-Si, will lack vitality, lose the ability to increase potential, and it will be difficult for cultivation to take another step forward. At this time, things like combat experience, strategy, and external forces are the main things to maintain strength. But the problem is, why is this old man Ji Tiandao stronger than before? Ye Tianxin couldn't figure out the mystery no matter how hard she thought. Why? She raised her head, mustered her courage, and looked with unwavering eyes at Lu Zhu's calm and unhurried expression. I admit I miscalculated, but if you capture me, you won't have a good time either. Crossed mountains and rivers, flown through forests. Are you done talking? Lu Zhu decisively dispelled part of the barrier protecting him from the gale. The whirlwind protection opened. Whoosh! The fierce wind blew against Ye Tianxin's face, making it impossible for her to open her eyes, a burning pain like being cut by knives, full of discomfort. At the same time, in some corner of the forest, 8th junior brother Zhu Honggong plopped down on the ground, constantly wiping the sweat streaming down his face. Standing in front of him was a man in brocade robes. 7th senior brother, it's a good thing you arrived in time, or I would have become cannon fodder. Old 8 was still frightened in his heart. This jade-like, refined man was Jin Tiandao's 7th disciple, Si Wuyai. Si Wuyai shook his head and said, Old 8, you usually listen to my advice. Why did you suddenly act recklessly with senior sister this time? Seeing Old 8 sighed. I've been having nightmares lately, dreaming that master is coming to beat me. I'm so scared. Look at you, you have no ambition. Old 8 slapped his thigh. How about you take my fierce tiger gang and merge it with your crouching dragon darknet? Si Wuyai didn't even bother looking at him, just lightly waved his feather fan. Forget it. Just take care of your little mountain. Old 8 choked back tears, complaining. Don't! You saw Master's avatar. 6th senior sister will definitely betray me again, and then I'll be done for. Does Ye Tianxin think she can force Master to use his trump card by relying on those divine court realm experts? What a daydream. She didn't even think about it. If Master really didn't have any strength left, would it be her turn to make a move? The world is so big, everyone is staring at Golden Court Mountain. It's not just her. Old 8 swallowed a mouthful of saliva and asked, curiously. 7th senior brother, how many moves did Master use to kill those 15 divine court realm experts instantly? Did you see it clearly? I don't know. Even you don't know. Nonsense. You're the evil king, didn't you see it either? Seriously. The 9-leaf golden lotus avatar was standing there. Who dared to get close? Sigh. My title of evil king is only good for scaring other people. How dare I show off in front of senior brother? Si Wuyai helplessly shook his head, regretting advising him to leave Golden Court Mountain. This idiot was just a drag. Seeing that time was running out, he said, From now on you must sever all ties with the Moon Reflection Sect. Why? Ye Tianxin led the righteous cultivators to besiege Master and suffered a crushing defeat, but the Moon Reflection Sect didn't lose a single soldier. What do you think the forces behind those cultivators will think? Old 8 nodded, saying, I understand. Speaking of this, Si Wuyai sighed lightly. Moreover, I took advantage of Master pursuing senior sister, and checked the formation there. I found that the formation runes were wrong. If I'm not mistaken, senior sister Zhao Yu must have retreated at the last moment. Senior sister Zhao Yu was also there? Si Wuyai nodded. I received intelligence when senior sister Zhao Yu left Golden Court Mountain. She went to the Moon Reflection Sect. With 6th senior sister's personality, she would naturally drag 5th senior sister to her side. And Zhao Yu was the best choice to activate that formation. Old 8 was stunned when he heard this. That divine court realm cultivator, Pan Zong, is a traitor from the pure illumination Dao. He only knows the 3 yin stance and has an extremely cold body. 6th senior sister is controlling him as cannon fodder to lure little junior sister. I'm afraid the pure illumination Dao won't be willing to let it go. Old 8 asked, What about Wang Fu Gui? Speaking of this, Si Wuyai laughed heartily. That's 6th senior sister's brilliance. Wang Fu Gui, real name Shen Yuan, was originally a top expert under concubine Yu Fei. This Yu Fei is the younger sister of the Western Territory royal concubine that the great Yan Emperor married years ago. The Western Territory royal concubine died at the hands of 2nd senior brother, but the outside world blames it on Master. If this is a small matter, Master's actions will displease the great Yan Emperor. If it's a big matter, it could lead to a war between the 2 countries, and the war will cause suffering to the people. Besides those things, the 15 divine court realm cultivators all came from the southern 3 sects of Great Yan. Years ago, all the earth grade and lower weapons of these 3 sects were destroyed by Master's heaven grade weapon. They still haven't gotten revenge for this, the old grudges haven't been resolved, and new ones have been added. Let's see what the 3 sects will do. 6th senior sister can come up with such a plan. Zhu Honggong couldn't believe it. Even he was part of her plan. Si Wuyai helplessly shook his head and smiled. Unfortunately, no matter how good the schemes are, they are meaningless in the face of absolute strength. I'm afraid Ye Tianxin didn't expect that Master could use teleportation talismans continuously. It's rumored that senior sister's Crimson Filing In can escape the full pursuit of a nascent soul realm expert. I don't know if it's true or not. That scene of using great divine power continuously broke his perception. What made him even more suspicious was Master's fighting style, focusing on speed, almost not giving Ye Tianxin's plan a chance to be implemented, and now he's taken action. What? Great Yan Emperor, what Yu Fei? What? Pure Illumination Dao and the three sects. He just caught the person first, and then dealt with it. Old 8 suddenly said, "No way, I don't want to be the chieftain anymore. Whoever likes it can do it. I'm going back to my hometown. I want to go home. I'm not playing with you senior brothers and senior sisters anymore. Can't I even run away?" Si Wu Yai was speechless after hearing old Zhu Honggong's words. Lu Zhao held onto Ye Tianxin and saw the peak of Green Ripple Mountain and the shimmering light carrying the aura of a Bai Zi. He immediately descended downwards. When Lu Zhao reached Green Ripple Mountain, Xiao Yan'er had already ridden the Bai Zi towards him. Xiao Yan'er exclaimed, "Master!" Seeing Ye Tianxin next to Master, she exclaimed in surprise, "Senior sister? Bah! Bah! You're not my senior sister anymore, traitor." Ye Tianxin laboriously opened her eyes. Her shattered Dantian Chi Si left her constantly tired, her whole body limp like soaked rice paper, as if she had lost her soul. Lu Zhao pushed Ye Tianxin toward Yan'er. "Yan'er, watch over her." Disciple obeys. The timing was just right. The effect of the peak state card disappeared. Lu Zhao calmed his mood and quickly adjusted to his current state. Perhaps seeing a clue, Ye Tianxin chuckled mockingly. "I didn't expect that even a notorious old devil like you would have such an embarrassing moment." Xiao Yan'er retorted, "What do you know, Master is old, can't he rest for a bit?" Suddenly realizing that she had said something wrong, Xiao Yan'er immediately said softly, "Master, I didn't mean that. Let me get some clothes for you to change into." Lu Zhao waved his hand. "It's fine, it's cooler wearing this." Ye Tianxin smiled and said, "If I were you, I would have immediately run back to Golden Court Mountain. Didn't you say that as long as you're alive, no one would dare to oppress Golden Court Mountain? Haha, too bad, today Golden Court Mountain will have to change owners." Xiao Yan'er said angrily, "You're talking nonsense. Also, you killed Wang Fugi, who was a top expert under the current concubine Yu Fei, and those 15 Divine Court Realm experts were all disciples of the 3 sects in the south of Great Yan. Master, do you regret taking action against me yet? Don't forget that my Moon Reflection sect still has thousands of sisters. If I don't go back, they will join forces with the royal family and the 3 sects to deal with Golden Court Mountain." Ye Tianxin felt much better. At least her inner self was happier. Her voice became very light, but her eyes were extremely firm. "If you regret it, let me go. At least I'm still the owner of the Moon Reflection sect." Xiao Yan'er jumped down from the Bai Zi and came in front of Ye Tianxin. Based on her intuition, she felt a little strange, so she observed a little and said in surprise, "Where's your cultivation?" Ye Tianxin wailed miserably, "I'm crippled, crippled, and you still dare to act tough with me." "Junior sister, this is the result of respecting your master. Listen to senior sister. If he continues like this, he'll drag you all into the abyss sooner or later. He's old. How much longer can he protect you?" Ye Tianxin kept stirring the pot. Xiao Yan'er made a face. "Leg, I don't believe you, you traitor. Your cultivation should be abolished." Ye Tianxin frowned. "How come junior sister is so obedient to that old geezer all of a sudden? What did she eat?" "Junior sister, look at how he is now. Isn't he just like a normal old man? Trust me, try hitting him with a palm." Although Ye Tianxin had lost her cultivation, she could still feel that Lu Zhao's current state was completely different from before. In other words, perhaps some kind of secret medicine she didn't know about had worn off. Xiao Yan'er jumped, angrily huffing, "Pui, pui, pui, traitor!" At this time, Lu Zhao lifted the ragged cloth on his face, thinking, the quality of these clothes is really mediocre. She wouldn't dare attack her master, even for a spar. Lu Zhao looked up at the sky. "The time has come," Xiao Yan'er smiled sweetly. "Master, I've used Bai Zhang to bring my father back. Let's leave from our place." That's good too. Carrying one more person always felt like a burden. But what made Lu Zhao happy was that Xiao Yan'er gave up the opportunity to reunite with her parents, willing to rush back to support him. She's probably the most conscientious one out of the 9 disciples. Lu Zhao ignored Ye Tianxin and waved his hand. "Let's go!" Bai Zhen roared loudly. The aura of a legendary mount like the king of the jungle. All the beasts had to prostrate themselves and give way. Bai Zhen stomped its 4 hooves, carrying Lu Zhu on its back. Ye Tianxin only now realized that this mount was a legendary mount. Since when did his mount become Bai Zi? Before she could figure it out, Lu Zhao had already climbed onto Bai Zi's back. Then Xiao Yan'er grabbed her and jumped onto Bai Zi's back as well. Bai Zi lightly stepped, its whole body flying into the sky. At Jinting Mountain, the barrier hadn't been completely repaired, and cultivators could still freely enter and exit. In Yangting, on the mountainside and at the foot of the mountain, on the steps up to the Matian Pavilion, it was now full of cultivators. Not here, not in the east, nothing found in the west. It's strange. Where did the devils of Jinting Mountain run off to? Keep searching. The elder said we must find Ji Tiandao and Ming Shiyin in the forests and in the sky. Cultivators with swords in hand were searching every inch of Jinting Mountain. Apart from the people of Jingyi Dao, there were quite a few cultivators from Tianjian sect assisting. It was a complete mess everywhere. Inside the Ma Tian Pavilion, Elder Feng Jinshan of Zhengyi Dao was sitting imposingly on the main seat, his eyes bright as torches, staring at Duan Musheng, who was bound by chains. 3 Shenting realm cultivators were staring intently at Duan Musheng. This was the 3rd disciple under the dreaded old devil of Jinting Mountain. If it weren't for the fact that he was already injured, it would have been very difficult to catch him, Feng Jinshan said in a deep voice. "Duan Musheng, as long as you tell me the current whereabouts of the old devil, I will spare your life," Duan Musheng said disdainfully. Feng Jinshan, It's a waste that you call yourselves a famous and upright sect, yet you take advantage of people's difficulties to strike. If you have the guts, release me, and you and I will fight 300 rounds. Fang Jinshan snorted coldly. You're injured and you still dare to talk so wildly? Do you think you have the qualifications? Don't even mention you. Even the old devil is now running around like a rat, isn't it? Duan Musheng laughed loudly. Suddenly remembering something, he said. Even your brother Feng Tutuo has to show me respect when he sees me. Boom. Duan Musheng raised his hands to resist this attack with the chains, qi and blood churned, the pain unbearable. Looking at Duan Musheng's embarrassed appearance, Feng Jinshan laughed and said, What are you, a dog with a funeral home? Quickly tell me where the old devil and Ming Xinyan are hiding, or this day next year will be your death anniversary. Clang. The cultivator standing beside him drew his broadsword. Duan Musheng was now injured, and tied up unable to move, but the pride that was deeply rooted in his bones, how could he be subdued by a flesh wound? Duan Musheng laughed loudly. Try moving, arrogant. Feng Jinshan crushed the chair. Just as he was about to make a move, the subordinate beside him cupped his hands and said, Elder, you can't. This devil can't be killed. Our goal is the Mao Tian Pavilion, and the old devil, the sect leader, said he wants to capture them alive. Elder Feng, please reconsider. A gentleman takes revenge. 10 years is not too late. Feng Jinshan really wanted to take this opportunity to kill Duan Musheng, to avenge his brother. Feng Jinshan glared, waved his hand, and said, Let me see how long you can be smug. The sect leader won't let me kill you. Very well. You probably haven't tasted the feeling of being imprisoned in the 9 netherworlds. The feeling of wanting to die but not being able to. Wanting to live but not being able to. Right? Whoosh. Outside the Mao Tian Pavilion, a cultivator flew over on a sword. Elder Zhu. The cultivators standing inside all cupped their fists in greeting. Feng Jinshan only glanced at him, casually asking, Zhu Jifeng, you've returned at the right time. Have you found out where Ming Xinyan is hiding? Zhu Jinfeng bowed and said, Second Elder, I've ordered my subordinates to search the entire Jinting Mountain, but there haven't been any discoveries. No discoveries. You and I both saw Ming Xinyan heavily injured. I don't believe that he can run far with his injuries. Even if we have to dig 3 feet deep, we have to find him. I also hope to find them quickly. Almost forgot. This old devil killed sect leader Luo Changfeng of the Tianjian sect. That person was your benefactor. Zhu Jifeng smiled insincerely, nodding. With second elder here, it's difficult for them to escape even if they grow wings. Feng Jinshan patted Zhu Jifeng's shoulder. Although you come from the Tianjian sect, you're very obedient. You're more sensible than those others. Second elder is too kind. Feng Jinshan pointed at Duan Musheng and said, Very good. I now order you to personally use severe torture to interrogate Duan Musheng. Zhu Jifeng hesitated. Seeing his hesitation, Feng Jinshan laughed. No wonder the Tianjian sect doesn't want to take in a dog with a funeral home like you. Seriously, what does the sect leader see in you that he promised you an elder position? Get lost. He pushed Zhu Jifeng aside and kicked Duan Musheng. Duan Musheng used both arms to block. Boom. He was pushed back several steps again. Feng Jinshan was confused. He can still resist. He slowly raised his hand, mobilizing his primordial qi. As a peak divine tribulation realm expert, he and his brother Feng Tutuo possessed immense power. Just then, a beam of auspicious light suddenly appeared from the north of Golden Court Mountain, riding the clouds. The cultivators searching outside, and those flying in the air all looked up. What is that? A legendary mount. A master is coming. Quickly inform the elders. It must be a righteous cultivator coming to help us. The elders of the righteous unification path stopped their search and looked up at the sky. A low, echoing voice came from the Baizi Mount, resonating throughout Golden Court Mountain. Lu Zhao, holding a megaphone, shouted, Who gave you the guts to trespass on my Golden Court Mountain? The deep voice carried intense pressure, startling everyone. They recognized the voice as an old man's, but the primordial qi within was unlike that of an ordinary expert. The sound waves spread across Golden Court Mountain, and cultivators all over the mountain looked up in shock. Bai Zhen was stepping through the clouds, bringing with it a legendary mount and an aura of good fortune. Who else could it be? Duan Musheng, trapped in the Demon Heaven Pavilion, immediately recognized his master's voice. He shouted loudly. Disciple welcomes master's return. His words were like thundering in their ears, frightening the righteous cultivators, who trembled and scattered in panic. The mountain was filled with cultivators. Duan Musheng stood tall, firmly walked out of the Demon Heaven Pavilion, looked at the Bai Zi in the distance, and his spirit was extremely excited, and he unexpectedly gave birth to a feeling of pride and full of confidence. Crap. It's the old devil. Don't panic. We have internal intelligence that the old devil is exhausted and is using demonic origin elixirs to support himself. All 3 Divine Tribulation Realm experts and above. Gather! Whoosh whoosh! More than 10 Divine Tribulation Realm cultivators quickly gathered at the Demon Heaven Pavilion. Feng Jinshan and Zhu Jifeng also arrived, their faces filled with disbelief, staring intently at the auspicious aura above the Demon Heaven Pavilion. Lu Zhao stood on Bai Zhen's back, his eyes sweeping across Golden Court Mountain. Just as Ye Tiangxin had said, Golden Court Mountain had been invaded by a bunch of ignorant cultivators. Ye Tiangxin wanted to laugh, but she couldn't. During her journey, she was constantly tortured by the destruction of her Danshin Qi Si, and she was unable to speak. The reason she persevered to this point was to see how the old devil would deal with this situation. Lu Zhu was indeed thinking of a solution. There were 2 options. One was to use his last peak state card, but that was his biggest trump card. Using it up would mean losing his means of protecting his life. The second option was to control Bai Zi and escape Golden Court Mountain. After all, Duan Musheng and Ming Shiyin were evil disciples, and their deaths wouldn't be a loss. Use the peak state card, or flee. He felt like he lost out when he used a peak state card and only caught Ye Tiangxin. The only consolation was that he gained a lot of merit points after the battle. As if sensing Lu Zhao's contemplation, Ye Tiangxin struggled to speak. Release me, you don't have any trump cards left. Xiao Yanhe held Ye Tiangxin tightly, snorting softly. You wish. The cultivators of the righteous unification path tensed up, like they were facing a great enemy. After gathering, the cultivators below the Brahma Sea realm were wise and hid in the rear. Lu Zhao glanced at the crowd. Under the effect of the Eye of Truth, the hostility of all the cultivators was clearly visible. Zhu Jifeng's loyalty was 15%, an increase of 5% compared to when he left the Heavenly Sword sect. Lu Zhao didn't understand. Feng Jinshan looked up and said coldly, I wondered who it was. Turns out, it's the old devil of Golden Court Mountain. Duan Musheng has been captured alive, and Ming Shiyin has been severely injured by us. Golden Court Mountain now belongs to the righteous unification path. Quickly come down and accept your death. Come down, come down, come down! After all, they were facing a legendary mount, and only primordial spirit realm experts could catch up to such a mount. Feng Jinshan's provocation and the cries of his subordinates were very moving. As long as the old devil came down, they would have a chance to capture him. This is really a problem, and he doesn't want to use a peak state card. Lu Zhao shook his head and said in a deep voice, Alright then, right at this moment, boom! Zhu Jifeng shot out like lightning, a sword beam stabbing straight at Feng Jinshan. Someone next to him exclaimed, Zhu Jifeng, what are you doing? Feng Jinshan was protected by a fatal damage shield. He stared at Zhu Jifeng. Zhu Jifeng, how do you explain this? Zhu Jifeng also didn't expect that he would fail with such a close assassination. Lu Juju was also surprised, and he looked at the scene unfolding below with interest. I didn't expect you to be able to block this attack of mine, Zhu Jifeng said. Feng Jinshan laughed heartily. Could it be that no one told you that cultivators with heavenly grade weapons are worlds apart from ordinary cultivators? Heavenly grade weapon? No. Zhu Jifeng was extremely confident in the sword he had been planning for so long. Even experts who had entered the primordial spirit realm might not be able to block it at such a close distance. He never expected that the other party would have a heavenly grade weapon. What kind of weapon is it? Feng Jinshan sneered. Otherwise, what do you think the sect leader relied on to send a divine tribulation realm like me to Golden Court Mountain? Xiao Yanhe angrily cupped her fists and said, Master, this is really infuriating. A bunch of divine tribulation realms dare to be so arrogant here. Lu Zhao shook his head and looked at Feng Jinshan. Dragonheart Pool Shield? Calling it a heavenly grade treasure is a bit of a stretch. Feng Jinshan couldn't help but be shocked. You know the Dragonheart Pool Shield? Lu Zhao's expression remained the same. He didn't need to compete with a junior like that. It would lower his status to be on par with that person. Feng Jinshan said, What's so strange about that? Xiao Yan'er whispered. When my master roamed the world, you were still playing in your diapers. This was also the truth. When Ji Tiandao was famous all over the world, everyone here was not yet born. In front of the old devil, everyone present was an inexperienced child. This seat will give you a chance to survive. Put down your weapons, repair Golden Court Mountain, and do labor on the mountain for 3 years. He spoke not fast or slow, very calm and composed. Those who spoke intended to, those who listened didn't care. Feng Jinshan laughed wildly. Even the 10 divine tribulation realms in front of him laughed, as if they had just heard the funniest thing in the world. The old devil repented and reformed, not wanting to kill people but giving them a way to live, repair Golden Court Mountain, and do labor for 3 years. Isn't this funny? Too funny. This seat has given you a chance, but you didn't cherish it. Then you will all stay here. Go. At this moment, Ye Tiangxin tried to open her heavy eyelids. She saw an astonishing scene. She saw the old devil's whole body's aura released again. Her head tilted to one side. She really wanted to look up to see clearly. This is the 100 Tribulations Insightful Ming 9-petaled Golden Lotus Avatar. Heaven and earth change color. In the sky, the Demon Heaven Pavilion has been occupied by this magnificent 100 Tribulations Insightful Ming Avatar. But unfortunately, the moment Ye Tiangxin saw the 9-leaf Golden Lotus appear around the old demon, she was exhausted and fainted. The cultivators below were speechless, their legs trembling as they stared at the avatar. Is this pulling out the ultimate move right from the start? Shouldn't you throw a few punches first before unleashing the big guns? Duan Musheng looked up in admiration. Master is peerlessly mighty. Loyalty increased by 5%. Cold sweat streamed down Zhu Jifeng's face as he hurriedly dropped his sword and knelt on the ground. Senior, your divine might is unmatched. Loyalty increased by 5%. Lu Zhihao didn't choose to run, but crushed the last peak state card. His dried up sea of qi suddenly surged with energy. In that moment, Lu Zhu knew he had once again reached his peak. Lu Zhu didn't save the peak state card the moment he transmigrated as Ji Tiandao. He knew he had to walk this path, continue to move forward. In this unpredictable and dangerous cultivation world where it's a dog-eat-dog world, with no safe factories, only Golden Court Mountain as his sole base of operations, he couldn't let it fall into others' hands. Apart from that, Lu Zhao had another intention. He wanted to use this opportunity to warn the world, to warn those who were always eyeing Golden Court Mountain, that he wasn't relying on secret elixirs. But it was his true strength. Only true strength that belongs to oneself can burst forth without interruption. And there's no secret elixirs or external force in the world that can achieve this. The disciples of the Zhangyi Dao and the Tianjian sect were stunned, terrified by the 100 Tribulation Insight 9-leaf avatar, as if they had forgotten to move. The manifestation of the Fengxi avatar had another layer of meaning, which was to suppress the enemy. The greater the difference in strength between the two sides, the more obvious the effect of the suppression. All cultivators below the divine tribunal realm were lying on the ground trembling. Even the strongest Fang Jinshan couldn't help but swallow a mouthful of saliva and take a step back. He was afraid, he was flustered, he wanted to run. The dragon heart shield was the only method to help him escape. He had to find an opportunity. Lu Jiao stood high above, looking down at the crowd below, his eyes landing on Duan Musheng. Duan Musheng bowed. The final layer of the Heavenly Unity Manual can be used for both spears and swords. I'll demonstrate it once. Watch carefully. Duan Musheng was extremely happy. Master is going to personally demonstrate the final layer of the Heavenly Unity Manual. For him, Duan Musheng joined the sect early, but his talent was slightly inferior to the other disciples. Although his master had taught him the entire Heavenly Unity Manual, he had never grasped the key points, and had always been groping in the dark, making slow progress. Now that he heard his master was going to teach him directly, how could he not be happy? Lu Jiao used the sword. A wave of primordial energy shot out, condensing into a sword essence. Using his finger as a sword, condensing Qi into a sword. The Heavenly Scroll defect shot out a terrifying burst of energy from his index and middle fingers, dazzling the eyes. Lu Jiao's sword attack shot straight down below, targeting Feng Jinshan. Feng Jinshan's eyes widened, and he shouted, "No!" His whole body burst forth with fierce Gang Qi, and in an instant, the heavenly grade treasure was activated, emitting a streak of golden light. Did you see that? It's a heavenly grade treasure, the Dragon Heart Shield. Didn't see it, just guessing. I'm still not dead. Using the palm as a base, condensing Q into essence, thousandfold ripple. This is the effect of casting the Heavenly Unity Manual in the form of a noon spear, a wide-range attack, Dilang, Qian Zhong. Just like its name, from one wisp of Gang Kui came 1,000. Just like spears being struck in an instant, like 1,000 spear shadows, it was the most important final move of the Heavenly Unity Manual. Do you know it? Don't know it? Just guessing. Seeing this scene, the faces of the Divine Tribunal Realm cultivators all changed drastically. This is bad. Run. They made their decision very quickly, ignoring the ridiculous formation they had just formed. They all turned and ran away. Even the nascent Soul Realm cultivators wouldn't dare take this move. It's too scary. This move didn't hit the fleeing cultivators, but continued to head towards Fang Jinshan's position. Boom. Everyone's vision blurred. The aftershocks of the tremors continued to spread. The Divine Tribunal Realm cultivators who hadn't run far were knocked to the ground, and miserable cries rang out one after another. Too strong. You can't even tell if Fang Jinshan is alive or dead. Did he need to go this crazy against a mere Divine Tribunal Realm Fang Jinshan? Not even the dregs are left. If the old senior continues to attack, there are only two possibilities. Either he's torturing the dead, or he's instructing his disciples. Two moves ended. The clouds were light and the wind was gentle. Even the remaining dust and aftershocks gradually dissipated. Lu Jiao's expression was still calm. He stood with his hands behind his back, glanced at the item's time remaining. Only 3 minutes had passed. It was indeed a waste to use this peak state card just to deal with the cultivators in front of him. But Lu Jiao wasn't just thinking about these things. Did you see it clearly? Duan Musheng knelt and said, "Disciple saw it clearly. Master's personal demonstration is more effective than disciples' 10 years of hard cultivation." Very good. Everyone's vision became clear. Master, Zhao Yansher hurriedly called out. Before she could make a move, those people had already run away. Those cultivators were planning to use the same escape method as the last time they besieged Golden Court Mountain. So what if you're powerful? As long as they all split up and ran in different directions, you don't have 3 heads and 6 arms, and you don't have the art of clones, so there's no way you can catch them all. Sacrifice the few to save the many. This is the perfect strategy. They had already thought it through before coming to Golden Court Mountain. If they couldn't win, they would run. All directions on Golden Court Mountain were filled with the fleeing cultivators. I said everyone must stay so not a single one can leave. Master Duan Musheng was stunned, not knowing what the old man wanted to do. Master wants to repair the barrier. How can he do that? The barrier of Golden Court Mountain was created by generations of experts, absorbing the primordial energy of heaven and earth, combined with favorable weather and geographical conditions, and constantly replenishing energy to create the powerful barrier of today. Previously, Lu Zhu punished Old Third, Old Fourth, and Old Fifth. A total of 3 people needed at least 3 years to repair the barrier at the same time. To use one person's power to repair the barrier would take at least 10 years. Master is already old. Shouldn't he preserve his strength? Why would he do this? Lu Jiao's real intention was exactly this. The peak state card could continuously fill the Dantian Sea of Qi. It didn't take much time to solve Fang Jinshan. Why not use the remaining time to repair the barrier? How could Lu Jiao waste such a good opportunity? A massive source of energy poured into the formation eyes, and transparent, crystal-like barriers immediately appeared in all directions. Those fleeing cultivators were all trapped inside the barrier. The cultivators shouted loudly, "We're trapped in the barrier! We can't get out!" Duan Wusheng finally realized. Master wants to catch the turtles in a jar. As expected, the older the ginger, the spicier it gets. Zhu Jifeng was also shooketh by this terrifying power that had zero chill. Earlier, he brought his crew here to mess up this barrier, putting in all his might and not even budging it a hair. Who knew old Ji Tiandao could just waltz in and fix it? Lu Zhao wasn't stopping for tea. He kept pouring energy into the formation eye like there was no tomorrow. Just a quick patch-up wasn't gonna cut it. He had to connect the formation eye to all corners of Golden Court Mountain, constantly feeding it new juice so it could keep on ticking. Even Lu Zhao himself was low-key surprised by the never-ending energy glitch of his peak trial card. If time wasn't a buzzkill, this item would be straight-up invincible. Who even needs to level up their cultivation then? Just whip out the peak trial card and boom, you're set. Lu Zhao had no clue how many times he drained his Danshin's full-on primal energy. It was impossible to count, because every time it dipped, it'd instantly refill. Game-wise, this was basically unlimited mana, no cap. Over 25 minutes later, the barrier finally chilled out and stabilized. The cultivators were all like, "Whoa, pretty. Oh hey, righteous buddies, you guys are here too." Yeah well, nowhere to run, might as well join the party. Touching the barrier felt like poking a waterbed, sending ripples out like ocean waves from the point of contact. Welp, time to meet your maker. Lu Zhao took a deep breath and scanned his surroundings. At the same time, he glanced at the timer. 3 minutes left. Lu Zhao casually dropped the order. Yaner, leave no stragglers. The system chimed in. Mission accomplished. Handle the intruders. Executor, Zhao Yaner. Yes sir. The little firecracker was practically bouncing with excitement. She'd been itching for this. Zhao Yaner, already fuming, finally got to unleash. Her 7-star cloud-chasing steps went into overdrive. Those puny Void Refinement Realm cultivators were basically one-shotted by her kicks, while the Divine Court Realm strongmen became her personal chew toys. The devils on Golden Court Mountain were the OG murderers. The cultivators were freaking out, and even if they tried to fight back, it was just delaying the inevitable. They were like sheep in a pen, waiting for slaughter. And Zhao Yanher was the butcher, sharpening her cleaver with a sinister grin. Despair and terror filled the air. Aya, I'm a goner. Me too. Lu Zhao returned to the Evil Sky Pavilion. Master Duan Musheng couldn't hold on any longer. A trickle of blood escaping his lips, Lu Zhao glanced at him. His loyalty had hit 80%. Just casually passing on the Heavenly One technique and bam, results like this. Even Lu Zhao was a bit taken aback. Either way, having a loyal and capable right-hand man was always a plus. Duan Musheng's injuries probably dated back to his scuffle with that bald monk Fang Tuda from the Righteous Unity sect. The fact that he'd held out until now was pretty impressive. Of course, gotta give a little shout out to Jin Tiandao's constant training sessions back in the day. That's probably why they were so resilient now. Any other cultivators would have been down for the count ages ago, Lu Zhao casually asked. Where's Fourth? Fourth Bro had a fierce showdown with Fang Jin's goons for a few rounds. They had the numbers, and Fourth Bro couldn't handle it, so he bailed. Duan Musheng quickly added, as for where he is now, this disciple has no clue. Lu Zhao waved his hand dismissively. Bai Zhe, carrying the unconscious Ye Tiangxin on its back, landed in the Evil Sky Pavilion's courtyard, then soared back into the sky and vanished beyond the horizon. Sixth? Junior sister? Duan Musheng's face was a mask of shock. Yi Tiangxin, wielder of the 9th-ranked blacklist heaven-grade weapon, the Amorous Hoop, was this badly injured? Well, ain't this a pickle? Third bro, fourth bro, and sixth sis all banged up, leaving only Zhao Yanher, a wild wolf on a rampage inside the barrier, showing no mercy. The merit points notification kept dinging non-stop. Lu Zhao slowly turned around. Zhu Jifeng's whole body trembled. He walked over from a distance, stopping about 5 meters away from Lu Zhu, and knelt on one knee, saying, "This junior is willing to join Golden Court Mountain and serve senior with all his might." System notification. Acquired a subordinate. Zhu Jifeng, Divine Court Realm. Rewarded 100 merit points. Lu Zhao just casually glanced at him, neither nodding nor shaking his head, and simply said, "Go handle things." Right now, Lu Zhao didn't have the time to listen to Zhu Jifeng's sob story or care about what went down after he ditched the Heavenly Sword sect. Zhu Jifeng was over the moon, sheathing his sword and saber as he reported, "Yes, sir." The remaining cultivators were screaming their heads off. "Wah! Another one coming to kill us!" Zhu Jifeng waved his hand, and his longsword shot out of its scabbard. Gripping his sharp blade, Zhu Jifeng's eyes locked onto the fleeing Void Refinement Realm cultivators. Sword chi flew everywhere, and fresh blood splattered. Lu Zhu turned and stepped into the Evil Sky Pavilion. Inside the Evil Sky Pavilion was the secret chamber Ji Tiandao used for secluded cultivation. Even a nascent Soul Realm expert would need a good chunk of time to wreck this place. Lu Zhao pressed a mechanism, and the stone door rumbled open. After the door closed, the whole world went silent. The peak trial card's time limit had also just expired, and the massive energy within his Dantian receded like a flash flood in an instant. Lu Zhao remained calm. The room was mostly dark, with only a faint glow from the ceiling illuminating the space. Perfect for cultivation. Lu Zhao didn't need to worry about the outside world anymore. System update. Name, Lu Zhu. Race, human. Cultivation, knowing the self realm. Qi, refining, harmonizing spirit. Merit points, 6,674. Dharma body, 3 flowers gather on crown. Remaining lifespan, 4,509 days. Items, fatal block. Quantity, 7 passive techniques. 3 volumes of Heavenly Book. Weapon, Amorous Hoop. Owner, Yi Tiangxin. Needs to be refined again before use. Time to rethink the trump cards. Not a single peak trial card left. Only 7 passive fatal blocks. If he ran into a strong enemy, they could land 10 or even 100 blows in a single breath, so 7 blocks wouldn't really cut it. No trump cards left. Now what? The number 1 big bad of Golden Court Mountain had countless eyes glued to him. Lu Zhao sat cross-legged under the dim light, lost in thought. The barrier on Golden Court Mountain was fixed, so even if some strong foes showed up, the barrier could still hold them off for 10 days to half a month. Besides, Lu Zhao had just flexed 2 peak trial cards back to back, thoroughly intimidating all those righteous cultivators. Even if they were dumb as rocks, they wouldn't dare to invade Golden Court Mountain like this again. Right now, he had over 6,000 merit points, the loot from his trip to Anyang Star. Killing a Divine Court Realm cultivator netted him 100 merit points, while offing a Void Refinement Realm cultivator only gave him 10 merit points. Lu Zhu shook his head. A 10-fold difference in reward for just 1 realm difference. Now that he had the merit points, how should he use them? Drawing from the lottery felt too much like gambling. Sure, continuous draws could accumulate luck points, but what if his luck was consistently in the gutter? Better to wait a bit. Once Zhao Yanhe and Zhu Jifeng finished cleaning up the remaining cultivators, he'd figure things out. Lu Zhao stood up and looked around. It seemed like Jin Tiandao hadn't been to this secret chamber in the Evil Sky Pavilion for ages. There was still a lot of stuff left behind. The light was dim, but it was enough for him to see the surroundings. This place stored many cultivation manuals from famous righteous sects, like the Tai Yi Swordplay, the Tao Heart Sutra, the Tranquil Heart Incantation, and so on. If Lu Zhao's memory served him right, none of his disciples cultivated these things. Which made sense. How could these manuals compare to the techniques bestowed by the system? Besides the stacks of manuals, there were also some weapons in the secret chamber, mostly profound grade and yellow grade. Nascent Soul Realm cultivators wouldn't even bat an eye at this level, and neither did Lu Zhu. He just glanced over them without any interest. Everything was covered in a thick layer of dust, clearly untouched for a long time. They were all ancient relics. Lu Zhao mostly didn't remember where these items came from or how to use them. At the same time, in the Evil Sky Pavilion's courtyard, Ye Tianxin woke up from the intense pain in her lower abdomen. She groggily opened her eyes and looked around. This was the Evil Sky Pavilion. This was indeed the Evil Sky Pavilion, the place where she had kowtowed and become a disciple upon joining the sect. One look was all it took for her to recognize it. Her memories of this place were still fresh. Every tree, every wall, every path. Just then, a weak voice drifted over. Sixth junior sister. Ye Tianxin was startled, quickly turning around to find the source of the sound. She saw Ming Shiyin, covered in dust and with blood staining his chest, staggering towards her. Fourth senior brother, Ming Shiyin, plopped down, a weary smile on his face. Junior sister's back? Good that you're back. Ye Tianxin frowned, utterly confused. You'll get used to it, it's all just a routine, a show. Cough. Ming Shiyin coughed, wiping the blood from the corner of his mouth. Ye Tianxin propped herself up, feeling both sad and bewildered. A routine? But none of that matters anymore. Her eyes went to Ming Shiyin. Besides the blood, he was covered in dirt, and there was a long gash on his chest. It looked terrifying, and in the blazing sun, the wound hadn't scabbed over yet. Flies, drawn by the scent of blood, buzzed around him. This is the fourth senior brother whose name strikes fear into the hearts of mortals. Is this really Ming Shiyin, the mighty divine court realm cultivator turned to dust? Is this supposed to be a powerful cultivator? And here you are, getting bullied, haha. So you finally have this day coming. Ye Tianxin parted her lips slightly. The harsh sunlight and dry air made her uncomfortable. Ming Shiyin waved his hand a few times. It was hard to tell if he was shooing away flies or refuting Ye Tianxin's words. I'm just a little tired, Ye Tianxin scoffed. That old geezer left you guys on the mountain to die? And you're still willing to stay and work your life away for him? Are you insane? Ming Shiyin felt overwhelmingly sleepy, unable to even lift his eyelids. But he still tried to reply. You don't understand. You and I aren't the same. I'm still very loyal to my master. As soon as he finished speaking, his eyes slammed shut and he started snoring loudly. A bizarre scene unfolded. Tiny saplings sprouted from every nook and cranny around Ming Shiyin, growing at a speed that could be seen with the naked eye. The saplings, big and small, pushed through the earth, enveloping Ming Shiyin's entire body, shielding him from the scorching sun, and keeping all the flies out. Ye Tianxin frowned at the scene, disbelieving. She instinctively retreated. The courtyard in front of the Demon Heaven Pavilion was huge, big enough to hold thousands. But she was still a little apprehensive, shrinking back. Ye Tianxin finally understood, muttering, Azure Woodheart Sutra, senior brother has mastered it completely. This is the essence of the Azure Woodheart Sutra. When cultivated to its peak, it can find a path to survival and death. It can be like a butterfly emerging from its cocoon, creating a new life. This also means that if Ming Shiyin overcomes this calamity, he'll become a master in the same realm as Ye Tianxin, who had entered the primordial spirit realm. When did that old devil become so generous? An unknown amount of time passed, and there was no sound outside the Demon Heaven Pavilion. Ye Tianxin stared at the area enveloped by trees, lost in thought. Shifu, a figure in green robes, descended from the sky into the courtyard of the Demon Heaven Pavilion. She looked left and right, seeing only Ye Tianxin. HMPH, traitor, where's my Shifu? Zhao Yanhe put her hands on her hips and asked Ye Tianxin, her voice filled with hostility. Ye Tianxin raised her head to look at her cute junior sister, shaking her head slightly. Little junior sister, come over here. I won't go over there, no way. Tell senior sister what that old geezer has been up to these past few years, okay? Zhao Yanhe crossed her arms, ignoring her. This made Ye Tianxin raise her eyebrows, shaking her head helplessly. It's probably impossible to get information about that old devil from little junior sister. Little junior sister! Duan Musheng's voice came from behind. Third senior brother. Duan Musheng wasn't in good shape either. His body was wrapped in chains, covered in wounds, and his face was bruised. But he could still walk. He was still holding on. Ye Tianxin sneered at them again. Duan Musheng's eyes burned like torches, and he glared at her. Ye Tianxin immediately shut her mouth. Ye Tianxin, you're a traitor who defies your master and destroys your ancestors. You have a heart as big as the sky, and your malicious intentions make everyone hate you, and you dare laugh. Duan Musheng wasn't like Ming Shiyin, nor was he as naive as Zhao Yan'er. Duan Musheng's temperament was much more steady and resolute than theirs. The tribulation that Shifeng Valley had faced was greatly related to Ye Tianxin. Ye Tianxin retorted, Senior brother, things have come to this point. Don't pretend to be righteous. How has that old geezer treated us? Don't you know that in your heart, Duan Musheng was slightly taken aback? He had joined the sect early, so of course he knew how his master treated his disciples. If that weren't the case, how could there be so many traitors? Ye Tianxin continued. Look at yourselves. How pathetic you look. That old geezer's great calamity is coming. I hope you can still speak so righteously then. Shut up, Duan Musheng glared. Yan'er, Shifu isn't here, so you take senior brother's place and slap her. Xiao Yan'er was taken aback. Huh, she exclaimed. Do as I say. Okay, Zhao Yan'er stood solemnly in front of Ye Tianxin. Then, she ran over, closed her eyes, and raised her hand to give a strong slap. The sound was crisp and clear, and the slap made Ye Tianxin's face ache terribly. Duan Musheng rebuked. This slap is for you to remember one thing. This is the Demon Heaven Pavilion, the place where you once apprenticed and studied. If you dare speak rudely again, don't blame senior brother for being merciless. The sonic boom was so powerful that it made Ye Tianxin's blood churn. Although Duan Musheng was injured, it didn't affect his ability to emit sonic waves at this level. Ye Tianxin had no cultivation, so how could she withstand this attack? She immediately spat out a mouthful of blood, now completely obedient. Xiao Yan'er spoke up. Senior brother, let me help you untie the chains. Duan Musheng shook his head and sighed. There's no need. These are chains made of 1,000-year-old cold iron. I'm afraid that in this world only great senior brother's emerald jade saber and second senior brother's everlasting life sword can cut them. At the same time, Zhu Jifeng was tiptoeing behind. Zhao Yan'er shouted, Stop, Zhu Jifeng! Looking a bit nervous, Zhu Jifeng stepped forward. This was the second time he had entered the Demon Heaven Pavilion, and he couldn't help but feel uneasy. Although the three devils were injured, he was still nervous and afraid, especially since there was also a little devil here whose emotions were unpredictable. Zhu Jifeng cupped his hands in greetings, senior. Xiao Yan'er pressed. Are you a disciple of the Heavenly Sword Sect? The Heavenly Sword Sect is a famous orthodox sect in the world. Aren't you afraid of being ridiculed by the world for joining Shifeng Valley like this? Zhu Jifeng said righteously. What is righteous and what is evil? If I were afraid of being mocked, I wouldn't be standing here. He immediately knelt down. Once I came here, my heart became clear. Where is the old senior now? Please give this junior a chance to explain. Ye Tianxin looked at Zhu Jifeng with complicated emotions. She laughed. Haha, crazy. You're all crazy. So many people wish they could stay far away from Golden Court Mountain, and you're doing the opposite. Asking to join Golden Court Mountain now. Are you trying to die? Zhu Jifeng didn't even look at Ye Tianxin, but he still answered. The old senior has been kind to me. How excessive. How ridiculous. This is truly too funny. After Lu Zhao roughly inspected the items in the secret chamber, he sighed. They're all really old items. Some of them are still in good condition, and might be useful later. The merit points haven't been increasing for a while now. Lu Zhao returned to his seat and started to consider how to use his merit points. 7,540 points. Lu Zhao looked at his merit points and opened the shop. The 4 symbols astral dharma body cost 2,000 points. Lu Zhao shook his head. Buying this isn't enough to save my life. The 4 symbols astral dharma body would, at most, raise his cultivation to the peak of the nascent divinity realm. And the 5 energies converging origin dharma body, at 3,000 points, is even less suitable to buy. Weapons? Lu Zhao looked at the weapons interface. All sorts of blades, spears, staves, and cudgels were available. They were divided into 4th tier, heaven, earth, profound, and yellow. But the problem is that weapons also require powerful cultivation to wield, otherwise they'll just bring about your own death. Item cards, reversal cards are 500 points each, and fatal block cards are 100 points each. Too expensive, and not valuable enough to be trump cards. Lu Zhao shook his head, and continued searching the item list. Damage immunity. After use, become completely immune to all types of damage for 10 seconds. Each card costs 500 merit points. This card isn't bad at all. It's practically like being invincible. But the duration is too short, only 10 seconds. You'll still get caught after 10 seconds. If you don't have a way to counterattack, this is less valuable than an escape card. Of course, this is still suitable for him. In real situations, it can be used in combination with other cards. Lu Zhao didn't rush to buy item cards, and continued browsing. Fatal Strike. After use, gain indescribable powerful force, attack the target in 1 strike, instantly taking their life. Each card costs 500 merit points. Lu Zhao seriously read the description of the item card. As a veteran gamer, he knew that when fighting monsters, there's a chance to trigger a critical strike. But this kind of skill usually comes with a critical strike rate. But this card doesn't have any restrictions on the rate. He looked left and right, still not seeing any other descriptions, nor any restrictions. Indescribable powerful force, what is that? Lu Zhao pondered. No matter what kind of force it is, this item card seems very powerful. Let's keep looking for now. First class defense. After use, reduce damage taken by 90% for 30 seconds. Each card costs 500 merit points. Second class defense. After use, reduce damage taken by 60% for 30 seconds. Each card costs 100 merit points. The next dozen item cards were all of the defensive type. Based on Lu Zhu's current realm, when a nascent divinity cultivator encounters an expert, these item cards won't be of much use. What's the point of reducing damage taken by 90%? You'll still die from the remaining 10% of damage. He shook his head. These cards aren't as useful as a damage immunity card. Wait, why are they all defensive cards? Does it want him to be a turtle hiding in its shell? This isn't the style of the great devil Ancestor Master Lu. He continued looking, and saw that there were only question mark cards left at the bottom. Even the usage descriptions were missing. These cards should be similar to the mysterious heaven realm's myriad stream supreme dharma body. The prices and usage descriptions were hidden. Longtime gamers understood that these were the most high-end and powerful items. After reviewing all the item cards, Lu Zhao chose to buy 3 damage immunity cards. 1 fatal strike card. He had both offense and defense, and all other defensive cards were ignored by him. The best defense is offense. In one fell swoop he had spent 3,000 merit points, but these item cards were completely worth it. Lu Zhu didn't feel any regret. What would happen if he used a fatal strike on Ji Qin? So how should the remaining 4,540 merit points be used? Buy a few more reversal cards to increase his lifespan. The body is the most crucial point hindering the recovery of his cultivation, but over 4,000 merit points can only buy 9 reversal cards, which is equivalent to about 2,700 days of lifespan. This number is still much smaller than his long lifespan of thousands of years. What needs to be noted is that the most important part of the reversal card is the 2 words, reversal, meaning to become younger, and not to increase the lifespan of the current old body. So, should he draw a lottery? He didn't know what nerve in his brain was touched. But the 2 words, draw lottery, slowly appeared. Having experienced the previous lottery draw, Lu Zhao also knew that this game was a pit that would ruin people. Improving his cultivation is the most important thing. Lu Zhao remembered the scene when he performed the 100 Tribulations Knowing Darkness Dharma body. The 8-petal golden lotus below suddenly turned into 9 petals, which were all peak state cards. Why did this time yield a different result? What kind of technique is this heaven scroll after all? It's completely different from any technique in his memory. No specific incantations or formulas, no breathing exercises, no channeling of chi or secret codes. Forget it. Improving his cultivation is the most important thing. But before that, let's draw a small lottery. At the same time, at Pingdu Mountain in the west of Great Yan, north of Yu Province, this was the main altar of the Underworld sect. In the Underworld Grand Hall, the sect leader had clearly investigated that Ancestor Master Lu had captured the Palace Master of the Ethereal Moon Palace with his own power. None of the experts from the Righteous Unity Path and the Heaven Sword sect who attacked Golden Court Mountain had survived. Before his subordinates, a cloud of black smoke spread on the Underworld throne, obscuring the view, and a hoarse voice echoed from within the black smoke like a sound from hell. Understood. Sect leader, the Palace Master of the Ethereal Moon Palace, used to be your junior sister. This time, she led a group of cultivators to besiege Ancestor Master Lu and suffered a crushing defeat. The Cloud Sect, Heaven Sect, and Luo Sect are all very angry and have vowed to sacrifice all the members of the Ethereal Moon Palace to pay tribute to the dead disciples. Should we take action to help them? The Underworld Grand Hall was unusually quiet. Even the sound of a pin dropping could be heard. After a while, a voice came from the black smoke. As you sow, so shall you reap. No need to care. The subordinate bowed and cupped his fist, continuing. Following your command, sect leader, I have another matter to report. Speak, sect leader. Our informant within the royal family has just reported that Yunfei is plotting to attack Golden Court Mountain and even intends to persuade the emperor to mobilize the imperial guards. And then, the great Yan emperor punished Yunfei and confined her for 3 months. Inside the black smoke there was complete silence, as if pondering something. After a moment, the great Yan's wars are endless. The imperial guards are the guarding force in Chengdu City. How can they be mobilized at will? Yunfei's actions this time are like shooting herself in the foot. But the voice paused for a moment and continued. Yunfei comes from the western regions and is a foreign race. We must monitor her every move. Your subordinate follows your command. In addition, a voice came from within the black smoke again, and the subordinate quickly stopped and stood with his hands clasped, listening attentively. The sword maniac is discussing martial arts. There are many experts from the Pure Clarity Dao sect. Tell him to go there to discuss. If he encounters the sword devil, immediately avoid him. Your subordinate will do it immediately. Outside the Demon Sky Pavilion, Duan Musheng and Zhao Yanher were anxiously waiting, like ants on a hot pan. The sun had already set in the west, but there was still no sign of their master. Master just fought a battle, so he needs to calm down and recuperate, which is normal. Little junior sister, stop pacing. I'm getting dizzy watching you walk back and forth. Duan Musheng rubbed his temples. Zhu Jifeng respectfully said, Senior Lu Zhao's divine might is unmatched. He's definitely fine. Look at this screen, it's so bright. Xiao Yancher glared at him. Ye Tiangxin scoffed, muttering, If I were you guys, I would have gone inside to check already. He's so old, what if something happened, rumble. The sound of moving mechanisms came from inside the Demon Sky Pavilion, along with that familiar, dignified voice. Come in and talk. Everyone was startled, including Ye Tianxin. All their fatigue vanished. Zhao Yanhair giggled and grabbed her shoulder. See how master punishes you. Lu Zhao walked out of the secret chamber, standing with his hands clasped behind his back. The group rushed into the Demon Sky Pavilion. Disciple greets master. Disciple greets master. Junior greets senior Lu Zhao. Ye Tianxin was thrown to the ground, feeling a bit indignant. She raised her head, wanting to see his face, but could only see his back. Lu Zhao didn't reply, stroking his beard as he walked. Zhao Yanhair carefully called out, Master. Just then, Lu Zhao suddenly muttered, How could I not win even once? Zhao Yanhair asked, confused. Master, what are you saying? Nothing. Lu Zhao dismissed the thought. Slowly turning around, his eyes swept over each person, feeling like he saw the words, Thanks for playing, on everyone's face. Perhaps sensing that their master was a bit unhappy, Zhao Yanhair playfully said, Master, don't be angry. Your disciple has killed all the intruders at Golden Court Mountain, his Feng. If you're still not happy, I can go back and chop their corpses a few more times. Zhu Jifeng was puzzled. Lu Zhao raised his hand to stop her, casually saying, Where's the fourth? Duan Musheng dragged his iron chains, cupping his fist and saying, Although the fourth is seriously injured, he fortunately encountered a fortuitous opportunity. He's currently being protected by Qingmu, so I'm afraid he can't come to see Master. Lu Zhao was a bit surprised. Can't get near Qingmu for 7 days? He needs to rely on Qingmu's protection to break through, requiring 7 days. If someone interrupts during this time, Ming Xinyin will never be able to enter the nascent soul realm for the rest of his life. Ye Tianxin looked directly into Lu Zhao's eyes, sneering, Hypocrite, I bet you'll sneak in a palm strike in the middle of the night. Lu Zhao remained calm, not even glancing at her, simply saying indifferently, Yanjie, have a disciple imprison her in the back mountain facing the wall cave for repentance. Obey the order. Xiao Yanhair stepped forward, grabbed Ye Tianxin, and carried her away. Ye Tianxin remembered the gloomy and lonely back mountain, her whole body trembling. Scenes of facing the wall repentance flashed in her mind. She wanted to resist, but her Dantian Qi Si was empty, unable to mobilize even a trace of primal Qi. Lu Zhao looked towards Zhu Jifeng. Zhu Jifeng hurriedly knelt on the ground, respectfully saying, Senior, Zhu Jifeng is willing to join the Demon Sky Pavilion and begs Senior to accept me as a disciple. Lu Zhao had never thought about taking on more disciples since transmigrating. Judging by the timeline, the old devil only started planning to take on disciples when his cultivation reached its peak. With his current cultivation, it was hard to guarantee that he wouldn't take on a pack of wolves in sheep's clothing. These 9 disciples alone gave him a headache, so where would he have the energy to teach others? At sea, a bright moon is born. We share this moment, though far apart. Well, the old devil was truly interesting, deliberately leaving a spot open for some reason which wasn't important anymore. Seeing that Lu Zhao remained silent, Zhu Jifeng spoke. Senior, your talent is not bad, but you cultivate the sword dabio of the Heavenly Sword sect. Now that your sword dabio is established, changing course halfway will only be detrimental. Lu Zhu said casually, his meaning very clear. I will not accept you as a disciple. Senior, Zhu Jifeng persistently pleaded. Lu Zhu Sao slowly raised his hand to interrupt him, then picked up a secret manual from the table and threw it in front of Zhu Jifeng. This is the Heavenly Sword sect's Tai Yi swordplay. With your talent, cultivation won't be difficult. Zhu Jifeng widened his eyes, excitedly looking at the manual. He was once the top disciple of the Heavenly Sword sect, so he naturally understood the meaning of this manual. The Heavenly Sword sect's method of imparting the Tai Yi swordplay had always been for the master to teach the disciple, only teaching the second level after learning the first. Therefore, although Zhu Jifeng was learning this swordplay, Luo Changfeng had never taught him the entire swordplay. This phenomenon wasn't unique to the Heavenly Sword sect, but was done by all righteous sects. Considered a traditional rule, righteous disciples didn't question it. How could he have expected that the swordplay the Heavenly Sword sect regarded as a treasure would be worthless in the hands of the old senior, casually thrown to him? How could he not be excited? With this swordplay, why would he worry about not entering the nascent soul realm? Zhu Jifeng held the manual with both hands. He knelt on the ground and kowtowed, his forehead hitting the ground with a loud sound, expressing his sincerity. Thank you, senior. Thank you, senior. Since you are no longer a disciple of the Demon Sky Pavilion, from now on, call me Pavilion Master, Zhu Jifeng respectfully said. Understood. There are many rooms in the Demon Sky Pavilion. Besides the East Pavilion and the South Pavilion, you can choose any place to stay. Yes, retreat. Zhu Jifeng held the manual with both hands, respectfully leaving the Demon Sky Pavilion. Lu Zhu nodded slightly. Duan Musheng was much more experienced in managing disciples. After Zhu Jifeng left, Duan Musheng bowed and said, Master, this Zhu Jifeng is still a disciple of the Heavenly Sword sect after all. Explaining this matter will be too long, and we would have to mention his leaky parents, Zhu Jifeng then murdering his father. Too troublesome. Lu Zhao waved his hand, casually saying, This old master has his own plans, disciple understands. You wouldn't dare say you didn't understand, would you? Lu Zhao slowly stood up, only glancing at the chains on Duan Musheng's body before turning around and entering the secret chamber. Duan Musheng was about to say something but heard his master mutter, It's time to change my luck. Duan Musheng hurriedly knelt on the ground, respectfully seeing off his master. When he raised his head, his master's figure had already disappeared. Duan Musheng wiped the sweat from his forehead, then helplessly dragged the 1,000-year-old cold iron chains. He originally intended to beg his master to help him remove the chains, but it seemed he should give up. Master was still master, indifferent to the world, letting them live or die on their own. After Zhao Yanhe imprisoned Ye Tiangxin in the back mountain, she immediately returned to the Demon Sky Pavilion. She didn't see her master, but saw her third senior brother with a face full of sorrow, so she asked, "Senior brother, what's wrong?" Duan Wusheng waved his hand. "It's nothing." But senior brother just feels that master seems restless, occasionally absent-mindedly thinking about other things. Zhao Yanpe asked, "Restless? Did master say anything just now?" "Was? You just said one thing." "What?" Duan Wusheng said. "Master seemed to be dizzy." Zhao Yanhe nodded, saying, "Master is old after all, and he has to ride the white eel flying back and forth in the sky. How could he not be dizzy?" Duan Wusheng nodded in agreement. "That makes sense, senior brother. What should we do with that traitor?" "Let's wait until fourth child gets through this tribulation before we talk," Duan Wusheng said with righteous indignation. "Fourth child is smart. A traitor who behaves like that needs to be severely punished. How else can we answer to master?" "Senior brother, I've never understood," Zhao Yanhe said, indignant. "She betrayed the sect, fine, but why did she have to try and kill master?" Duan Wusheng sighed. Tiangxin Shimei had a hard life. A hard life. Zhao Yanhe looked pitiful, touching her index fingers together, muttering, "I'm also having a hard time." Duan Wusheng was speechless. "I have to go heal my wounds. I'll leave this place to you. Farewell, senior brother." At the same time, Lu Zhao looked at the merit points on the system interface. He'd already spent 3,000 points on draws, leaving him with only 1540. His luck points had accumulated to 60. Keep drawing. This round was a crushing defeat. Each draw cost 50 merit points. "Thank you for participating in the game, host. Luck points +1. His luck points reached 61. "Very good." Lu Zhu calmed himself. He decided to control himself, or maybe wash his hands before continuing. He suddenly remembered reading the Heavenly Book at Shu Mansion, thinking, "I should read the Heavenly Book to change my luck." The Heavenly Book interface opened. Lu Zhao read all the characters he could understand, but the number didn't increase. The number of illegible chicken scratch characters didn't seem to decrease either. He concluded, "I need to read the first part of the Heavenly Book of Man many times to comprehend its meaning. Then the second part can be gradually understood." He could now see a few characters on pages he couldn't understand at all before. This showed the Heavenly Book could be comprehended. It was just extremely difficult. The light in the secret chamber remained dim, but Lu Zhao couldn't help but immerse himself in comprehending the Heavenly Book. Time passed, and the miraculous scene appeared again. Shimmering, watery light sparkled above the room. Lu Zhao was completely unaware. He remained seated in a meditative posture, reading the book. 3 days passed. On Golden Court Mountain, Zhu Jifeng was immersed in cultivating the sword Dao. Duan Wusheng secluded himself to heal. Fourth child was at a crucial point in his breakthrough. Only Xiao Yanhe was bored, but she couldn't leave Golden Court Mountain. Fortunately, Golden Court Mountain had a protective barrier, so they didn't have to constantly worry about enemy invasions. On the fourth day, she went to the Evil Sky Pavilion. The cyan wood suddenly stirred. Creak! Creak! She moved like lightning, instantly flying into the courtyard of the Evil Sky Pavilion, scanning the area. Fourth senior brother. She noticed the cyan wood, which was already lush, now growing even faster. She found it strange. Master said fourth senior brother would need 7 days to get through his tribulation. Why is there a change after only 4 days? Creak, creak. The cyan wood grew rapidly, almost as tall as the Evil Sky Pavilion. Xiao Yanhe kept retreating. Almost half the courtyard was occupied by the cyan wood. Because of this, she couldn't leave. Xiao Yanhe decided to fly around the cyan wood. Bang! The cyan wood suddenly shattered, petals flying everywhere. Xiao Yanhe's astral energy blocked the wood fragments from hitting her. A figure flew out from the shattered cyan wood, his body radiating tidal waves of astral energy. Xiao Yanhe kept retreating, blocking the aftershocks. Even the Evil Sky Pavilion shook slightly. A vortex of astral energy appeared in the courtyard. Ming Xinyin closed his eyes, arms outstretched, floating inside. The naked young man exclaimed, "So comfortable." This tremor also alerted Lu Jiao, who was comprehending the heavenly book in the secret chamber. Lu Zhu was happily reading his book, when suddenly the bookshelves, clutter, and weapons around him started shaking, pulling him out of his reverie. Who would be happy about that? It was like being woken up from a good night's sleep. How could he not be annoyed? These wicked disciples. They want to climb on my head after just 3 days without a beating. How dare they? Lu Zhao muttered, then continued reading. Xiao Yan'er was overjoyed. Congratulations, fourth senior brother, on entering the divine tribulation realm. Little Shimai, senior brother, woke up so quickly. At this moment, Ming Xinyin floated above the Evil Sky Pavilion's courtyard, surrounded by astral energy, enjoying the pleasure after his breakthrough. Arms outstretched, eyes closed, he smiled contentedly. The feeling of reaching the divine tribulation realm is so good. The Dharma body in my hand holds the whole world. Xiao Yan'er's face was full of longing. Senior brother has mastered the 1,000 realms whirling avatar. Ming Xinyin, still with his eyes closed, said casually. Little Shimei, watch closely. Oops! Just as Ming Xinyin was about to display the 1,000 realms whirling avatar, a faint light suddenly flew from the top of the Evil Sky Pavilion, piercing his astral energy shield, accompanied by an extremely majestic voice. How dare you! Sizzle! Sizzle! That faint light could erode the astral winds and the surging primordial queel. In an instant, the astral energy completely disappeared. What happened without astral energy? Whoosh! Ming Xinyin fell to the ground, Ouch! Ming Shi-yin dared not show off in front of little Shimei anymore. He hurriedly knelt down, facing the evil sky pavilion, and said, "Disciple knows his mistake. If you're going to show off, you need to pick your place. How dare you be arrogant where master is resting? If I don't beat you, who will I beat?" Ming Shi-yin was very panicked and dared not stand up. On one hand, he was shocked by his old master's methods. On the other hand, he was relieved he wasn't injured. Xiao Yanhair slowly descended from the air. "Ah, fourth senior brother, does your Dharma body need to kneel to be released?" Cough cough. Ming Shi-yin saw there was no reply from inside the evil sky pavilion, so he awkwardly stood up. He pretended nothing had happened, cleared his throat, and said, "I just entered the divine tribulation realm, so I'm not used to it yet." "Ah, where's master?" Xiao Yanhair then told Shi-yin about what had happened in the past few days. So. Ming Shi-yin kept humming in agreement. Ming Shi-yin frowned. 6 Shimei's cultivation was crippled and she's been imprisoned in the back mountain for repentance. "Yes," Ming Shi-yin instructed. "Let me go take a look. Leave the matters on the mountain to me. You go down to Yi Station in Gangxin Town to gather information. Master will definitely ask about it when he comes out of seclusion." Xiao Yanhair was so happy she jumped for joy. "Fourth senior brother is so thoughtful, I'll go right away. Don't cause trouble." "Don't worry, I'm very well behaved," Xiao Yanhair said, turning around and flying down the mountain at a speed that made people secretly click their tongues. Ming Shi-yin turned to look at the evil sky pavilion, remembering the ear-splitting transmission with its warning intent, and he couldn't help but tremble. He originally thought that entering the divine tribulation realm would make things easier, but now it seemed he still had a long way to go. Ming Shi-yin flew out of the evil sky pavilion, his figure as fast as a ghost. Before, one step of his covered 10 zang, now one step was 30 zang. In the blink of an eye, he arrived at the back mountain. "Ah, it's you," Ming Shi-yin saw Zhu Jifeng practicing his sword. He wasn't a disciple of the evil sky pavilion, so for a moment he didn't know how to address him. Ming Shi-yin forced a smile. "Little Shimei said you're a once-in-a-century genius from the heavenly sword sect." Zhu Jifeng saw Ming Shi-yin's ghostly figure and panicked. He hurriedly retracted his longsword, stuffed the secret manual into his chest, and then looked over guiltily. Ming Shi-yin clasped his hands and said, "Greetings, fourth senior brother. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it." Ming Shi-yin cracked his knuckles and stretched his limbs. "Perfect timing. I was just about to test something." Zhu Jifeng didn't understand what he meant. Whoosh! 100 tribulations, cave illumination, a dharma body 2 zang tall and half a zang wide appeared behind Ming Shi-yin. Zhu Jifeng glanced at it and muttered, "Such a small 100 tribulations, cave illumination, what did you say?" Puffed. Zhu Jifeng collapsed to the ground, his head lolling as he whispered, "So strong. Ouch, I'm dizzy." Ming Shi-yin frowned. "Are nascent soul dharma bodies really this powerful? I haven't even made a move yet and I've already scared him unconscious? What a prodigy of cultivation. Just average." Ming Shi-yin turned around and headed towards the wall-facing repentance cave on the back mountain. Zhu Jifeng cautiously opened his eyes, took a deep breath, and suppressed the surging blood and chi in his chest. "If I don't put on an act, how can I fool a devil like him? Better to hurt myself than get beaten up, you know?" Inside the demon heaven pavilion, Lu Zhao slowly opened his eyes. The blue light spots in the secret chamber immediately disappeared. The past few days of comprehending the heavenly book felt like a dream, giving him many new insights. But there were still many obscure areas. He had to continue to slowly comprehend them. Lu Zhao opened the system interface. Luck points have reached 61. Time for a lucky draw. Ding! Consuming 50 merit points. Thank you for participating in the game. Luck points +1. Lu Zhao frowned. Why isn't my luck changing at all? Could it be that my drawing posture is wrong? Lu Zhao slowly stood up and continued to draw. He drew 4 times in a row, all resulting in, "Thank you for participating in the game." What a huge scam. The truth proved that it had nothing to do with his drawing posture. Although he was constantly complaining in his heart, Lu Zhao remained unfazed on the surface. His old face was thick and dark enough. Luck points are 66. 66. Should be really lucky. Women have a sixth sense, men have a keen intuition. This time, I'll definitely win. The lucky draw, consuming 50 merit points, consuming 66 luck points, obtained a reversal card X1. Are you kidding me? Lu Zhao took a deep breath, his deep, aged eyes looking into the distance. Holy moly. Forget it. Swearing doesn't suit a devil's style, and ancestor doesn't fit his identity either. But so many merit points and luck points only resulted in 1 reversal card. Damn it, who can I complain to? Lu Zhu felt like crying, but no tears would come. In his previous life, when playing games, he didn't feel this angry even when upgrading his weapon to +15 failed. So damn angry. Calm down, no anger. Can't let my emotions waver. Lu Zhao looked at his remaining merit points, 1190 points. Should I continue with this evil lucky draw? Lucky draw, consuming 50 merit points. Obtained weapon, unnamed. Obtained mount, Bixie. Lu Zhu asked. Huh. Lu Zhao clenched his fists and shouted, "Can you believe it? Accumulating 66 luck points only got me 1 reversal card, but this time, with 0 luck points, I got a weapon and a Bixie mount." Lu Zhao was completely speechless. Unnamed. The name of this weapon is so casual, but it doesn't matter. I've been gambling with this lucky draw for so long. This weapon can't be worse than the scrap metal in this secret chamber, right? Following Lu Zhu's call, a black object slowly appeared on his palm, emitting a faint light, sometimes round, sometimes long. Lu Zhao's eyebrows furrowed. What the heck is this? He wanted to hear some system notifications, but the system didn't say a word. How embarrassing. He casually waved it. and the black object immediately disappeared. A black stone-like object appeared in the system's item interface. Lu Xiao looked again and saw a small line of description below. A weapon that can freely transform into various shapes. The higher the cultivation, the stronger the power. Not bad. Lu Xiao suddenly became interested. He raised his right hand, and a weapon appeared in his palm. This time it was an exquisite, glittering sword, then it turned into a dagger, then into a saber, spear, staff, halberd, all kinds of shapes. So that's how it is. This is a weapon that can freely change its shape. One thing that's more convenient than 10 things. This lucky draw wasn't a loss. Let's test its power. At the same time, at the wall facing Repentance Cave on the back mountain, Ye Tiangxin was sitting in the freezing cold, when Ming Xinyin suddenly appeared. Seeing Ye Tiangxin sitting gloomily, he said, "Junior sister, do you want to see my 100 tribulations, cave illumination dharma body?" Ye Tiangxin asked. Huh. She frowned and looked at Ming Xinyin, a little confused. "If that old demon wants you to kill me, then hurry up and do it, don't show off." Ming Xinyin scratched his head awkwardly. "I didn't mean that." Ye Tiangxin turned her head away. "Wanna chop, wanna kill, wanna flay me, scrape my bones, just do it." Ming Xinyin shook his head and sighed. "Junior sister, if Master wanted to kill you, he would have done it already. Why would he need me? What did he send you here for?" "I came here on my own. We're still senior and junior. Brothers and sisters, I can't just stand by and watch you sink into depravity like this." Ye Tiangxin smiled. "Sink into depravity. The ones who are truly lost are you people. Do you still hate Master for that matter?" Ye Tiangxin turned her head away. She didn't want to mention the past. Her eyes were cold, filled with a chilling intent. Ming Xinyin walked over and sat down beside her. Waving his hand, a ray of light appeared, illuminating the cave. "I joined the sect earlier than you, and I've suffered more hardships than you. Did I say anything?" "Pah! You just complained secretly behind his back." "Cough, cough." Ming Xinyin quickly looked away, embarrassed. "Before was different, this is different. Master is extremely kind recently." "Kind? Fourth senior brother, that's not a funny joke." Ye Tiangxin shook her head, then looked down at her disheveled appearance. Her meaning was very clear, understood without saying. "I'm not joking." Ming Xinyin stood up, clasped his hands behind his back, and said sincerely, "Master has lived to this age, he's thought things through, his attitude is very different now than before." Ye Tiangxin pressed. "So what? Why can't you understand no matter how much I say?" Ming Xinyin suddenly turned his head, a little angry. "Master doesn't care about the things we've done, but I do. If that old bastard doesn't die, I won't be at peace." Slap. Ming Xinyin suddenly raised his hand and slapped Ye Tiangxin. He didn't use astral chi, nor did he mobilize his primal chi, it was just a normal slap. The slap stunned Ye Tiangxin, but she stubbornly raised her head and looked at Ming Xinyin. Ming Xinyin raised his hand again. "Oh." Ye Tiangxin closed her eyes. His hand stopped, just a small distance away from Ye Tiangxin's face. He didn't slap her again. Ming Xinyin shook his head, sighed softly, and patted her shoulder. "You should confront Master and ask him clearly. I've said my piece. Sort it out yourself." He felt no need to persuade her further. Just as he was about to turn and leave, Ye Tiangxin suddenly called out, "Wait a moment, is there anything else you want to say?" "The sisters of Yanyu Palace will definitely join forces to save me. If possible, senior brother, please show mercy." Hearing this, Ming Xinyin smiled faintly. "You are really being self-indulgent. They can't even save themselves now. They can't even worry about their own safety. How can they have time to save you? So many Divine Tribulation Realm cultivators from Yun Sect, Tian Sect, and Luo Sect have died. Do you think they will vent their anger on Master?" "You're wrong. The first one they will destroy is your Yanyu Palace." After speaking, Ming Xinyin shook his body, immediately disappeared. Inside the cave became quiet. Ye Tiangxin was surprised, not knowing what to do. When Lu Xiao took out the nameless sword, he heard the system's announcement. Successfully taught the traitor Ye Tiangxin, gaining 100 merit points. Unexpected. No matter which disciple taught her, at least Lu Xiao realized one thing. This traitor Ye Tiangxin still has some value. He activated the nameless sword in his hand, causing it to spin, then stopped. His grasp of weapon control at the Qi condensation realm was still very lacking. When his cultivation base was insufficient, he felt that the command arrow in his hand was just like a feather. His hand waved, and the nameless sword slashed at a broadsword lying on the weapon rack. Clang! Sparks flew everywhere. The broadsword was intact, without any damage, and the nameless sword was not damaged either. This is what you get from the lottery, with 0 luck points. Really a junk item. The nameless sword flew back into his palm, a faint blue light flashed on the blade, then immediately disappeared. Just as Lu Xiao was about to step forward to check the broadsword, a voice suddenly came from outside. "Master, Pan Zhong of Jingming Dao requests an audience." Lu Xiao's hand clenched slightly, and the nameless sword disappeared. Although the lottery process was not very pleasant, at least he gained some items at present. He was not familiar with the nameless sword, so he could only study it step by step. And besides, his cultivation base was still quite low, so he might not be able to exert the original power of the nameless sword, and he would study Bianon when he had time. After Lu Xiao left, a blue light flashed across the broadsword on the weapon rack. Crack! A crack appeared on the blade. Stepping outside, Lu Xiao realized that it had been a long time since he had left the secret room. The light outside made him unable to adapt. Several people were standing and waiting inside the hall. Old Senior, Old Mister. The two people who saw Lu Xiao's appearance quickly knelt down. Xiao Yanhe ran to Lu Xiao's side and smiled. Master, when I went to the post station to inquire about information, I happened to see them kneeling outside the barrier, so I brought them here. Please don't blame me, Master. Pan Zhang knelt obediently on the ground, occasionally secretly peeking at the old man in front of him. It was hard to imagine that this old man with an aging appearance was actually the majestic demonic cultivator ancestor of Golden Court Mountain. The person kneeling beside him was Murong Hai. Murong Hai was still trembling, not daring to lift his head. Lu Xiao nodded. You girl, didn't you go to cause trouble? Not at all. I also learned a lot of information. Lu Xiao nodded, his eyes turned to the two people in the hall. Stand up and speak. Yes. Pan Zhang and Murong Hai staggered as they stood up, almost falling down again. At that moment, his eyes met Lu Xiao's eyes. Murong Hai's whole body trembled, and he immediately knelt down again. Old immortal, please spare my life. I was blind and couldn't see Mount Tai. Lu Xiao thought to himself, I didn't do anything to you. I was very friendly to you along the way, but you act like I killed your whole family. But on the surface, Lu Xiao was as calm as water, and he said indifferently, Yan Belir, have a disciple take him away. Disciple obeys. Murong Hai was startled, and before he could say anything, Zhao Yanhe lifted him up like a hawk catching a chick, and flew down the mountain. Seeing this, Pan Zhang secretly swallowed his saliva. Joining Golden Court Mountain seems a little unstable? Pan Zhang. Lu Zhao's eyes turned to Pan Zhang. Pan Zhang was startled, and cupped his hands respectfully. Old senior. Lu Zhao did not answer, but turned and walked to the main seat, and slowly sat down. You really want to join my Golden Court Mountain? Lu Zhao's eyes were deep, and his voice was old, but no less majestic. Yes. Pan Zhang immediately knelt down, and cupped his hands and said, Pan Zhang is willing to join Golden Court Mountain. Please fulfill my wish, old senior. Lu Zhao stroked his beard, his eyes swept across Pan Zhang's eyes. Although he is a triple yin physique, and has an extremely cold body, he is also a good material. After pondering for a moment, Lu Zhao said calmly, Everyone in the world is afraid of this old one. The righteous path wants to eliminate this old one, and even the disciples that this old one personally raised want to betray their master and extinguish their ancestors. These words made Pan Zhang uneasy, not knowing what the old senior wanted to do. And what was the purpose of saying these words? Since you have joined Golden Court Mountain, this old one will naturally protect you. But if one day... Lu Zhao paused. Pan Zhang was startled and understood, and immediately kowtowed repeatedly on the ground. If I have any disloyal intentions, I will be struck by lightning. Loyalty plus 10. Very good, Lu Zhao stroked his beard and said. This old one has always been a man of his word. You stand up. Thank you, old senior. Pan Zhang stood up nervously. At this moment, the fourth disciple, Ming Xinyin, suddenly flew in from outside. His face was like a spring breeze, and he was full of energy. Seeing Pan Zhang standing in the hall, Ming Xiyin nodded slightly, then knelt down in front of Lu Zhao. Master, this disciple has broken through to the nascent divinity realm. Hearing this, Pan Zhang was terrified. Being able to reach this realm was considered a master of one side. Does Golden Court Mountain have so many? How could it not make people wary? Lu Zhao nodded and said, Reaching the nascent divinity realm will allow you to master the 100 Tribulation Cave Illumination Dharma Body, and each time the Dharma Body opens a leaf, the realm will be completely different. You must not be arrogant. Disciple will carefully follow Master's command. Ming Xiyin kowtowed obediently, successfully teaching Ming Xiyin, gaining 100 merit points. Pan Zhang felt puzzled and confused. Didn't everyone say that the old demonic head of Golden Court Mountain has a hot temper, kills people without blinking an eye, and treats his disciples with cruel methods? Only after meeting him today did he see that it was completely different from the rumors. On the contrary, he felt that the old senior had the demeanor of an elder, and the demeanor of a teacher was much better than those old and ancient elders in Jingming Dao. Master, this disciple heard that the traitor Ye Tiangxin was imprisoned in the cave facing the cliff in the back mountain to repent, so I went to teach her a lesson and vented my anger for Master. Lu Zhao, ever the calm one, maintained his composure, so it was the fourth. But there's no need to rush with Ye Tiangxin's matter, just have her reflect on her mistakes in Bichi Cave. Also, the 8th and 5th are directly involved in the kidnapping. Hearing this, Ming Xinyin's eyes darted around. Master, your disciple has just entered the nascent soul realm and is itching for some practice. How about I go grab that 8th guy for you to deal with? He didn't mention 5th senior sister Zhao Yu, because no one knew where she was right now. Although that 8th guy is weak, he has 7th backing him with ideas. Even if you catch him, it's pointless, and will alert 7th. At Fierce Tiger Ridge, 8th was just chillin', and kept hiccuping as his name was being mentioned. After a moment of pondering, Lu Zhao waved his hand. Just leave them be for now. Ming Xinyin was slightly taken aback, but still respectfully said, Your disciple obeys. I'm tired. Dismissed. Yes. Ming Xiyin winked at Pan Zhang, who was standing there dumbfounded. Senior! Ming Xiyin immediately dragged him outside, leaving the Demon Heaven Pavilion. Ming Xiyin grinned. How was that awesome entrance? Greetings, Mr. Fourth. I like that nickname. Want to see my 100 Tribulation Illumination Dharma Body? Pan Zhang was speechless. Xiao Yan Hair rushed all the way up the mountain, practically flying. 4th senior brother, junior sister. You guys came at the right time. Check out senior brother's 100 Tribulation Illumination Dharma Body. Ming Xiyin spread his arms wide, looking like he was about to attack someone. Xiao Yan Ter quickly said, Senior brother, some cultivators appeared at the bottom of the mountain. I suspect someone's trying to invade Golden Court Mountain again. Ming Xinyan was overjoyed when he heard this. Great, junior sister, I'll go take care of it. This kind of small fry doesn't need master to lift a finger. I can definitely wipe them all out myself. Senior brother, they are all female cultivators from the Moon Reflection sect. She didn't finish speaking. Ming Xinyan had disappeared, leaving behind a trail of images. Pan Zhong stood there, as if rooted to the ground, wondering whether he should follow. Xiao Yanxue stomped her feet silently, and when she turned her head and saw Pan Zhong's dazed look, she said angrily, "What are you looking at? Look again and I'll poke your eyes out." Pan Zhong was speechless. He thought to himself, I didn't look at you. Ming Xinyan was getting worked up. On the way, the gang ki of his whole body erupted, wishing he could immediately rush to the foot of the mountain. When Ming Xinyan reached the foot of the mountain, seeing the group of cultivators standing outside the barrier, he flashed a treacherous smile. 100 tribulation illumination, it's still a nascent soul realm after all. Even though the Dharma body is only 2 zang tall, the aura is unmatched by cultivators in the Divine Court realm. The group of female cultivators standing outside the barrier saw the Dharma body. Their expressions changed. The leading female cultivator frowned. 100 tribulation illumination Dharma body. Run! Someone wants to run? That's not right. This illumination Dharma body is too small. It should be a great cultivator in the early nascent soul stage. The forefather of the devil is over 3 zang. This is not him. And where can we run? Just as the female cultivators were anxiously discussing, the 2 zang tall Dharma body flew above their heads. Ming Xinyan looked down at them and said coldly, "Who dares to attack my Golden Court Mountain?" Ming Xinyan frowned. The group of female cultivators all knelt down. Shouldn't they argue a few sentences? And then when the other party doesn't give in, he'll use a big move to wipe them all out. Why did they kneel down and beg for mercy as soon as they started? The leading female cultivator plucked up her courage and raised her head to look at Ming Xinyan floating in the air. She didn't know who he was, but she could confirm that this person was not the demon ancestor of Golden Court Mountain. "We are disciples of the Moon Reflection sect. Please help us. Please save us." All the female cultivators knelt on the ground, all of them saying the same thing. Ming Xinyan was slightly taken aback. What a shame. After showing off for so long, it turns out they are not invaders, but 6th Junior Sister's people. 6th Junior Sister was imprisoned in Beachy Cave by Master. For betraying her master, Moon Reflection sect is naturally like a snake without a head. The 3 southern sects of Great Flame didn't want to conflict with Golden Court Mountain. All their anger would be vented on Moon Reflection sect, but the problem is that even if you ask for help, you shouldn't come to Golden Court Mountain, right? Ming Xinyan was very suspicious. He looked closely at the group of people. There were about 100 female cultivators. Everyone was disheveled. Some people were injured and could not stand still. Ming Xinyan sighed softly, took back his Dharma body, and landed on the ground. 6th Junior Sister betrayed her master and was imprisoned by Master in the back mountain. Logically speaking, all of you in the Moon Reflection sect should be punished, but you still have the courage to come to Golden Court Mountain. Are you all tired of living? Ming Xinyan's evil eyes swept over, making people shudder. The prestige of the devils on Golden Court Mountain is not without reason. The female cultivator pleaded, "Please save us for the sake of our sect master." This was beyond Ming Xinyan's expectations. Has Moon Reflection's sect fallen into such a state that even the dogs are mourning and there is nowhere else to go? "I won't save you." Ming Xinyan waved his hand, turned around and left. "It's ridiculous. What does your life or death have to do with me? It's already a great grace not to attack you." Just as he was about to leave, an eerie bell rang from a distance. Ming Xinyan frowned, turned around and looked up at the sky. The sky was covered by a purple dark clouds, and the bell rang from within the dark clouds. The faces of the Moon Reflection sect female cultivators changed drastically, and they tried their best to stand up and run towards the Golden Court Mountain barrier. But this barrier could only be freely entered and exited by the people of Golden Court Mountain. No matter how hard they tried to enter, the barrier was still as strong as a wall to block them out. Ming Xinyan ignored the group of female cultivators. His attention was all on the dark clouds in the sky. Intuition told him that the person who came was not good, and using this method to move must also be a big shot. "People from the Evil Fiend sect are here. It's the Evil Fiend sect. Please let us into Golden Court Mountain. We are willing to be your servants." Is this the Moon Reflection sect led by Yi Tiangxin that is famous in one side? Ming Xinyan glanced at them, slightly disappointed. Without a nascent soul realm expert guarding them, no matter how strong the remaining Divine Court realm cultivators are, they are just soldiers and generals. Evil Fiend sect? Ming Xinyan felt strange. Weren't the ones who attacked the Moon Reflection sect the 3 sects of Cloud Heaven? Where did the Evil Fiend sect come from? Ming Xinyan glanced over the female cultivators. Seeing how terrified they were, he wasn't very satisfied. "Why are you so scared? Is there any place in this world more scary than Golden Court Mountain? You dare to be afraid of the Evil Fiend sect but not Golden Court Mountain." The dark cloud slowly approached, and at this time Ming Xinyan could see clearly what it was. It was not a dark cloud, but a group of cultivators formed into a circular formation and flew in unison. All of them were dressed in black, and what was protected in the middle was a huge black dragon carriage. Interesting. Ming Xinyan put his hands behind his back and stood there quietly waiting. The top 3 on the black roll are, in order, Ji Tiandao, Yu Zhenghai, and Zuo Xinchen. Rankings on the black roll are based on the evil deeds committed, not just cultivation level. If you're on that list, you're either ridiculously powerful or super sneaky and cunning. This black dragon carriage belongs to the third-ranked Zuo Jinchen, who's also the top dog under the sect leader of the Devil Slayer sect. But what's got Ming Xiyin scratching his head is that the Devil Slayer sect and Golden Court Mountain usually keep to themselves, like water from the well doesn't interfere with river water, so why are they messing with Moon Reflection Palace now? Clang clang clang, the black dragon carriage's bells sound super unpleasant. Finally, the carriage stops about 100 meters from the barrier, and the ringing stops too. The carriage just hovers there in mid-air. Ming Xiyin doesn't budge, still glaring at them. After a beat, a Divine Court Realm cultivator suddenly flies out from the carriage. He gets about halfway, then stops, bows low, and clasps his hands in a fist salute. The Devil Slayer sect has no intention of disrespecting Golden Court Mountain, he says. Could fourth senior brother hand those female cultivators over to us? The black-robed cultivator is all polite and humble. Ming Xiyin glances back at the shivering female cultivators, thinking, I should totally rock black robes and act all intimidating like this dude. Bet I'd look way scarier. Whatever. Ming Xiyin turns and heads back into the barrier. The black-robed cultivator waves his hand. Thank you, fourth senior brother. We'll definitely come to your door to express our gratitude another day. The cultivators guarding the carriage immediately swarm toward the female cultivators like a bunch of locusts. Hold up. Ming Xiyin steps out again. Does fourth senior brother have any other instructions? Almost forgot about master's new routine. The young man casually puts his arms around two of the ladies and says flatly, the old man's been on a be nice to everyone kick lately. Ming Xiyin flicks his wrist, and the barrier next to him disappears in a flash. The female cultivators, losing their support, stumble into the barrier, and all of them make it inside. Having heard from the black-robed cultivator that this guy is the fourth disciple of Golden Court Mountain, they immediately kneel down and kowtow, chanting, Thank you for saving our lives, fourth senior brother. Thank you for saving our lives. The black-robed cultivator frowns. Out of the tiger's den and into the wolf's mouth. Are these women brain dead or what? In an unpleasant, gravelly tone, he questions, Fourth senior brother, isn't this kind of flip-flopping a bit unseemly? At the same time, Lu Zhao is leaning back in his chair, taking a nap, when the system suddenly chimes, Ding! Received reverent kowtows, gained 1450 merit points. The sudden surge of merit points makes Lu Zhao jump. Reverent kowtows? Have these evil brats suddenly turned good? Just as he's wondering, Xiao Yanhe runs in from outside. Master. Fourth senior brother is out killing people again. Lu Zhao sits up straight and says calmly, What happened? Xiao Yanhe recounts her encounter with Ming Xiyin. Ooh, it was like this and then like that. Lu Zhao frowns as he listens. The female cultivators from Moon Reflection Palace are all Ye Tianxin's subordinates. Now that Ye Tianxin's locked up, they're being picked apart by everyone. And they dare come to Golden Court Mountain. That's not just guts, that's insane. It's just a bunch of female cultivators, the strongest only in the Divine Court Realm, and I'm getting old. If I have to do everything myself, when will I get time to be lazy? Lu Zhao says quietly. Yes, master. Zhao Yanhe says softly, Rest well, master. I'll keep an eye on senior brother. Lu Zhao leans back in his chair, covers his forehead with his hand, and continues to rest. He's been drawing prizes non-stop these past few days, and his head's spinning. He needs to take it easy. Instead of worrying about all this unnecessary stuff, maybe he should figure out the rules for those prize draws. At the foot of Golden Court Mountain, Ming Xiyin smiles wickedly. What's wrong? Are you unhappy? The black-robed cultivator flinches, just about to say something when a clear chime suddenly rings out from the black dragon carriage behind him. The black-robed cultivator suppresses his anger and flies back into the carriage. The remaining black-robed cultivators maintain their formation, silently awaiting orders. Immediately afterward, a voice echoes from the carriage. Would fourth senior brother be willing to allow me to meet your master? The voice carries a powerful sound wave. While not inherently offensive, the origin chi hidden within is so intense that even a nascent soul realm powerhouse who's opened the 8 meridians would be overwhelmed. Ming Xiyin scoffs and says, Is my master someone that any random dog or cat can just meet? The black dragon carriage falls completely silent. Though the other black-robed cultivators don't move, you can feel the anger radiating off them. While I'm still in a good mood, Scram. Ming Xiyin's actually in a good mood today, he's telling the truth. But his words sound like an insult to his opponent. Just as Ming Xiyin's about to turn and head back into the barrier, whoosh! A sudden energy resonance sound. The Moon Reflection Palace female cultivators, sitting on the ground, stare in terror at the black Dharma body appearing above the dragon carriage. Fourth senior brother. Do I have the qualifications to meet your master now? Ming Xiyin looks up. It's a 4-petaled black 100 tribulations Dharma body, about 5 zang tall. With the appearance of this Dharma body, the black-robed cultivators surrounding the carriage generate a subtle resonance, each person's aura increasing several times over. Ming Xiyin frowns. Such a powerful opponent. Besides master, only first and second senior brothers could handle him. Too bad Golden Court Mountain isn't as glorious as it used to be. Ming Xiyin says coldly. So, you're a nascent divinity realm expert. If you've come here to show off your strength, then I'm afraid you've come to the wrong place. I wouldn't dare. The dragon carriage retreats slightly, and the voice grows even deeper. I am Zuo Shinchen, the Devil Slayer sect, and I sincerely wish to meet old Senior Ji. I hope fourth senior brother will lead me in to request an audience. After he says that, the surrounding black-robed cultivators all descend to the ground, and the black dragon carriage lands as well. Clang clang. Zuo Jinchen slowly steps out of the black dragon carriage. His face is dark, and his eyes are sunken and hollow. He looks like a malnourished old man, Zuo Jinchen waves his hand. This is my sincerity. The dozens of black-robed cultivators retreat, leaving only about 4 standing still. Zuo Jinchen's eyes lock onto Ming Shiyin. Ming Shiyin shakes his head, trying to threaten me or tempt me. He's about to refuse, when Xiao Yanye's voice quietly reaches him. Xiao Yanye appears outside the barrier. Master invites you. Zuo Shinchen slowly looks up, sees Xiao Yanye flying through the air, and nods in admiration. So this is ninth senior brother, I've heard of you for a long time. Xiao Yanye giggled, saying, Oh. Is my name really that famous? It's beyond that, Zuo Shinchen said. Not too fast, not too slow. Ninth Master joined Golden Court Mountain at the age of 10. Entered the Profound Connection Realm after 10 days. The Coagulation Stage after 3 months. The 8 Meridians of the Fan Sea Realm after 2 years. And the Divine Court Realm after 3 years. I'm afraid you can't find anyone in the world who can compare to Ninth Master. Ming Shiyin was speechless. And here I thought he was a 4-leaf Golden Lotus Master. His ass-kissing skills are truly something else. Xiao Yanhe happily chuckled upon hearing that, saying, You sure know how to talk. Master told you to go to the front hall to meet him. Zuo Shinchen gently stroked his chin, glancing back at his subordinates. The several dozen cultivators taking a step back. Zuo Shinchen, followed by 4 subordinates, entered the barrier after Ming Shiyin. As he entered the barrier, Zuo Shinchen paused slightly, causing the female cultivators of the Moon Reflection Palace to tremble in fear. He snorted softly, and then went up the mountain. Inside the Demon Sky Pavilion, Lu Zhao sat upright in the main hall, looking down from above. It had been so long since he had sat in this position, that he felt a bit cold and unfamiliar. Duan Musheng, Zhu Jifeng, and Pan Zhong stood on either side. Before long, Ming Xinyan led Zuo Jinchen into view in the distance. Slowly walking into the hall, Zuo Jinchen clasped his fist and said, Demonic Fiend Sect's Zuo Jinchen pays his respects to Senior Ji. Lu Zhao's gaze swept over Zuo Jinchen, and he didn't say anything. The main hall of the Demon Sky Pavilion fell into complete silence. Since Lu Zhao didn't say a word, who else would dare to open their mouths? After a long while, Lu Zhao calmly said, Grant him a seat. Thank you. After sitting down, Zuo Jinchen finally had the chance to look up and examine this demonic head honcho who had shaken the world with his fame. He didn't dare to actively probe the old geezer's cultivation level. If he were to just base it on intuition, the Kia of this demonic head honcho seemed very ordinary. But in the world of cultivation, concealing one's cultivation level was a common thing, nothing strange about it. At the same time, he glanced at the overall environment of the main hall, not luxurious at all, nor was it imposing enough, looking like a very ordinary cultivation sect, not seeing anything special about it. This was the Demon Sky Pavilion, the den of a great demon, that made people tremble at the mere mention of its name. Lu Zhao stroked his beard and said, Speak. What business do you have? Zuo Shinchen clasped his fist and stated, The demonic fiend sect has heard of Golden Court Mountain's great name, and we've come here today to discuss 3 things. 1. The Moon Reflection Palace has repeatedly provoked our demonic fiend sect. Now that Palace Master Yi has been captured by you, Senior, it is indeed a righteous matter. Clearly, she reaped what she sowed. As for the other female cultivators, we hope that Senior will hand them over to our demonic fiend sect. Before he could even start talking about the second thing, Duan Musheng swung the chains in his hand, saying, The Moon Reflection Palace was created by a traitor of our Golden Court Mountain. Even if we want to punish them, it's not your turn. Third senior brother makes sense. Zuo Shinchen didn't refute but continued. 2. I was asked a favor by the Pure Bright Dao. Pan Zhong was a traitor of their sect, and he even intends to join the demonic fiend sect. Such a disloyal subordinate is not worthy of being in the ranks of the Demon Sky Pavilion. Duan Musheng was about to retort again, but Lu Zhu slowly raised his hand, calmly saying, Continue. Zuo Shinchen slightly bowed. If this third matter can be accomplished, then the previous 2 matters don't need to be discussed anymore. Saying this, he stood up, raising his voice. After all, the demonic fiend sect and Golden Court Mountain's Demon Sky Pavilion are the same, hated by those who call themselves righteous. The 10 great experts have attacked you, Senior, many times, and the frequency of attacks is increasing. If the Demon Sky Pavilion is willing to join hands with the demonic fiend sect, then we would be invincible in this world, without equal. Duan Musheng suddenly opened his mouth and cursed loudly. You can kiss my ass. The cursing rang out very abruptly. Even though Duan Musheng was a composed person, he couldn't hold back anymore. Golden Court Mountain had never been provoked to this extent. Zuo Jinchen stated 3 things, each one showing that they look down on Golden Court Mountain. Your low-level demonic fiend sect isn't qualified to talk to the Demon Sky Pavilion? The heads of those in the hall turned slightly in surprise to look at Duan Musheng. Lu Zhao's expression was still calm, and one couldn't tell what he was thinking. Zuo Shinchen wasn't angry at being cursed at, and even said, If Zuo Mudu has offended you in any way, I hope third senior brother will forgive me. Duan Musheng was awkward with words. Seeing the kind of shameless person who spoke nonsense like Zuo Jinchen, he immediately became angry. He was about to explode when Ming Shiyin stood up. Zuo Jinchen, let me answer you, fourth senior brother, please enlighten me. Ming Shiyin asked. Regarding the first matter, the master of the Moon Reflection Palace is Ye Tiangxin. One must consider the master when hitting a dog. Would you say that's reasonable? Regarding the second matter, since Pan Zhong has joined Golden Court Mountain, he is a member of Golden Court Mountain. The Demon Sky Pavilion won't ask about what happened before. If you want to cause trouble for him, then you're causing trouble for the Demon Sky Pavilion. Is that reasonable? The third matter is also the most important. You want to join hands with the Demon Sky Pavilion, but I'm very sorry, you're not worthy. After he said that, the entire hall fell into silence again. Lu Zhao remained in his composed state, not speaking, not nodding or shaking his head, only quietly listening. At this moment, Zuo Xinchen started laughing again, shaking his head. I wouldn't dare to nod rashly. When the Demon Sky Pavilion was at its peak, of course the demonic fiend sect wasn't worthy, but the past is different from the present. The Demon Sky Pavilion is increasingly declining, and even if Senior G has profound cultivation, he can't change the current situation. The demonic fiend sect is becoming stronger and stronger, which is as clear as day to the entire cultivation world. Moreover, it's better to have one more friend than one more enemy. Saying that, Zuo Xinchen raised his head, his eyes looking towards Lu Zhao, as if waiting for his answer. His meaning was very clear. He disregarded everyone else's opinions and didn't care about them. He only cared about Lu Zhao's attitude. Lu Zhao still had a calm expression, showing no emotion, and he raised his hand to gently stroke his beard, looking very kind. The old man even took a sip of plum juice, and after a while, he calmly said a sentence. You're right, Zhao Yanher was stunned. Is Maester getting old and confused? Some stinky demonic fiend sect naturally runs to the Demon Sky Pavilion to spout nonsense, and Maester isn't angry. Zuo Xinchen nodded in agreement, saying, Senior G understands the situation well. Lu Zhao suddenly continued. Zuo Xinchen? He paused for a moment and then asked, Do you know why this old master invited you here for a meeting? Zuo Xinchen said suspiciously. Could it be that the old senior already predicted my junior's purpose for this trip? Lu Zhao shook his head and asked, You cultivate the demonic Chan? That's right, the Bodhi tree has no trunk, nor does a bright mirror have a stand. Few in the world cultivate the demonic Chan. I heard you're the only one who has mastered the 100 Tribulations Cave. Senior Ming is too kind. That is indeed the case. Speaking of something he was good at, Zuo Xinchen couldn't help but become arrogant. That Ji Mu has been cultivating demonic Chan for 100 years and can reach 3rd place on the blacklist, all thanks to the demonic Chan sect's hand seal records. Lu Zhao nodded in admiration. Zuo Xinchen is not bad, not bad. This left the disciple stunned. Zuo Xinchan's words were all over the place, satirizing and mocking the increasingly declining Evil Sky Pavilion. Didn't the master hear it? And he's still praising him. What kind of trick is this? Just then, Duan Musheng jumped out, unleashing several palm strikes in quick succession. Then, let me experience it. Boom. The sudden change caught everyone off guard, and they all looked at this scene in surprise. Zuo Xinchan's eyes lit up, and he said, I was hoping for this. This is an opportunity to demonstrate the strength of our evil Asura sect. The gang winds collided, and the two advanced and retreated, fighting fiercely in the main hall. Master, what are they doing? Zhao Yanher was afraid they would collapse the main hall. Lu Zhao calmly ate an orange while observing, It's fine, let them fight. Zhu Jifeng spoke up. Both of them control the gangwind extremely well. Whenever the gangwind is about to hit the architectural structures in the main hall, it will automatically dissipate. Pan Zhong chimed in. This is a contest between experts. They're exchanging blows fiercely. Zuo Xinchan retreated while praising. 3rd senior has injuries, but his strength is still so high. I admire you. I admire you. But after all, he hasn't stepped into the nascent soul realm yet, still lacking a bit. All these years they have been suppressed by Ji Tiandao, so they have no way to break through. When truly fighting Zuo Xinchan, he still fell into a disadvantageous position. But Zuo Xinchan seemed very relaxed. Hand seal. Zhao Yanher pointed at the hand seal Zuo Xinchan had just unleashed, looking a little worried. As soon as the hand seal came out, Duan Musheng's gang qi seemed to be weakened, and the power was greatly reduced. Not only that, Duan Musheng was injured and still bound by the chains. Zhu Jifeng shook his head helplessly. In the end, there's still a gap in cultivation. Not only that, Duan Musheng is also being commanded by Zhao Yansher, 3rd senior brother. Hit him! Hit him! Boom! A hand seal struck the iron chains on Duan Musheng, causing sparks to fly everywhere. Duan Musheng retreated again and again, and palm-shaped hand seals with faint auras continuously struck at Duan Musheng. Under Lu Zhao, Duan Musheng could be considered invincible below the nascent soul realm. He was not only very good at taking hits, but also very strong. It's just a pity that he's still one realm behind. But it's okay. Lu Zhao isn't like Ji Tiandao. He doesn't intend to continue suppressing the cultivation of his disciples. The path of cultivation is slow, but the disciples have extremely high talent. Becoming experts in their own right is only a matter of time. Let me, Ming Shi Yin, do it. Leaping up, his figure was like lightning, and his entire body's origin qi erupted, devouring each hand seal and causing them to disappear completely. Zuo Xinchan fought more and more fiercely. 4th senior is indeed a nascent soul realm expert. Boom boom boom. Ming Shi Yin's attack stabilized the situation a little. After all, he was a nascent soul realm expert. The battle became more and more intense. Even if the gang qi was controlled so well, it was impossible to completely avoid touching the architecture in the main hall. Ming Shi Yin's greenwood spell displayed its miraculous power at this moment, reversing the situation in an instant and gaining the upper hand. At this time, the main hall was filled with gang wind and hand seals, making people dizzy. Lu Zhao just watched quietly, as if the matter before him had nothing to do with him. Zuo Xinchan said in a deep voice, In that case, this Zuo will not be polite. Whoosh! A Dharma body appeared. The power of the nascent soul realm is all thanks to the Dharma body. A height of 15 meters is enough to destroy the Evil Sky Pavilion. But miraculously, the black Dharma body stood in the main hall like a phantom. Pan Zhong clicked his tongue secretly, remembering the 3 things he had said, and finally realized what he was relying on to dare to negotiate with the Evil Sky Pavilion. This person is really very strong. As soon as the Dharma body appeared, the situation immediately reversed, and the terrifying strength of the nascent soul realm began to show. Hand seals several times larger than before struck toward Duan Wusheng, and Ming Shiyin summoned his Dharma body, which was 6 meters tall. His astral queue swirled around him, rumbling loudly as it intercepted a barrage of incoming hand seals. But he still had to stumble back several steps before barely regaining his footing, his queue and blood churning violently within him. His arms numbed, Zuo Shinchan gained the upper hand and said calmly, "Everyone, is the evil Asura sect worthy now? Worthy my ass?" Duan Wusheng's hot temper, once revealed, really broadened people's horizons. Even Lu Zhao didn't expect that Duan Wusheng, who was usually so calm and had the demeanor of an elder brother, could be so violent. That brute simply poured origin chi into the iron chains and swung them around so fast that people's eyes blurred. Fortunately, the space in the hall was large enough. Otherwise, with such force, even 10 evil sky pavilions wouldn't be enough for him to destroy. Boom, boom, boom. He plunged into a fierce battle with Zuo Jinchan again, the rampant gang chi shaking the spectators. It could also be seen that Zuo Jinchan was using the difference in cultivation, using Duan Wusheng to strike, demonstrating his strength. Lu Zhao sat quietly on the main seat, not intending to stop them or tell everyone to stop. First, he could take this opportunity to understand the cultivation and strength of his disciples. Second, he also wanted to see the strength of the second seat of the evil Asura sect. Although Lu Zhao had repeatedly repelled the experts of the righteous path, showing his powerful dominance, the righteous path in the world has always insisted that Jitiandao would one day feign death and cultivate in secret. No matter how strong a fake is, without sufficient power it's all in vain. So far, no one in the cultivation world has broken through this limitation. The evil Asura sect is the sect with the greatest ambition in the demonic path. They have always strengthened themselves by swallowing other sects. The evil Asura sect had clashed with another sect before, but both sides had always been wary of each other's power, and there had never been a large-scale conflict. Capturing the female cultivators of the moon-gazing sect was just an excuse. The truth was that they wanted to visit Golden Court Mountain, wanting to form an alliance, and even more wanting to show their strength. But did Lu Zhao need it? Was he worthy? The world is vast, with so many forces. The evil Asura sect is not the only one who wants to borrow the strength of Golden Court Mountain. Whether in terms of status, qualifications, or power, the evil Asura sect is not a top sect, only relying on third place on the blacklist. Couldn't help but find it hilarious. So, Lu Zhao didn't stop his disciples from showing their anger. After a while, the difference in cultivation realms became obvious. Zuo Xinchan used only a few moves to push back Duan Wusheng, forcing him back to Fan Truong's side. Boom! Fan Truong was pushed back several steps by the force, his hands trembling. Fan Truong advised, "Third senior, don't go anymore. The difference in cultivation realms is too big. You can't make up for it just by taking hits." Duan Wusheng realized this as well. Under the powerful four-leaf Dharma body, Zuo Xinchan said in a low voice, "Mind and heart are aligned." Ming Xiyin jumped into the fight again. A battle between nascent soul realm cultivators with so many people watching. Besides controlling the destructive power to prevent damaging the buildings, they also had to find every possible way to defeat the opponent. Having been tormented by Ji Tiandao year-round, Ming Xinyin and Duan Wusheng could defeat any opponent at the same level. But unfortunately, their current opponent was a four-leaf Golden Lotus nascent soul realm cultivator. Xiao Yanhere's face was full of worry. "Senior brother!" Zuo Xinchan had forgotten everything. Gaining the upper hand in the battle made him a bit proud. He put his hands together, placing them at his dantian, with a bright light in his heart. This move is called the Fixed Seal, one of the most powerful moves in the Zen sect. Even the violent winds were still and unmoving. As expected, as soon as the Fixed Seal appeared, Zuo Xinchan was as steady as a rock. The violent winds around him were completely blocked by the Fixed Seal. With the added suppression of the nascent soul realm Dharma body, Ming Xiyin finally couldn't resist and flew backward. The second Siat Zuo Xinchan of the Masacha sect had such cultivation. No wonder the Masacha sect had become one of the most terrifying sects in the demonic path in just 3 short years. The battle ended, but Zuo Xinchan still didn't intend to retract his black four-leaf Golden Lotus Dharma body. Nor did he retract the mind and heart aligned seal. He was very satisfied with the result of the battle. Zuo Xinchan raised his eyes and repeated, "Are the 3 seniors satisfied with this battle?" The main hall was completely silent. No one answered. Xiao Yanhe said unhappily, "You're showing off with a four-leaf Golden Lotus nascent soul realm Dharma body," Zuo Xinchan replied. "Third senior and fourth senior are not ordinary cultivators." Zuo Mao had no choice but to use this fixed seal technique. "It's really bullying the weak. Please forgive me. Dude has a face thicker than the city walls. If first senior brother and second senior brother were here, don't even talk about four-leaf Golden Lotus. Even if you're six-leaf, you'd be crawling on the ground." This was just to save face a bit. Zuo Xinchan didn't take it to heart, and said calmly, "I yielded." At this moment, Lue Xinjiao finally opened his mouth, his voice ancient but still powerful. "Zuo Xinchan." These 3 words attracted everyone's attention in the main hall. "Not bad, this fixed seal. Thank you for your praise, old senior Ji." If possible, Zuo Mu would like to ask for 2 moves from old senior Ji. This made Duan Wusheng, Ming Xiyin, Zhao Yanhe, Zhu Jifeng, and Fan Truong shocked. Even the 4 subordinates behind Zuo Xinchan were surprised. This wasn't in the plan. Even a peak nascent soul realm powerhouse with a 7 or 8 leaf Golden Lotus Dharma body wouldn't dare to make such a request. What was the second seat trying to do? Fight. Lu Zhao's eyes were cold, showing extreme calmness, not surprised by Zuo Xinchan's words. The black fixed seal was still floating in the middle of the main hall, shining like ink. The black Dharma body looked exactly like Zuo Shinchan, showing a powerful force as if waiting for Lu Zhao to meet the challenge. Zuo Shinchan raised his voice again. Old Senior Ji, rest assured, this fixed seal of Zuo Muju can block a great divine power within one move. If defeated, Zuo Ma will let you do as you please. These words were both arrogant and full of pride. Finally, Lu Zhao slowly stood up, his eyes looking towards Zuo Shinchan, the evil sky pavilion. Although not as good as back then, a deep voice slowly sounded. But it's not a place for you rats to run wild. Lu Zhao raised one arm forward, his 5 fingers stretched out, his palm facing outward. A Fatal Strike prop card was spinning in his palm, the counterclockwise rotation forming a powerful vortex. Then, the vortex suddenly magnified, emitting a dazzling light. When the light was so bright that it was saturated, Lu Zhao gently waved his sleeve, and a huge palm print flew toward Zuo Shinchan, exactly like the Buddha's handprint. Zuo Shinchan exclaimed, "Great Fearlessness Seal." Compared to the Great Fearlessness Seal, his fixed seal was so small. The 4 subordinates cried out in unison, "Second seat." Everyone here was frightened by this indescribable force. The Buddha Tathagata's Great Hand Seal, the Great Fearlessness Seal, was exactly the same. Whoosh! In just one breath, the Great Fearlessness Seal devoured the fixed seal. Zuo Shinchan widened his eyes, raised his hands, forming thousands of fixed seals. His 4-leaf golden lotus dharma body also expanded to the limit. However, the Great Fearlessness Seal continued to rush forward, swallowing all his small light imprints. Boom! The huge Great Fearlessness Seal slammed into Zuo Shinchan's chest. More accurately, his whole body was completely in the palm of the Great Fearlessness Seal. Boom! Under the extreme impact force, Zuo Shinchan was sent flying backward, rushing out of the main hall, flying straight into the courtyard of the evil sky pavilion. Everyone was shocked. This guy is so strong, the demonic ancestor personally made a move, and he could still withstand it. Too fast, too dangerous. Fan Shuang was curious. What happened just now? Zhu Jifeng replied. I don't know, I just felt an indescribable force. The 4 subordinates lost their minds. Am I alive? You're alive? What about me? Where's the second seat? Seems like he flew away, probably got blasted away. Second seat, second seat. Master, should we go over there to take a look? Inside the main hall, it was completely silent. You could hear a pin drop. Smoke filled the air. In the evil sky pavilion, Lu Zhao remained as calm as before. So this is the indescribable force. In fact, Lu Zhao did not expect that he would release the Great Fearlessness Seal, because he has never cultivated Zen Buddhism. In his memory, there are only some basic knowledge of Zen Buddhism hand seals. He can only recognize some common moves, not to mention cultivation. When he made the move, he sensed the power of that power. Only those who have felt the power of the peak state card, like Jitian Dao, know how powerful the card just now was. How powerful is it? Based on the feeling just now, it seems that the burst of power is stronger than the peak state card if you instantly blow Zuo Shinchan away. But Zuo Shinchan was able to stand still with hard resistance, so maybe it's just a little stronger than Zuo Shinchan. It becomes stronger when encountering stronger opponents. Unfortunately, this prop card has only been used once, and there is no basis for reference, which is really indescribable. Zuo Shinchan was blown away, rolled and spun around, and then quickly landed. With a bang. With one sound, his feet stepped on the ground, scattering rocks everywhere. Zuo Shinchan stood firmly on the ground, his whole body straight. In his eyes was endless fear. The 4 black-robed cultivators rushed towards Zuo Shinchan, stopping at a distance of more than 10 meters, no longer moving forward. There were rocks and cracks around Zuo Shinchan, enough to see how much force Zuo Shinchan had used to stabilize his body. Second seat. They suddenly found that Zuo Shinchan was standing still as if petrified. His eyes still looked at the evil sky pavilion in horror. People who have not experienced what happened can never understand what the person who experienced it was feeling. But it can be confirmed that he failed, he was defeated by one move, and his clothes were also beaten away. What a disaster. This is the moment to show leadership, a detail that decides your life. There's a reason why I'm valued among the 4 of us. Second seat. Here, take my clothes, no need to thank me, brr. The cold wind is blowing. The black origin chi on Zuo Shinchan's body dissipated with the wind. Immediately afterward, Zuo Shinchan turned into dust, slowly scattering with the wind, blown away. In an instant, Zuo Shinchan completely disappeared into the heavens and earth, leaving only the damaged ground and 2 deep holes where his feet had been. Zuo Shinchan, the 3rd-ranked guy on the black roll, just bit the dust like that. The 3 remaining subordinates pointed fingers at the guy who gave the clothes. You made the second seat disappear. That guy was speechless. I didn't. Duanmu Sheng and Ming Xiyin swallowed hard, in disbelief. Seeing this scene was both shocking and satisfying. This dude dared to show off at the Demon Heaven Pavilion. Now he's getting exactly what he asked for. But turning him into smoke with just one stomp, isn't that a bit too cruel? No way. Just how profound is our master's cultivation? And how many tricks does he still have up his sleeve? We've been following him for so long, and haven't even seen him use hand seals of the Chan sect. Now he's insta-killing a 4-leaf golden lotus Zuo Shinchan. How could they not be terrified? After a long silence, Ming Xinyin muttered, Master's temper is really something. He deserved it. Duanmu Sheng nudged Ming Xinyin, and Ming Xinyin nodded. Yeah, they all deserved it. The most awkward ones were the 4 black-robed subordinates. Their second seat got one-shotted, their backing was gone, and they were trembling in fear, their arrogance gone without a trace. So what if they were at the peak of the divine court realm? Who at the Demon Heaven Pavilion isn't in the Divine Court realm? Ming Shi Yin cracked his knuckles, a cunning look on his face. You four want to see my 100 Tribulations Illumination Dharma body. F4th senior brother, you're talking nonsense, and it doesn't make any sense. Seeing Duan Musheng and Ming Shi Yin like tigers about to pounce on their prey, the four were so frightened that they kept backing away. Just then, Lu Juzhuao's voice came from the Demon Heaven Pavilion. Go back and tell your sect leader to keep his people in check. Master has spoken, so Ming Shi Yin naturally didn't dare to mess around. Scram, Ming Shi Yin glared and said, inside the Demon Heaven Pavilion, Lu Zhao received a system notification, gained 1,000 merit points. One item card worth 500 merit points. Killing a Yuan Shen realm expert grants 1,000 merit points. Double the profit. The item card is good, but I need to use it carefully later. The indescribable power of this thing. What if I encounter someone I don't want to kill? Lu Zhao summoned Zuo Jinshan to meet with him, not only to understand the purpose of the Devil Massacre sect, but also to test the effect of this card. But whatever, if he's dead, he's dead. Consider it a warning to the Devil Massacre sect. Duan Musheng and Ming Shi Yin had already returned. Master is incredibly mighty. He doesn't make a move, and when he does, he turns them to ashes. Ming Shi Yin buttered him up. Master, I want to learn too. Xiao Yanhe ran to Lu Zhao's side, skillfully wrapped his shoulders, and gently massaged his back with her small hands. Lu Zhao shook his head and said, Nonsense. You're cultivating the Grand Purity Jade Scroll, which focuses on body techniques. Its rules are incompatible with the Chan sect. Aren't you afraid of chi deviation if you practice this too? Xiao Yanhe mumbled. I'm already a devil, aren't I? Enough talk. Lu Zhao raised his voice. Xiao Yanhe shrunk back and said nothing more. Duan Musheng asked suspiciously, Master, why did you let them go? Before Lu Zhao could answer, Ming Shi Yin, standing beside him, said, Master just wanted to kill the chicken to scare the monkeys. He didn't really want to destroy the Devil Massacre sect. The Devil Massacre sect is ambitious and wants to expand its power. Senior brother Yu Mingjiao of the Underworld sect is their obstacle. If the Devil Massacre sect is gone, who will restrain the Underworld sect? Pan Zhong and Zhu Jifeng nodded in agreement, finding Ming Shi Yin's words reasonable. Duan Musheng said, Understanding but not quite. After all, Zuo Xinchan was the second seat of the Devil Massacre sect. How could the Devil Massacre sect let this go? You're overthinking it. So what if they're angry? Are they really going to drag their entire sect to attack Golden Court Mountain? The rest doesn't need to be said. Even Yu Zhenghe doesn't have the guts, so would the Devil Massacre sect dare? Besides, Golden Court Mountain just repelled the 10 great experts. Even the 7-leaf Dharma body of the sect Master of Heavenly Swords sect, Luo Changfeng, was defeated by Master. Who else would dare to come? After speaking, Ming Shi Yin revealed an extremely proud expression. Pan Zhong was also very suspicious at first, but after hearing the explanation, he bowed and said, Fourth senior brother is right, you've enlightened me, Zhu Jifeng said seriously. Fourth senior brother is talented and has cleared the doubts in my heart. Ming Shi Yin thought, Are these two idiots sucking up to the wrong person? Ming Shi Yin carefully peeked at Lu Zhao. Lu Zhao wasn't angry, he was also thinking, this guy really knows how to analyze things. Every time, he analyzes the reasoning very clearly. After hearing his analysis, even I find it reasonable. Thinking this, Lu Zhao took out the food and said, Come over and eat something. The disciples happily asked, Master, where did this food come from? Lu Zhao didn't answer but said, Eat. After eating, clean up the mess that was destroyed. The disciples were speechless. Now they know that Master took out the food on purpose. At the same time, the black-robed cultivators had returned to where the Black Dragon carriage was parked. Upon hearing the news of the second seat's demise, all the black-robed cultivators were in disbelief. They didn't dare to stay at Golden Court Mountain for another second. Without Zuo Xinchan as their support, even controlling the Black Dragon carriage became extremely strenuous, and the speed of flight was very slow. The Black Dragon carriage returned the same way it came. One shouted, Everyone, hang in there! Put all your strength into flying the carriage. Another pointed and yelled, It looks like there's someone ahead. Suddenly, they saw a figure in front of the dragon carriage, wearing a green robe, carrying a long sword on his back, with his black hair loose, standing suspended in midair with his arms crossed. The green-robed swordsman hovered lightly in front, as if he had been waiting for them for a long time. Around him was a faint gang, qui swirling, and an inexplicable, strange aura. The long sword on his back, the entire blade emitting a faint red light. Even if these cultivators were stupid, they could recognize that this was the aura of a strong expert. The dragon carriage had no choice but to stop, one of the black-robed cultivators politely asked. May I ask for your esteemed name? Why are you blocking our path? The green-robed swordsman slowly turned around, his features sharp and distinct, with a smile always on his face. But that smile gave them a strange feeling that they couldn't explain. The green-robed swordsman crossed his arms, but his words were like those of a humble person. Greetings. I'm sorry, it was a misunderstanding. Never mind. The black-robed cultivator clasped his hands. We're just in a hurry to leave. But the green-robed swordsman didn't intend to move aside. He still smiled as he looked at the dragon carriage and the group of black-robed cultivators. I'm really sorry. The second apology made the atmosphere even more eerie. The black-robed cultivators saw the sword behind him automatically fly up, and a gang kui flew out from the swordsman's body, swirling around the sword. The black-robed cultivator suddenly widened his eyes and shouted decisively, Sword devil, abandon the carriage and run! The black-robed cultivators scattered like lightning, fleeing in all directions, but that red Xingchang sword suddenly split into two, 2 into 4, 4 into 8, creating countless sword energies that shot at the fleeing cultivators. The rain of sword shadows covered the sky, piercing through each figure clad in black armor. From beginning to end, the Qingpao swordsman remained smiling, with his arms crossed. After releasing his sword, he no longer looked at the group. So sorry. After saying the third apology, the Qingpao swordsman's illusion flashed and disappeared. At the same time, inside the Ma Tian pavilion, Jin Ting Mountain saw that his master seemed to be pondering something. Ming Xinyin stepped forward and said, "Master, the Ma Xia sect has completely retreated, so how should we deal with the Yanyu Palace's female cultivators?" Currently, he wasn't too sure about his master's routines. After all, the traitor Ye Tiangxin was a Qixi exterminator. Based on normal expectations, they should be slaughtered. Lu Xiao didn't directly answer his question but turned to look at little Yan Fear. Although this little girl was innocent and pure, she sometimes had very dangerous thoughts, so he decided to test her a bit. "Yan Fear, what do you think?" Little Yan here was a bit confused, and timidly said in a low voice. "Or, kill them all. Cough, cough." Ming Xiyin coughed, looking at his little junior sister with some pity. Lu Xiao shook his head and reached out to tap her head. Little Yan Trier laughed and said, "I understand now. Master will let them go." "When did this old man say I wanted to let them go?" Ming Xiyin then clasped his hands and said, "Master, the Ma Tian pavilion has been damaged in many places during this time and many structures need to be cleaned and repaired. Why not punish them to do labor here?" Lu Zhao glanced at Ming Xiyin, pondering. What is this guy thinking all day long? Does he really see me as a cruel overseer who likes to abuse others? However, this win-win solution is very good. Then punish them to repair the Mao Tian pavilion, and then lock them in the Yanbi cave to repent for Ye Tiangxin. Disciple respectfully obeys master's order. Seeming to think of something again, Ming Xinyin mustered his courage to ask, "Master, now that the entire Yanyu palace has been punished, and Ye Tiangxin's cultivation has been crippled, repenting in the Yanbi cave is too cold. If she's locked up for too long, I'm afraid she'll lose her life, should we?" Lu Zhao recalled the events related to Ye Tiangxin and raised his hand to interrupt him. "You sympathize with her? Disciple wouldn't dare." Ming Xiyin was immediately terrified. Ye Tiangxin committed Qixi extermination. She should be severely punished. This is the result of her own actions. This old man has his own plans. Disciple obeys. Ming Xiyin didn't dare to mention Ye Tiangxin again, turned around and left, exiting the Ma Tian pavilion. Ming Xinyin took a deep breath. The old geezer's master's temperament was not easy to guess at all. Just thinking about the ending of Zuo Xinchan turning to dust, Ming Xinyin shook his head. "I shouldn't be too arrogant in the future." Duan Musheng saw that Old Fourth had left, and then said, "Master, my appearance is still not fully recovered. Please allow me to take my leave first." "Wait." Lu